actually refined his own violent lightning. Hubby, you didn't lie to me. Did you? Why would I lie to you? Otherwise, where did the lightning in your body go? Chapter 735, Redemption. It took a long time for Razor Halcyon to adapt, though was ecstatic and hugged Hu Xian and started to bite him fiercely. My husband wants me. Finally she can have normal contact with men, and Razor Halcyon can't wait. Don't worry. Buddy, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future, there are so many people waiting outside now. After saying that, he put on the clothes that Razor Halcyon had taken off and pulled her out of the room. The latter looked shy. Everyone looked over and was shocked to see that the lightning on Thunder Snake Halcyon's body had disappeared. Thunder Snake Halcyon has been on Paradise Island for 1,000 years. And no man dares to touch her, just because of the violent power of thunder and lightning. Now it has actually been solved by a human. Everyone is very curious. How did humans solve this problem? Razor Halcyon, are you really okay? One of her best friends asked in surprise. Well, my husband has solved my problem from now on. I don't have to worry about being hurt by violent lightning anymore. Husband? Everyone was surprised. At the same time, he was also very envious. He didn't expect that Razor Halcyon not only solved his own crisis, but also won the recognition of the Consumer Emperor crown. This luck is simply too good to be true. Hu Xian looked at the manager and said, now that all the darlings of the fourth heaven have gathered, let's go and redeem them. What, redeem yourself? The men were shocked. It's just because they know that redeeming the freedom of 500 for Thrank beauties would be a sky price. Although the manager had heard about it before, he was shocked when he heard Hu Xian talk about it in person. Mr. Hu, are you serious? Hu Xian smiled and said, of course I am serious, with so many beautiful women, how can a man not be moved? Besides, now we can get it by just consuming the demon crystal essence. The manager smiled bitterly and said, but Mr. Hu, this will require at least 150 trillion demon crystals. Hu Xian took off his ID card and demon card and handed them to the manager. Please help me top up to 100 trillion demon crystals. The whole audience trembled in shock. I just want to say, it's too arrogant. At this moment, I realized how terrifying these inferior slaves of the human race are. I wondered, who is the master behind him? He actually gave him so much demon crystal essence. Obviously, no one believed that he possessed so much demon crystal essence. Everyone thought that booking the entire place here was probably instructed by the master behind him. The manager took a deep breath and then recharged Hu Xian's account. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have consumed 170 trillion demon crystals in one day and received 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding! New mission. Complete a critical hit of 5 times and consume 1350 trillion demon crystals within one day. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments will be awarded. After the recharge was completed, Hu Xian's status was upgraded from 1 star of the Consumer Crown to 3 stars of the Consumer Crown to 3 stars of the Consumer Crown. With such huge assets, no one doubted his ability to redeem all the beauties in the 4th class heaven. Thinking of this, I still can't help but be shocked. I thought he was just renting out the place for these beauties to spend money. But I didn't expect he wanted to redeem them. Even these beauties thought he was joking and bragging, but they didn't expect it to be true. Then go to the service center. Handle the redemption procedures for all the beauties in the 4th class paradise for Mr. Hu, the manager said to the staff. Good manager. The other party glanced at Hu Xian, answered in shock, and then quickly went through the formalities. First the costs were calculated. Then he said, sir, to redeem the 500 4th grade beauties in the 4th grade heaven, you need to spend 156 trillion demon crystals. You. Before she could finish her question, Hu Xian handed over his ID card and said, pay the bill. Although everyone already knew that Hu Xian came to redeem himself, everyone was still shocked when he actually paid the money. The staff took a deep breath and then paid the fee. Ding! 156 trillion demon crystals have arrived in the company's account, please check. When this prompt sounded, the whole audience was shocked. Hu Xian took back his ID cards and said to the beauties, from now on, you are all mine, contact me G, and then go find her. Everyone knows me Gina as a beauty on the character list. Got it, husband. The beauties answered in unison and shyly called out husband. Although I was shy, I was very excited. I can finally leave this damn place, Paradise Island. For men, this is a paradise. And they had witnessed Hu Xian's arrogance and strength with their own eyes. So naturally they were willing to follow him. Hu Xian said to Lazy Haoxian again, after you meet with me G, make arrangements for everyone together. Lai Shi Haoxian was extremely excited to be given such an important position. I know, husband. Other beauties were very envious. Mr. Hu, why don't you redeem me? Cricket Jinling suddenly said. Hu Xian asked curiously, are you serious? Certainly. Husband. Please redeem me. The direct address has been changed. Hu Xin nodded, okay. Then he said to the staff at the service center, redeem the cricket Jinling. Yes sir. The staff's names were also changed, and no one doubted Hu Xin's ability. By the way, husband? My two sisters should come too. Okay, give their ID cards to the staff? The staff member quickly operated and said, Sir, to redeem the top-ranked beauties into 10 frank beauties, the attack requires 580 trillion Eman crystals. When they heard about this amount of money, everyone trembled violently. I didn't expect that redeeming the beauties on the top list would be so expensive. What is even more shocking is that the combined value of their 540 ranked beauties is not as great as that of a single beauty on the top-ranked list. Everyone was looking at Hu Xin. The first thing they wanted to know was whether he could produce so many demon crystals. After all, we just spent 156 trillion, and the recharge is far from enough. Hu Xin took out the demon card and handed it over, saying, recharge me with 1 trillion demon crystals. This. Everyone in the audience took a deep breath. A direct recharge of 1 trillion is too terrifying. The staff quickly recharged. In an instant, Hu Xin's status was elevated to the level of consuming the imperial crown and consuming the celestial being. A whole audience was shocked, once again shocked by the demon crystal marrow in Hu Xin's hand. Ransom them. The staff quickly deducted 580 trillion Eman crystals. Although his consumer status has fallen back to the crown of consumer emperors, no one dares to underestimate Hu Xin anymore. Cricket Jinling. Take everyone to meet up with Lizard Zhuer. I'll come back to find you after I finish the rest of the things. Cricket Jinling couldn't help but ask, husband, are you going to redeem everyone in the 5th or even 6th heaven? Hearing this, everyone looked at Hu Xin, curious about his purpose. Chapter 736, continue to redeem yourself. Yes, my goal is to capture all the beauties on Paradise Island, Hu Xin answered without any hesitation. Yes. Everyone in the audience took a deep breath. No one dared to have such an idea, but now someone did it. I just want to say, it's horrible. Okay, go and meet up with me Gina and the others. Manager, why don't you accompany me to the 5th class heaven? The manager smiled bitterly and said, okay. I thought, what a lunatic. I'd like to see if you really have the financial resources to do so. In other words, does the person behind you have the financial resources? Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the process of picking up 503 girls and obtained 300 points of resistance to the opposite sex. Of the improvement of the resistance of the opposite sex, Hu Xin suddenly felt that his immunity to these beauties had greatly increased. I no longer get so horny that I just want to pounce on someone. I didn't expect that just over 50,000 opposite sex resistance points would have such a great effect. So what would happen if I completed the task and gained 100 million points? Hu Xin couldn't wait any longer. It's okay to like beautiful women, but if you don't have self-control and resistance, then there is a real problem. Soon we arrived at the 5th heaven. Manager, as usual, let's worry about everyone. The manager nodded and said, please wait a moment. I will personally go and gather all the beauties in the 5th heaven. Dear Lord Consumption Emperor Crown, what are you going to do? The 5th grade beauty who was guarding the gate of the 5th grade heaven asked curiously. Others also looked at him curiously. Hu Xin smiled and said, I will redeem you. Soon all the beauties in your 5th class paradise will be mine. The other party was shocked and his first thought was disbelief. Thinking that Hu Xin was consuming the imperial crown. He definitely had the ability to do so, so I believed it again. Sir, why? Although there are only 400 beauties in our 5th level heaven, they would require at least 300 trillion Eman crystals in total. Only 300 trillion? Hu Xin asked in return. The beauties present were shocked again. And they all smiled bitterly. 300 trillion. They actually said only 300 trillion. It's so horrible. At this time, many beauties rushed towards the hall. They were all talking about it. Have you heard that someone has reserved our 5th class heaven? I wonder who this person is, but he's so powerful. I heard from the manager that it was a human. No way, how could the human race have such strength? When they arrived at the hall, they were all stunned when they saw that there was only one human man. Someone exclaimed, are they really human? They all looked at Hu Xin. He is actually an inferior slave of the human race. Ush, keep your voice down. Look at his consumer status. He is actually consuming the imperial crown. The shocked beauties finally calmed down. About 5 minutes later, the manager came back and said to Hu Xin, a beautiful woman has been taken by a customer, so she can't come. There are also 18 beauties that the guest won't let go. Hu Xin nodded and said, take me to meet them. Okay Mr. Hu. Follow me. The manager led the way enthusiastically. This is a big client. Paradise Island is not afraid of being booked out. The world is so big and there are so many beautiful women. Soon we arrived at the first customer. Boom boom boom. The manager knocked on the door. "Who is it?" came an extremely impatient voice. Then the door was opened by a beautiful woman. Hu Xian walked in and took a quick look at the scene, and found that there were 8 beauties there, all centered around a bald man. I thought to myself, this guy really knows how to enjoy himself. He ordered 8 by himself. "Boy, are you the guy who wants to book the entire 5th class heaven? You are an inferior human slave. Who gave you the courage?" Hu Xian flicked his ID card and said, "You speak to me in this tone, aren't you afraid of something going wrong?" Only then did the bald man notice Hu Xian's consumer identity. His body trembled violently. Consumption of the imperial crown. Only then did I realize that this guy's identity was not simple. Even if he was a slave, he was an extraordinary slave. "Sir, these girls have been corrupted by me. But your status, you can go to the 6th heaven, or even the 7th heaven to consume beauties," the bald man said respectfully. Hu Xian said calmly, "I will go, but I need to book all the beauties in the 5th heaven first. If you go away now, I can let you go, but you won't have the chance later." The bald man was unhappy, but he didn't dare to show any dissatisfaction on his face. "Sir, you are awesome, your kidneys are good, I'm leaving." He left cursing and swearing. "Mr. Hu, this way please. Come to the second room." Boom boom boom. The manager knocked on the door again. "Fuck. Are you guys sick? I need you to disturb my sleep. Is Paradise Island so rubbish now?" A man's angry voice was heard. And then the door opened. Because the man was naked, the beautiful woman following Hu Xian was so scared that she screamed and covered her eyes. Hu Xian took a look inside and saw a 5th-grade beauty covering herself with a quilt. Up Hu Xian slapped him in the face. A man who was cursing and scolding was beaten to the ground by him. What shocked everyone was that this guy fainted directly. Then we went to a few other rooms. Unfortunately, 2 of the beauties have already been taken by others. In the end, there were only 397 5th-grade beauties gathered in the hall. Damn, 3 are missing. It's not perfect. The manager smiled bitterly and said, "Sir, you are lucky sometimes. Dozens of level 5 beauties are consumed in a day." Hu Xian nodded and said, "Let's go and redeem them first." Ransom? These beauties, who didn't understand what was going on, were all shocked and confused. Hu Xian smiled and explained, "From now on, you are all mine." The manager said, "Mr. Hu has redeemed all the beauties in the 4th heaven. Now it's your turn." Hearing this, they were even more shocked. "Okay, let's all go to the service center." Soon we arrived at the service center of the 5th heaven. Seeing so many people coming, the staff were very confused. "What's going on, manager? Go through the redemption procedures for them." "Mr. Hu, redeem all of them." The staff were also extremely shocked. Looking at the ID cards of all the beauties handed over by the manager, I realized that this was not a joke, it was real. "Act quickly." First, he told Hu Xian, "Sir, to redeem the 397 5th-grade beauties, you need to pay 360 trillion Eman crystals." Hu Xian threw the ID card over and said, "Swipe." The staff took a deep breath and swiped away 360 trillion Eman crystals. Ding, 360 trillion demon crystals have arrived in the company's account. Chapter 737, and Eat Creatures. A notification of the arrival of funds made all the 5th-grade beauties tremble. Only then did they come to their senses and looked at Hu Xian and shot. This man really redeemed them. Hu Xian looked at the group of beauties and said, "Contact Lizard Zhu or Miji and meet up with them. I'll come back to find you when I'm done." "Sir, do you still want to cancel the fee?" a beautiful woman asked in shock. Hu Xian smiled and said, "Yes. I also need to redeem the beauties in the 6th heaven. By the way, manager, please go and gather the beauties from the 6th heaven for me." The manager was shocked and asked in disbelief, "Mr. Hu, are you serious? You know, the beauties in the 6th heaven are more than 1 or 2 levels higher than the beauties in the 5th heaven. This means the price is higher." Hu Xian handed over both his ID card and the devil card and said, "First, top up 350 trillion for me." The manager smiled speechlessly but did not refuse, and quickly recharged Hu Xian's account. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have consumed 1.35 trillion demon crystals in one day and received 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding, new mission. Complete the consumption of 4 times the critical hit of 540 trillion demon crystal essence within one day. And the host will be killed if the mission fails. The reward for completing the mission is 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments. After the recharge was completed, the manager handed over the demon card and ID card and said, "Mr. Hu, keep your ID card and card. However, even if you recharged another 350 trillion, it would still not be enough to book the 6th level heaven." Hu Xian smiled and said, "Recharge me another 500 trillion Eman crystals." Yes. The whole audience was shocked. 5 trillion rillion. Hu Xian's eyes were filled with fear. simply because 5 trillion was too terrifying. The manager asked in disbelief, Mr. Hu, are you serious? Looking at Hu Xian, she felt a little moved. Who doesn't like such a domineering man? Hu Xian smiled and said, do I look like I'm joking? The manager smiled wryly and nodded, then recharged Hu Xian's account. Soon, Hu Xian's ID card was changed to Consumption Yan Ziyuan 5 stars. This identity is extremely terrifying even in Paradise Island. My dears, hurry up and meet up with Lizard Zur and the others. I'll come back to find you when I'm done. I know, husband. These 5th grade beauties were directly conquered by Hu Xian's arrogance and willingly called him their husbands. Ding, congratulations to the host for picking up 397 beauties and gaining 39,700 opposite sex resistance points. With nearly 40,000 more resistance points of the opposite sex, Hu Xian became more and more confident, thinking to himself, beauties don't even think about seducing me so easily in the future. Manager, please go to the 6th class paradise and gather all the beauties. I can't wait, Hu Xian said excitedly. The manager smiled bitterly and said, okay. Then he trotted towards the 6th level heaven. The events here finally attracted the attention of the top management of Paradise Island. This side of the 10th level heaven is where the real high-level people of Paradise Island are located. A group of people stood in front of a huge screen. Look at the man inside. It's Hu Xian. Have you investigated this guy's identity? Asked a white-haired old man. Another old man said, Island Master, we have investigated and found out that it is a slave named Tiger King Jingjing. And the identity of this Tiger King Jingjing is very ordinary. She is an abandoned child of the Tiger King clan. It was only after she met Hu Xian that she left the Tiger King clan. That is to say, Hu Xian deliberately became Tiger King Jingjing's slave. Why did he do this? What is the identity of this Hu Xian? Island Master, this guy's further identity is still under investigation. Investigate it carefully, especially this guy spent a huge amount of money to redeem so many beauties from Paradise Island. What is his purpose? Yes. Hu Xian walked leisurely all the way to the 6th level of heaven. If you go early you will just have to wait, so there is no need to rush. When passing by a shady path, a miserable and sad cry came from the depths of the shady path. There was no road over there, and Hu Xian immediately became curious. With great skill and courage, he walked straight over there. He went deeper and deeper and soon got away from the main road. After walking for about 5 minutes, I finally saw a figure sitting by an ancient well that had been abandoned for a long time, crying sadly. His hair and clothes were wet, and he looked as if he had just crawled out of a well. Looking a little disheveled, Hu Xian walked over curiously. Girl, what's wrong with you? Hearing the sound, the girl stopped crying immediately. He did not respond to Hu Xian's question. Hu Xian curiously walked around to her front and looked at her face. A hair covered the entire face. Curiously, he reached out and lifted the girl's hair. At this moment, the girl suddenly hugged him with both hands. Only then did Hu Xian discover that the girl's hands were actually dry bones. But the girl jumped into the freezing cold well with him in her arms, hugging him tightly. A well water caused the girl's hair to float away, and Hu Xian then discovered that the girl's face was also a skull. The girl held him and went deeper and deeper, until soon she could no longer see any light. If it were anyone else, they would have panicked a long time ago. Hu Xian was not afraid at all. He wanted to see what the purpose of this skeleton girl was. After about a quarter of an hour, probably 10,000 meters deep, we finally arrived at the well. This place is so huge. Like a dragon palace. The skeleton of a bone dragon was wrapped around everything. Even though it was just a pile of dry bones, it still exuded a powerful aura. At this moment, a green light flashed in the girl's skull eyes. Aren't you afraid? The girl's voice sounded in Hu Xian's mind. Hu Xian smiled and said, why should I be afraid? The girl was stunned for a moment, then said, I will kill you, aren't you afraid? Hu Xian said confidently, if you don't have enough strength, I will of course be afraid, but you can't kill me. Buzz. The dragon clans aura burst out from Hu Xian's body. The well water is turbulent. Roar. The strange dragon roar was heard. The skeleton girl was shocked. The dragon skeleton that had never moved before seemed to come alive and began to move in a spiral. After a while, the huge dragon head appeared in front of Hu Xian. Greetings, Dragon King. He bowed and knelt down towards Hu Xian. The skull girl's soul fire was trembling violently. She died here by jumping into a well and found herself dead. But turned into an eat creature at that time. The bone dragon existed, but she thought he was dead. Now, he is alive again, which is so shocking. It took him a while to react. And he asked angrily, did you turn me into an eat creature? The bone dragon looked at her. The soul fire in his mind flickered. Yes, it was me who turned you into an eat creature. Chapter 738, Skull Girl. Why did you do that? You've caused me so much pain. I'm going to kill you. The skeleton girl pounced on the bone dragon like crazy. He attacked the bone dragon madly. However, his attack did not cause any damage to the bone dragon. Because I'm bored being imprisoned here. You finally came to me, how could I bear to see you die? You are selfish. The skull girl was extremely angry. The bone dragon ignored him and looked at Huaxian. Dragon King, I should have died a long time ago, but it was that damn evil that sealed me here to torture me. Please let me be free. How can I free you? Huaxian asked curiously. Dragon King. My dragon race can devour the souls of its own kind. This way you can become stronger, and I can be freed at the same time. I have made the final contribution to my dragon race. I, Long Ao, can die with my eyes closed. Huaxian was stunned. He didn't expect that such an opportunity would come to him like flowing water. Are you sure you want me to devour you? I'm sure. The bone dragon said firmly. The skull girl also hurriedly said, please swallow me too. Forget it. I can't bear it. Huaxian refused. System, help me devour and refine the bone dragon. Ding, I have obtained the swallowing approval of the bone dragon. I am swallowing the bone dragon. I have unlimited strengthening points and swallow the bone dragon without consumption. Ding, devouring the soul of the dragon. Honor level bone dragon, soul level 11. The soul cultivation began to advance by leaps and bounds. This kind of super boost gives me only one feeling, great. But terrifying soul pressure forced the skeleton girl beside her to kneel on the ground. About 3 minutes. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully refining the bone dragon. The current soul realm is the 100th level of the Divine Emperor. After his soul matched his strongest realm, Huaxian discovered that the combat power he could unleash was even more terrifying. Crash. Without the support of soul power, the skeleton of the bone dragon instantly turned into ashes. Everything returned to calm. The skull girl knelt in front of Huaxian, hugging his feet. Sir, please destroy my soul as well. Huaxian frowned and said, you can completely destroy yourself. The skeleton girl said bitterly. I can't do it. I've been cursed by this damned bone dragon. I can't even destroy myself. Is that so? And you don't need to destroy yourself. Why don't you just follow me? The skull girl was extremely shocked. Then he said, but I am an and-eat creature. What's wrong with and-eat creatures? This world is originally ruled by evil. Okay, follow me. He pulled her and rushed out of the ancient well. Jump out of the water. Walk out of the dark environment, and the sunlight shines down. Magnetic. Green smoke came out of the skull girl's body. The sun took a toll on him. System, how do we solve the skull girl issue? Ding, strengthen to the level of God Emperor. You can grow flesh on bones and ignore sunlight. Hearing this, Huaxian reached out and placed his hand on the skull girl's forehead. System, use the human king points to strengthen the skull girl to the Divine Emperor realm for me. Ding. Congratulations to the host, you have used the human king points to strengthen the skull girl and Edlia to the God Emperor level. As her cultivation level improved, flesh and blood visibly grew on the skeletal body of the Edlia. In a short while, she turned into a beautiful girl. Looking at herself with flesh and blood, the Edlia was stunned. Then the tears started to flow. She threw herself into Huaxian's arms and burst into tears. Why are you crying? Come with me. Led her to the 6th heaven. The manager and a group of beauties are already waiting here. Seeing Huaxian coming, he said in surprise, Sir, you are finally here. The manager was stunned when he noticed the Edlia. After a while, he exclaimed, Are you Kangaroo Laya? Manager? Kangaroo Laya also recognized the other person at a glance. It's really you. We've been missing for 1,000 years. Where have you been? Manager? I couldn't bear it and threw myself into the well, but you saved me. My lord saved you, back from the dead? No, I am an and-eat creature now. After a while of transformation, he turned back into a skeleton. When the beauties around saw this scene, some of them screamed in surprise. Huaxian asked, Manager, have all the beauties from the 6th heaven gathered? The gathering has already ended, and all the problems have been solved. He can go and redeem the 360 grade beauty directly. So it went smoothly this time? The manager smiled bitterly and said, I showed the video of you showing off your power in the 5th heaven to the guests of the 6th heaven. Plus, with your status as a consumer heavenly master, who would dare to offend you? And let's not waste time and go and redeem them. Good. Come directly to the 6th heaven service center. Follow the old procedures. Sir, there are a total of 360 beauties in the 6th heaven. Redeeming all of them will cost 1.2 trillion demon crystals. Huaxian handed over the ID card and said, Swipe. The staff took a deep breath and swiped away 1.2 trillion with shock. He handed the ID card to Huaxian respectfully and said, Dear Lord Consumer, please keep your ID card. This is the redemption contract for all the 6th rank beauties. Please keep it. A redemption contract is only available for beauties above the 6th rank, and the effect of a redemption contract is similar to that of a slave contract. But this, you can control beauties above level 6. After all, the value is too high, and this is also to ensure the interests of customers. Putting away the contract, Oxian said to the manager, gather the beauties from the 7th heaven. The manager nodded excitedly and turned to go to the 7th heaven. Just at this moment, a call came to her. Seeing that it was a senior executive who answered the phone, he quickly answered the call. Deputy General Manager. Your instructions. Eric here, quickly notify all beauties above the 7th level of heaven to gather at the square of the 10th level of heaven. They must gather within a quarter of an hour. What happened to the Deputy General Manager? A 9th young master of the 25 demon tribes of Demon Capital City, Demon Jing Hong, has come to our Paradise Island. He has said that he has booked all the beauties above the 7th rank in our Paradise Island and is inviting all the heroes to a banquet. You should hurry up, they are all here. Okay. Harley Kerr was extremely shocked. After hanging up the communication, he said to Huaxian apologetically, Sir, you heard it too. I have to gather all the beauties to go to the 10th heaven square. Huaxian frowned. He didn't expect that he would meet an opponent even after booking the entire venue. And I will go to the 10th heaven too. Sir, to go to the 10th heaven you need to have the identity of a Lord God. The situation is urgent. I'll go and get busy first. After saying that, he ran away in a hurry. Oxian looked at a 6th rank beauty beside him and asked, Baby, do you still have the right to recharge? The latter smiled bitterly and shook his head. A rogue Oxian threw his ID card and demon card to the staff at the service center and said, Please help me recharge for 100 trillion demon crystals. Chapter 739. Consumption of the Lord God's noble identity. Sir, even if you top up for 100 trillion, you are still far from being a consumer god, right? The staff kindly reminded. Oxian smiled and said, Just recharge me. Oh, well. The staff recharged Huaxian's account. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have consumed 5 trillion demon crystals in one day, and obtained 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments. Ding, new mission, complete the critical hit twice and consume 1800 trillion demon crystals within one day. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments will be awarded. Sir, please keep your ID card and devil card. The staff handed it over respectfully. Huaxian shouted. Recharge me another 800 trillion demon crystals. The staff member was immediately shocked. 1 trillion yuan in Beijing is the level of consumption god. Consumers at this level are extremely terrifying. Don't be cold, recharge my account quickly. Huaxian urged. Wondering if he could get the critical hit reward. The staff member reacted, took a deep breath, and recharged Huaxian with trembling hands. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 180 trillion demon essences within 1 minute to receive 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding. New mission, complete the consumption of 3 times 3 Jing 2400 trillion demon crystals within 23 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments will be awarded. Huaxian felt a little regretful that he did not get the critical hit reward. He quickly said, Recharge me another 2.4 trillion demon crystals from Sanjing. The staff and the beauties present were all shocked. While thinking that Huaxian was crazy, he was also shocked by his terrifying financial resources. Don't be in a daze, recharge quickly. Huaxian urged impatiently. The staff was so shocked that they came to their senses and recharged quickly after being urged by him. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 2.4 trillion demon crystals in Sanjing within 1 minute, and obtained 10 chances to draw the ultimate prize of critical hit reward. Ding. New mission, complete a 5-fold critical hit and consume 16,000 trillion demon crystals within 22 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments will be awarded. Huaxian was ecstatic about the reward he received. It was not fragments, but 10 chances to draw a mid-level lottery. It was so cool. He said excitedly to the staff, Hurry up. Continue to recharge me with 1600 trillion demon crystals. The staff was numb. Everyone at the scene was stunned. At the same time, I am also confused. If Huaxian wanted to be able to go to the 10th level heaven, why didn't he recharge it all at once? He was extremely confused but did not dare to ask. After all, the difference in their status was too big. Don't you want to do this anymore? Every time I ask you to recharge, you just stare blankly. Huaxian cursed angrily. Because he found that the faster the recharge time, the greater the chance of getting a critical hit reward. The staff member reacted to being scolded and quickly recharged with a pale face, because the god of consumption has the right to fire him. Ding. Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 16,000 trillion demon crystals in 1 minute, and received 8 intermediate lottery opportunities as a critical hit reward. Ding! New mission, complete the critical hit 3 times 48 Jing 6 trillion demon crystal consumption within 21 hours, and the host will be killed if the mission fails. Complete the mission and get 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Hurry up and recharge me with 400 ITX trillion demon crystals. Huaxian shouted excitedly. The staff member did not hesitate this time and completed the recharge as quickly as possible. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 400 ITX trillion demon crystals within 10 seconds, and received 3 high-level lottery opportunities as a critical hit reward. Ding! New mission, complete the consumption of 5 times 243 Jingshout trillion demon crystal essence within 10 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments will be awarded. 3 high-level lottery chances made Huaxian's body tremble with excitement that was indescribable. However, the consumption time was suddenly shortened to 10 hours, which made Huaxian feel scared. If consumption is completed within 10 seconds again, the consumption time will probably be shortened to 1 hour. The occurrence of this situation is definitely not a good thing. Although the reward is tempting, you have to resist the temptation. The whole audience was stunned by his lavish recharge, which was not far from the consumption of the Lord God's 100 trillion Jing Shao. Everyone looked at Huaxian, thinking that he would continue to recharge. Recharge me another 43 trillion demon crystals. The whole audience was numb. As expected, after this recharge, it will exceed 100 trillion Jing Shao, which means I have reached the status of the consumption master god. The staff quickly recharged Huaxian's account. When the recharge is completed, boom, 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 the bell rang 9 times. Then a pleasant and majestic voice spread far away from Paradise Island. Congratulations to Lord Huaxian for reaching the status of a consumer god noble on my magic wine city Paradise Island. Congratulations to Lord Huaxian for reaching the status of a consumer god noble on my magic wine city Paradise Island. Congratulations to Lord Huaxian for reaching the status of a consumer god noble on my magic wine city Paradise Island. 3 consecutive broadcasts shocked the entire magic wine city. Oh my god, who is this Huaxian? How could he be so terrifying that he recharged the consumption god on Paradise Island? It's been almost 3,000 years since the birth of the consumer god in our magic wine city Paradise Island. Right? Horrible, this name is so unfamiliar. Could it be that he is not from our demon wine city? A whole city was in an uproar. Countless distinguished consumers from Paradise Island rushed to Paradise Island, hoping to witness the glory of the new consumer god. Huaxian's women, as well as those 4th-grade beauties who were redeemed by Huaxian, were all shocked when they heard this name. After they were redeemed, unlike the beauties above the 6th rank who were bound by contracts, they were still thinking about taking the opportunity to escape. At this moment, hearing this shocking news, everyone cursed inwardly, saying that only a fool would run away. On Paradise Island, Huaxian discovered that after reaching the level of consumer god, the quality of consumer identity cards changed. They looked extremely noble and exuded an aura of majesty. After getting his ID card and devil card back, he turned to the 6th-rank beauties around him and said, "Contact me Gina or Lizardzor and go meet up with them. I'll come find you when I'm done." "Okay, bye, husband." Awakened by Huaxian's words, they became extremely obedient, calling their husbands and leaving sweetly. Watching them leave, Huaxian turned and walked towards the 7th level of heaven. This side of the 10th heaven. Manager Harry Kerr has already arranged all the beauties above the 7th rank to the 10th rank Paradise Square and is about to report to her superiors. I heard this announcement. His body trembled violently, he was extremely shocked. After reacting, he turned around without hesitation and rushed towards the lower heaven. Chapter 740, 10th level heaven. 10th class heaven, luxurious VIP reception hall. The top executives of Paradise Island all enthusiastically surrounded a young man and praised him. He is the 9th young master of the 25 demon tribes from the demon capital city, the demon Jinghong. As the main god of 7-star consumption, the status of the demon Jinghong is extremely terrifying. Therefore the top leaders of the entire Magic Wind City Paradise Island did not dare to be negligent. The island owner came out to entertain us personally. But at this time, news was heard that the god of consumption was born in Demon Wine City. This was born in the Paradise Island of Magic Wind City. It is their honor and they are all very happy. Immediately turn on the surveillance and lock onto the identity medal of the consumer god. When Huaxian's picture appeared along the consumer identity badge, everyone exclaimed, "It's him!" The devil Jinghong, who was originally high and mighty, was also watching the surveillance footage. When he saw that it was an inferior slave race, he frowned and asked in a deep voice, How could an inferior slave race get the assets to become a consumer god? The island owner, Sea Wolf Hongju, said bitterly. This guy started to top up like crazy as soon as he showed up, and he started by spending crowns all the way up. I didn't expect that he would even reach the point of spending the Lord God. We have already started investigating his identity. We only know that he is a slave of a young lady from an ordinary small family. His other identities are still under investigation. What is the purpose of this guy improving his status so crazily? The devil Jinghong asked again. I don't know, but he went all the way and bought all the beauties in the 4th, 5th and 6th heavens. So this guy's crazy improvement is for all the beauties in Magic Wine City. That should be it. Now this young master has reserved all the beauties in the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th level heavens. Is he going to confront this young master? No one on Paradise Island was talking. But in my heart I have great hope that we can succeed. Only in this way can they gain the greatest benefits. This side of the 8th heaven. Huaxian walked through the 7th heaven and arrived at the gate. Because all the beauties have been gathered in the 10th heaven, there is no one guarding here. However, there are defensive formations at the main entrance. Only those who meet the required status can pass through the formation. Just as Huaxian was about to enter the 8th level of heaven, he heard hurried footsteps. After a while, Manager Haley Kerr came running over. When he saw Huaxian, his eyes first fell on the identity badge on his chest. Shocked, it's really you. When she came to Huaxian, she couldn't help but throw herself into his arms. Feeling the softness of her body and smelling the fragrance of a beautiful woman, Huaxian was somewhat intoxicated. After a while, he asked, Manager Kier, what are you doing? Ari Kier looked up at him and said, I am a woman too. What do you say, Edu? Do you think you're in love with me? You know it. But you're still asking, Hari Kier said shyly. He also beat Huaxian's chest. I didn't expect that I was so powerful. Even the manager of Paradise Island was impressed by me. Show off. Of course I am proud. Come on. Take me to the 10th heaven. Are you really going? Let me tell you, the demon Jinghong is the 7-star consumer god. Are you sure you can fight him? TSK, as long as it can be solved with the demon crystal marrow, it is not a problem for me. Huaxian said confidently. Then he hugged Harley and walked towards heaven. You are so philandering. Are you going to risk everything for the beauty of our Paradise Island? You don't understand, Huaxian said profoundly. I thought to myself, if it weren't for the mission of resisting you beauties, I wouldn't fight so hard. You man, which one of you is not unfaithful, and you still say don't understand. But as long as you are good enough, I will like you no matter how attentive you are. As he spoke, he had already passed through the 9th heaven and arrived at the entrance of the 10th heaven. This is no longer a gate, but a teleportation array, which is extremely mysterious and advanced. How is it? First time here? That's right, Huaxian nodded in acknowledgement. Hurry up. It's too late, and your beauties will be ruined by others. Pulling Huaxian, he rushed towards the teleportation array and continued. Let me tell you, the demon Jinghong brought 1,000 troops that exude the breath of death. It seems that this army has made great contributions. They are now returning through our Magic Wine City. While they are resting, Demon Jinghong has reserved our Paradise Island to reward them. Can my woman be abused by others? Speed up and rush into the teleportation array. After a flash of light, the huge square appeared. It is the largest square in the 10th heaven. Looking around, there are thousands of beautiful women gathered here. Seeing the teleportation array light up, everyone in the square looked over. Huaxian also looked around the room. Feeling the strong breath of the death gene, he looked over subconsciously. I saw 1,000 soldiers wearing black armor and holding various weapons, standing neatly in the square. They were like motionless pillars. If it weren't for the aura of death emanating from them, one would have suspected that they were dead statues. At this time, in the hall just above the square, a young man with the aura of a dragon led a group of people out of the hall. Our eyes also fell on Huaxian. Ali Kier whispered in Huaxian's ear, Hubby, the guy in the lead is the 9th young master of the 25th demon clan of Demon Capital City, Demon Jinghong. The title naturally became the closest husband. Huaxian nodded, not looking at the other person, but looking at the thousands of stunning beauties at the scene. 3 of them were wearing veils, which made them look unique and extraordinary. Arikir introduced them with some envy. Those are the 3 goddesses. From left to right they are the locust Hollis, the ostrich swallowed wild butterfly, and Darwin's monkey core. Huaxian frowned and said, the name sounds very ordinary. Arlikar said in an envious tone, the names are based on their race and bloodline. They are indeed ordinary. But they are all lucky ones in evolution. They are all evolved beings who have mutated. Their body genes have mutated to be more perfect than any other creatures, which also makes their appearance far superior to countless creatures. Huaxian nodded and said, what you said makes me very curious about them. By the way, the 3 goddesses have such a terrifying opportunity. What about the legendary beauties? Harley Kerr was stunned. Then he said bitterly, I have been the manager of Paradise Island in Magic Wind City for nearly 10,000 years, and I have never seen the legendary beauty. The only person who has seen her is the island owner. Huaxian said confidently, I will definitely see him. I thought to myself, I didn't see her when I was on Reed Moon Island in Paradise Island, so this time, I must see the legendary beauty. I want to see to what extent this legendary beauty has reached perfection. Chapter 741, Go to Hell. Harley Kerr smiled bitterly and said, I hope you can successfully meet the legendary beauty. Oh, by the way, if you really saw it, remember to take a picture and let me see it too. She looked so well behaved and cute that Huaxian was actually a little stunned. Snort. Seeing this, the devil snorted angrily. The island owner, Sea Wolf Hongju, was so frightened that his body trembled violently. He hurriedly said, Harry Kier, now is the time for the demon Jinghong Ninth Young Master to book the place. Why did you bring others to the 10th heaven? Ali Kier took a deep breath and said, Island Master, this is the newly promoted consumer god of our Magic Wind City Paradise Island. He has made a request to consume the 3 goddesses and all the beautiful women below. I am not qualified to refuse this. The island owner looked at the devil Jinghong with embarrassment. The latter looked at the island owner and smiled coldly. He understood what he was thinking, but he didn't care. He looked at Huaxian coldly and said, Lowly human inferior slave, I am really curious. How did you recharge to become the consumer god? But I don't believe that someone is willing to spend a huge amount of demon crystal marrow to train an inferior human slave to become the consumer god of Paradise Island. Huaxian smiled and said, with your stupid IQ, you probably won't be able to figure it out. Even if you rack your brains, let me tell you, a certain high-level demon is my woman. After being conquered by me, they will obey my orders. What's the point of being the consumer god who tops up Paradise Island? Even the legendary beauties will help me win them over. You're talking bullshit. Which high-level demon woman would be interested in a lowly human slave like you? The angry demon burst out in shock. Huaxian laughed and said, Look at you. You are really awesome. I made you so angry just by making a joke. You dare to humiliate our general like this? You are seeking death. The soldier of the Death Legion, holding a death blade, turned into a gust of death wind and rushed towards Huaxian rapidly. Faced with such a scene, the security of Paradise Island did not dare to show up. Because each of these Death Legion soldiers, although seemingly at a low level, exudes a dangerous aura. What's more, these were subordinates of the high-level demon Jinghong, so they didn't dare to stop him. Everyone's eyes were focused on Huaxian. After all, the human race is notoriously weak in the true continent. Except for that place, other human races are inferior slaves in the eyes of all races. It's just that Huaxian is rich and powerful, and he has recharged to the point of consuming the god of consumption. That's why I'm curious whether he has any strength at all. Although he had shown some strength before, his opponent was not strong after all. Everyone close to Huaxian was frightened and retreated to a safe place. Only Harley Kerr did not retreat, but her slightly trembling body showed that she was very scared. The soldiers of the Death Legion approached Huaxian, and the death blades in their hands burst out with even more terrifying power. Carrying the tremendous power of death, they chopped Huaxian heavily. The whole audience held their breath and became tense. At this moment, Huaxian slowly stretched out his hand. It gives people the feeling that the opponent is not taken seriously and is completely disdainful. This soldier of the Death Legion was furious. It was the first time he was ignored. What was even more hateful was that this person was a human. Go to hell. The attack power that had been reserved at first completely erupted at this moment, and he was determined to kill this lowly human slave with one blow. The whole audience was shocked. No one expected that the soldiers of the Death Legion still had reservations. The next moment, the whole audience was stunned. His eyes were full of disbelief. Just because Huaxian easily caught the horrific knife of the Death Legion soldier. The most shocking were the soldiers of the Death Legion. You have to know that what they use is death energy. Most creatures dare not touch it at all. Once they come into contact with it, their bodies will quickly wither. But now, this inferior human slave not only took on the powerful attack, but was also not affected by the death energy at all. This is horrible. The devil Jinghong was also stunned. A Death Legion, but he obtained the forging method from a mysterious and strange place, and consumed 100,000 leaves to create these 1,000 Death Legion soldiers. Their fighting power is also unprecedentedly strong, as they are almost unkillable. In this mission, there were no less than 1 million enemies, but he led the 1,000 soldiers of the Death Legion and was invincible. He killed millions of enemies and forced them to flee in defeat, achieving an incredible record. Only then, on the way back, they rewarded everyone in Magic Wind City, the only main city with a paradise island within billions of miles. The power of death, you count that as well? Huaxian finished speaking inferently. Buzz! A muffled sound erupted from his body. The next moment, The space trembled, and the terrifying power of death burst out from Hu Xian's body. The pure power of death and the breath of death alone made people feel that he was the god of death. Boom! There was a loud explosion in space, and the power of death in Hu Xian's body completely erupted, sweeping in all directions. Boom boom boom. Everyone at the scene collapsed to the ground in fear under the terrifying force of death. I feel like I'm being watched by the god of death and my life may be taken away at any time. Only those who have experienced this kind of despair can understand how devastating it is. The devil Jing Han was stunned. It took him a while to react, and he took a deep breath and said, "Even if you have mastered the death gene, what does it matter? You are only at the peak of the divine king realm. I am a powerful divine emperor and can easily kill you." Seeing that his death army was completely suppressed, the devil Jing Han finished speaking, holding a spear, and killed Hu Xian. Hu Xian smiled coldly, and the pure physical strength prompted the power of death to explode. Boom! The sound of the space exploding made the people at the scene feel like their eardrums were about to break. But he was stunned by what he saw. The power of death turned into a dragon, carrying the breath of destruction, and rushed towards the devil Jing Han. The demon Jing Han, who originally wanted to rely on his cultivation to kill Hu Xian, instantly felt the breath of death. Extremely terrified, without taking time to think, his thoughts touched the instant teleportation formation in his mind. At this time, Hu Xian felt a strong spatial fluctuation. When I wanted to take action, I found that the other party had already left. I was a little surprised that there was an instant teleportation array inside the other party's body. A formation master who can set up this kind of formation inside a living organism is absolutely terrifying. The identity of the creature that can set up this kind of formation must be absolutely terrifying. Everyone at the scene was stunned as they watched the devil escape. Hu Xian's eyes fell on the soldiers of the Death Legion. Buzz! An even more terrifying force of death erupted from within the body. That extremely pure power of death has an absolute suppressing effect on the half-baked death power of the Death Legion soldiers. They can be easily destroyed by simply absorbing and refining the power of death in their bodies. "Please spare my life, sir." These soldiers of the Death Legion sensed Hu Xian's murderous intent and quickly begged for mercy. Chapter 742, Not Expensive. Hu Xian did not give them any chance. The power of death enveloped all the soldiers of the Death Legion and killed them directly. As the power of death in their bodies was eliminated, all these mutant soldiers who relied on the power of death to survive were reduced to ashes. Just when everyone thought it was over. Boom! A loud bang was heard in the air, and the space instantly exploded with countless cracks, spreading between heaven and earth. Such terrifying power, if not stopped, would probably destroy the entire Demon Wine City. Countless creatures saw this scene and felt the power of destruction, and they became extremely desperate. So vicious. Hu Xian cursed angrily and flew into the air. Under the gaze of billions of creatures in the entire Magic Wine City, they rushed towards the exploding space crack between heaven and earth that was still spreading. See this? The creatures who were originally terrified and desperate were stunned. Human. Finally, these two words came out of his mouth. The Shenlong fusion achievement is unlocked. The level of cultivation of all attributes was instantly raised to the level of God Emperor. Buzz! An extremely terrifying force erupted from Hu Xian's body. The space crack that had been spreading terrifyingly like the crack between heaven and earth collapsed instantly under the power that Hu Xian exploded. A punch was directed at the source of the terrifying space-destroying power. Boom! With a piercing loud noise, the source of power exploded instantly. The space crack that originally spread between heaven and earth quickly recovered. The creatures who felt the aura of destruction disappear finally breathed a sigh of relief. Where did the human race come from? How dare you run wild in the real continent ruled by demons? A majestic voice came. At the same time, the calm space began to fluctuate violently again. The next moment, a huge demon emitting terrifying demonic genetic power appeared in the sky. Countless creatures saw this terrifying demon and knelt down devoutly, as if this could prevent the big devil from killing him. "You still dare to come over?" Hu Xian's tone was extremely cold. You little human, even if you have reached the level of a God Emperor, you are still pitifully weak. I can kill you with just one finger." God Emperor? The billions of people in Demon Wine City were extremely shocked when they heard these two words. Presumptuous! Hu Xian roared. A mutated demon bloodline is activated, and as its strength increases, the pressure it exudes becomes even more terrifying. The arrogant big devil actually fell to the ground when he was enveloped by the demonic blood that erupted from Hu Xian. Demon royal bloodline? How could you possibly do that? He exclaimed these words in surprise. The billions of lives in Demon Wine City were shocked to the extreme. I didn't expect that the people I thought were human were actually demons. And of royal blood. You are just a demon with royal blood, yet you dare to be so rampant in front of me? You deserve to be punished? Devil's trial. No. The great demon roared in despair as he watched him attack the demon judge who looked like himself. The demonic judgment is a terrifying force that targets only the demon clan. Legend has it that it was passed down by the ancestors of the demon clan. Its purpose is to judge those rebellious demons and to cast the demonic judgment. Only pure-blooded royal demons can do so. Seeing Huaxian perform the devil's judgment, the last doubt in the great devil's heart disappeared. Because even if someone can disguise themselves as a demon, even if their bloodline is disguised, they will never be able to perform the demonic judgment. Boom! The demonic judgment fell on his body, instantly forming a powerful confinement seal. The great demon's god emperor-level demon gene power was completely sealed in the blink of an eye. The whole person has become just an ordinary person, and any cultivator can kill him. This is the horror of the devil's trial. Of course, demonic judgment is only effective against demonic creatures. Huaxian slowly fell from the sky and became the focus. Landed on Paradise Square. No. 10 on Paradise Island. Why are you looking at me like that? Do you have any feelings about me? Huaxian asked with a smile. Arlikir was shocked and asked, "You are actually from the demon royal family?" "Why, no." Arlikir smiled bitterly and said, "How could you, a member of the demon royal family, appear in our demon wine city and attack all the beauties in our Paradise Island? Because you're here, huh? Are you interested in being mine?" Arlikir was extremely shocked. The beauties around were extremely envious. Reacting, Halikir quickly said, "I'm interested, husband." She threw herself into Huaxian's arms and shouted, "Ding! Congratulations to the host, you will be rewarded with 100 resistance points for each girl you pick up. Hubby, let's go to the room, okay?" Alikir said shyly that she only wanted to devote herself to Huaxian. The main purpose is to shed blood with the demon royal family. "I'll talk about this later, I have other things to do now." After he finished speaking, he looked at all the beauties present and said, "From now on, you are my women, is that okay with you?" The whole audience was stunned. Then there was an outburst, "We have no objection." As they answered, all the beauties still didn't believe it was true. They pinched each other, and the pain made them realize that this was all true and they were about to become women of the devil royal family. "It makes me excited just thinking about it. Then I will redeem you." He looked at Harikir and asked, "Where can the 10th heaven redeem them?" The tone sounded a little impatient. "It's hard to understand. He is obviously a royal devil, there is no beauty that he can't get. Why is he so crazy about the beauties on Paradise Island?" At this time, the island owner came over and said, "Sir, I am the island owner, Si Wolfhongju. I can redeem them here." "Well, hurry up and get the formalities done for me. I can't wait to know whether I can complete the task of picking up girls after winning these beauties." Si Wolfhongju did not dare to neglect it. He nodded and looked at the beauties and said, "Why don't you bring your ID cards over here?" One by one, they reacted, extremely excited, and rushed over to hand their ID cards to the island owner. "Island Master. My ID card." "Island Master, this is mine." After collecting everyone's ID cards, the island owner turned on the communication equipment and logged into Paradise Island's internal network. After a while, he said to Huaxian, "Sir, there are a total of 1008 beauties above the 7th rank, and a total of 58,000 Jingshout Rillian demon crystals are needed." Huaxian, who was confident, trembled violently when he heard the price. "I thought I could easily grasp it now. But I didn't expect that I could only do it for a fraction of the amount. If you think about it carefully, 200 great human qualities, 100 top qualities, 30 earthly qualities, 10 heavenly qualities, and 3 goddesses, all added together would be extremely expensive. 58,000 Jingshout Rillian does not seem to be a lot." The island owner did not doubt that Huaxian could not produce so many demon crystals. After all, this was a royal demon. Waiting patiently for Huaxian's reply, Huaxian took a deep breath and asked, "Where are the legendary beauties? How many demon crystals are there?" Chapter 743, Legendary Beauty. "What?" The whole audience was shocked. I didn't expect that he was also eyeing the legendary beauty. Everyone's eyes fell on the island owner. The island owner smiled bitterly and said, "Sir, just to see the legendary beauty once would cost 1 million Jingshout Rillian demon crystals. A reason for stating this price is also to hope that Huaxian will give up." Huaxian was indeed shocked. The price of this legendary beauty is simply too high. He took a deep breath and said, "It's okay, the price is a small matter, please ask the island owner to contact the legendary beauty." The whole audience was shocked. After a while, the island owner said, "Sir, to be honest, the beauty is not on my island, you need to apply to meet her. Then apply." Huaxian said firmly, "I thought that this was a good opportunity to buy time and complete the demon crystal essence quest." The island owner wanted to cry. He had never seen this legendary beauty. So it would be so difficult to see her. The 1 million Jingxiao Rillion was just a show of respect after all. Who would be willing to pay 1 million Jingxiao Rillion to see the legendary beauty? But it just happened. Sir, if you really want to see the legendary beauty, you need to pay a deposit of 100 Zaro Jingxiao Rillion demon crystals. I still have to pay a deposit. Hu Xian was very surprised. The island owner explained. Yes, after all, the legendary beauty needs to be invited from other places, so a deposit is required. Are you worried that I can't afford it? The island owner smiled bitterly but said nothing. Hu Xian looked at the task consumption, and found that it was only 243 trillion Jingxiao, which was still a long way from 100 trillion Jingxiao. After thinking for a while, he said, how about this? I'll wait for a while until I notify someone to transfer the demon crystal marrow to my account, then I'll come and redeem you and let you see the legendary beauty. Is it okay to arrange a place for me to stay? Please. Sir. The island owner was relieved. No one looked down on Hu Xian after all. Even if he redeemed all the beauties above level 7, it would cost nearly 60,000 billion demon crystals. Soon they arrived at the most luxurious residence in the 10th heaven. What shocked Hu Xian was that the entire residence was actually made of magic crystal stones, and installed the magic gathering formation. In other words, even if the people living inside do not practice, the pure magic power will be forcefully injected into their bodies. Arriving at the residence, the island owner said to the manager, Harry Kier, I'll leave the care of the adults to you. Okay, island owner. Sir, if you have any requests, please feel free to ask Harry Kier. After saying that, he left. Hu Xian walked into the specially designed room. Suddenly, I felt a pure and powerful magical power sweeping over me, flowing into my body through the pores all over my body. Looking around, it seems more like a holiday estate than a room. Harley Kier, who was following behind, couldn't help but say, I have worked in Paradise Island for so many years, but this is the first time I have entered a room like this. Such powerful magic. If I continue to live here, I'm afraid it won't be long before my cultivation level breaks through. Because it is extremely pure magic power, any living creature can absorb and refine it. Wow, is that the magic furnace? It is said that if you put in the devil's marrow, you can strengthen the magic power here. Hu Xian's eyes lit up and he said, then let's give it a try. Walk over and directly exchange it for 100 trillion demon crystal marrows and put it in. Who would have thought that the seemingly small furnace was actually like a bottomless pit and could not be filled in a short time? And with the addition of the demon crystal marrow, the magic power of the entire room increased exponentially. Hu Xian doesn't have any direct feeling. Arikir only felt like she was being enlightened. The genetic power in her body absorbed the pure 5 attribute magic power and surged wildly. About 5 minutes. Boom. A loud bang was heard from Hari Kir's body, and her cultivation level had broken through a small realm. However, this was not the end as Hu Xian continued to inject the demon crystal essence. The magic power she absorbed became more and more terrifying. This time it was a little longer, about 10 minutes. Another loud bang sounded in his body, and his cultivation level broke through to a small level again. Perhaps it was because of the breakthrough from the absorption of magic power throughout the body. The level of cultivation after the breakthrough was still very stable. About an hour. Arikir broke through 4 levels in succession. Hu Xian also used up 100 trillion demon crystals. Only then did I understand that this special furnace has the effect of rapid smelting, so no matter how much demon crystal essence is put in, it cannot be filled. The magic here was already strong enough, so Hu Xian did not continue to invest. He handed the demon card and identity card to the extremely excited Hari Kir and said, please help me top up 100 trillion demon crystals for me. Okay, husband, thank you. He hugged Hu Xian and gave him a kiss, calling him husband very smoothly, and then he quickly recharged Hu Xian. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 243 trillion demon crystals in 10 hours, and received 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding! New mission: complete the consumption of 15 times the amount of 3000 Jingxiao trillion demon crystals within 10 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, you will receive 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as a reward. Honey, the recharge is done. Hari Kir handed over the ID card and the devil card. Her whole body was full of affection, her face was slightly flushed, and she was extremely attractive, as if she was letting her husband pick her. Hu Xian was drooling as he watched. Although he had gained more than 90 Zaro resistance points of the opposite sex, Harley Kerr was not an ordinary person of the opposite sex. In terms of beauty, she is no less beautiful than any other beauty on the heavily ranking. Just leave it there, we'll need to top it up later. Honey, do you really want to redeem all the beauties? Haley Kier said jealously. You are wrong, redeeming them is just a side job, my target is the legendary beauty. Holly Kerr was shocked and said, But husband, you heard from the island owner that the price of seeing a beautiful woman is so high, why don't you just forget it? No matter how beautiful she is just a woman, right? I'm curious. So I have to see what makes the legendary beauty so special. Seeing that it was impossible to persuade him, Holly Care threw herself into Huaxian's arms, hugged him tightly and said, "Hubby, please don't talk about other women now, please accept me." While speaking, she kissed Huaxian on the mouth. Huaxian wanted to avoid it, but he couldn't bear to do so and ended up being succeeded by Haley Kier. While sucking, Huaxian found that his resistance value of more than 90,000 against the opposite sex was of little use. "Husband? What me?" Harikir's eyes were blurry and she had already started taking off her clothes. The white scene made Huaxian's blood boil. He took a deep breath, feeling heartbroken, and pushed Harikir away and said, "Wife, don't worry. What kind of place is this? It's like a brothel. If I sleep with you here, it will feel like I'm sleeping with a prostitute." When Haley Kier heard this, she was about to cry. "Hubby, do you treat me like a whore?" Chapter 744, You are so rich. Silly, that's not true. I just don't want to treat you like that kind of woman. So I can't sleep here anymore. And husband, let's leave here. She pulled Huaxian and left. And it was obvious that she couldn't wait. "No hurry, I'll pamper you after I finish my work and leave here." "Hubby, do you not like Kier at all? You came here just for the legendary beauty. Now that you have her, will you like Kier even less?" "Wife, if you say that again, I will be angry in my heart. Every woman I have is the most beautiful in the world, and I will never show favoritism to anyone." Holly Care stared at Huaxian for a while, as if to make sure that he was not lying. Then she smiled and said, "Thank you, husband. I love you." Huaxian was speechless and thought, women are really fickle. And the two of them snuggled together. Haley Kier kept asking questions, and Huaxian answered them patiently. 10 minutes later Huaxian said, "Wife, recharge me 3,000 Jingxiao Rillian demon crystals." Harley Kerr was stunned. I thought that even though Huaxian was a member of the demon royal family, he must not have much demon crystal marrow in him after all. His cultivation was powerful, and I guess all the demon crystal marrow was used for cultivation. But now, one recharge is 3,000 Jingxiao Rillian. This is so scary. "What's wrong, wife?" Huaxian asked, pretending to be ignorant. "Hubby, you are so rich." While speaking, he was still honestly recharging Huaxian's account. "Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 3,000 Jingxiao Trillion Demon Crystals within 10 hours, received 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding! New mission. Complete the consumption of 3 times the critical hit of 9,000 Jingxiao Trillion Demon Crystals within 10 hours, and the host will be wiped out if the mission fails. The reward for completing the mission is 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments." And the two chatted ambiguously, and Huaxian would recharge every 10 minutes. Nearly 2 hours. I recharged it 9 times in total. The cumulative recharge reached a terrifying 1.3 million Jingxiao Rillian Demon Crystals. Because recharging every 10 minutes would not affect the shortening of time, Huaxian waited patiently. "Wife, recharge me another 1.5 million Jingxiao Rillian Demon Crystals." After Huaxian finished speaking, he thought that after this recharge was completed, he could go and redeem the beauties, and then there would be the legendary beauties. Ali Kier had long been numb and recharged Huaxian with a wry smile. "Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 1.5 million Jingxiao Rillian Demon Crystals within 10 hours, and received 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding! New mission. Complete the consumption of 6 times 9 million Jingxiao Rillian Demon Crystals within 10 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed if the mission is completed. You will receive 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as a reward." Huaxian looked at his consumer ID card and realized that he had already reached the minimum requirement of becoming a consumer master, which was 10,000 Jingxiao Rillian Demon Crystals. He now has the terrifying status of a consumer dominator with 180 stars, ranking first on Magic Wind City's Paradise Island. He is also the first interstellar customer in history to become the highest consumer dominator. At the same time, there is also a list of Paradise Island consumption dominating the star-rated rankings across the continent. What is worthy of Huaxian's attention is that even though he has the strength to dominate 180 stars, he is only ranked 9,987th. In other words, only the top 10,000 consumers make the list of the continental leaderboard. I thought that my current recharge in Paradise Island, even if not the first in the entire continent, was not far behind. I didn't expect the gap to be so big. Congratulations, husband. You've made it to the top of the Paradise Island consumption rankings across the continent. Harikir congratulated numbly. She witnessed Huaxian's dramatic rise. "You are the wife of the most powerful man in Paradise Island who dominates the continent's consumption rankings. Congratulations, congratulations, he said while hugging Harley. This action and words made the Haley Kier smile. And she felt that she still had a place in Huaxian's heart. Come on, wife, go find your island owner and redeem the other beauties. Harley nodded without saying anything. Opened the door to the room. Stunned. Unexpectedly, the island owner was already waiting at the door. Behind him are all the beauties of Paradise Island. Huaxian was stunned and asked curiously, Island Master. And dears, have you been waiting here all this time? The island owner smiled bitterly and said, Sir, you have been recharging like crazy, and now you are the most precious consumer master here. What's even more frightening is that you are already on the list of the most expensive person in the entire Paradise Island. I have already applied for a legendary beauty meeting fee for you, and now I am just waiting for their reply. By the way, here are the redemption information for the beauties above level 7 on our Paradise Island. We have processed it for you. So good? Huaxian happily took the information and said, then transfer the money. The island owner said to Holly Kier. Manager Ha, please transfer the money. Huaxian said, directly transfer 200. Zero Jingsha trillion demon crystals and the deposit as well. The island owner smiled bitterly and said, Sir, you are already a consumer leader. And you are also a consumer leader on the continent's rankings. You don't need to pay a deposit. Is that so? Then transfer 60? Zero Jingsha trillion demon crystals to me, and the rest will be considered as a reward. Faced with Huaxian's arrogance, the island owner did not refuse. My dears, you are mine from now on. Husband. More than 1,000 people in the audience shouted husband in unison. The scene was amazing. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the process of picking up 80 girls and received a reward of 100,000, 800 resistance points of the opposite sex. Huaxian smiled excitedly. Wife. Husband. When the island owner saw this scene, he expressed his envy. Island Master, is it okay for my wives to stay here with me? Of course, no problem. As a consumer master, you have many privileges in our Paradise Island. That's good. By the way, I have a group of wives waiting for me outside. Is it okay to ask them to come over? No problem, just ask Manager Ha to invite the ladies over for you. Dear, please take the trouble to go and pick up your sisters. I've given you their contact information. Go find them. Okay, husband? In front of Huaxian's more than 1,000 wives, Holly Kier showed the spirit of a big sister. At this time, the three goddesses walked towards Huaxian. Come before him and take off your veil. That peerless beauty made Huaxian stunned immediately. Beautiful, so beautiful. It's like not being in this world. Husband. When the three of them spoke, there was no interference from other sounds. It was like the sound of immortals. And listening to the sound made people feel relaxed and happy. Honey, hug me. Huaxian had only one idea for such stunning beauties. To love them dearly and let them be the mothers of his children. The three of them opened their arms together. It was Huaxian's turn to look miserable. Who should I hug first? Chapter 745, Application Rejected. Everyone in the audience was watching him, wanting to know what choice he would make. Hubby. Hug me. The three goddesses saw that he was stunned and shouted in unison. Huaxian suddenly smiled. The next moment, he transformed into a divine dragon and surrounded the three goddesses in his arms in front of the shocked gazes of the entire audience. And they were already stunned. A long time. The island owner was the first to react. And asked in horror, could it be that the Lord is of the royal demon mutated bloodline? Huaxian changed back to human form and asked majestically, how do you know the royal demon mutant bloodline? The terrifying or frightened the island owner so much that his body trembled. Sir, I have read in an ancient book that only the royal demon mutated bloodline has a 1 in 10,000 chance of having all the genes. And the demon royal family's mutant bloodline, which possesses all kinds of genes, can transform into any race, making it difficult to tell the real from the fake. Huaxian said coldly. You know so much, I don't want anyone else to know. The island owner smiled bitterly and looked at the beauties present. Hubby, we are family and we will never say anything nonsense. A beautiful woman immediately expressed her opinion. That's right, husband. We are all yours and we won't say anything nonsense. Okay, I believe you. Island Master. Regarding the legendary beauty, when will Diakai have news? The island owner smiled bitterly and said, I don't know either. This is the first time I've encountered someone who wants to consume legendary beauties on our Paradise Island. And we can only wait patiently. About an hour. Harley Kier came with countless people. Hubby, we missed you so much. Leading the group was GFE and her friends. Dead Spirit Jusheng, Yuzian, Shuang Fe and Shir Uiyu and the others all rushed towards Huaxian excitedly. Huaxian was surrounded. Hubby, did you miss us? I want to very much. The island owner and the others were stunned by what they saw. Looking around, there were beauties everywhere, probably no less than 30. Zero of them. After a while, he finally looked at Huexin, one of the three goddesses. Locust Hollis asked, "Husband, are they all your wives?" Huaxian glanced at the entire audience and was also speechless. There was no answers. Huang Feyan and the others asked, "Wives? Didn't you go to train the army? Why did you bring so many beautiful women back to me?" "Hubby, we are married women. If we recruit men as subordinates, I'm afraid you will be worried, so we only recruit outstanding girls." "Hubby, they are all very talented and growing very rapidly." "Well, I like beautiful women too," Gefei said. "Hubby, do you call this liking? I heard that you have redeemed all the beauties in Magic Wine City and Paradise Island and put them in your harem." "Hubby, you're not going to collect all the beautiful women on Paradise Island across the continent, are you?" Hearing this, the whole audience looked at Huaxian in shock. Huaxian smiled and said, "Wife, it's a good thing you reminded me. If that's the case, then I can only visit every Paradise Island." The whole audience rolled their eyes. At this time, the island owner's communicator rang. He quickly said, "Sir, the call is from Paradise Island." Huaxian's body trembled when he heard this, and he said excitedly, "Everyone be quiet." Everyone quieted down, and the island owner finally answered the call. Soon the image of an old woman came into everyone's sight. "Magic Wayne City, Paradise Island, your application to meet the legendary beauty has been rejected." The island owner was shocked. After a while, he asked, "Sir, why?" "Because the 10 legendary beauties currently working here are all busy." Huaxian couldn't help but say, as the consumer master of Paradise Island, and even ranked 10,000th on the consumer master ranking list of the entire continent, "Don't I have the right to see the legendary beauty?" The tone was very unhappy. The other party was not polite, and even said disaffectedly, "First of all, the legendary beauty and our Paradise Island have a contractual relationship. We are just providing an opportunity, and we cannot guarantee whether we can meet. Also, currently, on the list of the most consumed people in the entire continent of Paradise Island that you mentioned, there are no less than 3,000 strong men queuing up to meet the legendary beauty. Among them, there are the top 500 consumer giants in Paradise Island. Do you still think that your status as the bottom 10,000 is noble? If you want to see the legendary beauty, you either need to continue to improve your status, or you can only wait." Huaxian frowned and asked, "Can I see them if I upgrade my status?" "Of course, my Paradise Island has a treaty with the 10 legendary beauties. Only those below the level of Consumption Master, that is, Consumption Master God, are eligible to apply for a meeting. Of course, it's just a qualification. Meeting is almost impossible. The Consumer Master has the opportunity to apply after waiting for hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of years. There should be a chance to meet. The consumer leaders on the list have an absolute chance of meeting each other, but you just have to wait in line. The top 1,000 on the list have limited opportunities to meet legendary beauties. We will also arrange queue breaks based on your status level. Paradise Island's consumption dominates the top 100 in the entire continent. Having the right to directly meet the beauties of Paradise Island is also called a privilege. Paradise Island is one of the top 10 consumers on the continent. It has the absolute power to order legendary beauties to meet at home and consume legendary beauties. And if you want to redeem the legendary beauty, only the top 3 consumers on Paradise Island are eligible." Huaxian nodded after listening, and he was no longer angry and asked, "I want to ask, where is the legendary beauty closest to Magic Wayne City? You want to go to my house? You won't stand a chance even if you go there. It's better for you to improve your status honestly." "That's right, then I will ask all the legendary beauties in the continent to come to Magic Wine City to see me." Beep beep beep. The other party sneered and hung up the call. The whole audience looked at Huaxian awkwardly. Huaxian said to Halikir, "Wife, recharge me 9 million Jingshout Brilliant Demon Crystals." The whole audience was shocked. If this is recharged, Huaxian's status will instantly exceed 1,000 stars of Consumption Master. "Honey, do you really want to recharge?" Halikir asked in shock. Huaxian nodded and said, "Recharge." Gefei and the others were fine because they all knew that Huaxian had a spending task. "I am surprised that my husband's spending is getting bigger and bigger." Halikir smiled bitterly and had to recharge quickly. "Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 9 million Jingshout Brilliant Demon Crystals within 10 hours. And received 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding, new mission. Complete the consumption of 90 million Jingshout Brilliant Demon Crystal Essences within 10 hours. And the host will be killed if the mission fails. The reward for completing the mission is 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments." Boom boom boom. As Huaxian completed the recharge, his consumer master status broke through 1,000 stars, and a divine bell at the highest point of Paradise Island rang 7 times in succession. Chapter 746, Consumption dominates Wanxing. Shocked the entire Magic Wine City. Most people still know the rules of Paradise Island. A bell will only ring 7 times if a terrifying existence above the 1,000-star level of the consumer dominator appears. After a while, 7 distant bell sounds were heard from the distance. What's going on? Huixin, who didn't know the rules, asked curiously as he checked the ranking associated with his identity. At this moment, he had risen from the bottom position of more than 9,000 to 5,493 RD place. Such a terrifying improvement, coupled with the 7 rings of the bell, shocked the entire continent. Arlie Kier explained. Hubby, when the highest status consumer master of Paradise Island breaks through the 1,000 stars, the divine bell will roar. And the roar of the divine bell will begin in the city where the 1,000-star consumer master appears, and spread to the entire continent. So magical? Of course, so the status of the high-star consumer master of Paradise is very distinguished. Right now, all the cities that own Paradise Islands were shocked. Countless people stood outside Paradise Island, watching the consumption dominate the top 10. 0 rankings. In the position within 5,000, a name with the word rookie in the note became the focus of everyone. This guy named Huixin is so strong and terrifying, he suddenly appeared out of nowhere and directly entered the top 5,000 of the consumer domination list. What's this? I just saw him at the bottom of the 10,000 9,000, and I thought that was all unexpectedly. He suddenly soared up by several thousand places, and even directly broke through the 1,000 stars and entered the top 5,000. It's really terrifying. This name sounds like someone from the human race, but how can there be such a powerful person in the human race? Nonsense, the name must be fake. Such discussions were heard in front of the ranking list of each city with Paradise Island. Paradise Island headquarters. The sudden appearance of 1,000-star powerful man also attracted the attention of the top leaders, and a high-level meeting was held as a result. What do you think about the appearance of Qianxing Huixin, a consumer tycoon of Magic Wind City? The person who spoke first was wearing a white robe, covering himself tightly. His voice was weird and it was impossible to tell whether he was a man or a woman. An old woman said, "Sir, the island owner of Magic Wind City previously applied for Huixin's request to meet the legendary beauty at that time. He was ranked last among the 10,000, and I rejected it. Later, he learned about the rules. He said that he would let all the legendary beauties from all over the continent go to Paradise Island to see him. Not long after, he recharged 1,000 stars beyond the consumption master. What is this guy's identity? I want to know this." Another old man stood up and said, "Sir, this is under investigation. This round never stops. This side of Magic Wind City Paradise Island." Seeing the 10 minutes had passed, Huixin said to Holly Kier, "Kier, my dear wife, recharge me another 90 million Jing Shao Rillion." What? This time, the whole audience was shocked and couldn't recover for a long time. I just broke through to the 1,000 stars, and this time I recharged 90 million Jing Shao Rillion. And I directly broke through the 10,000 stars. No one could imagine that such a powerful consumer who dominated the 10,000 stars would appear in the Demon Wine City. After being stunned, the island owner was extremely surprised. If this were to happen, the status of Magic Wind City's Paradise Island would surely skyrocket, and he, the island owner, might even be promoted to the headquarters. I thought I would just live my life in mediocrity, but I didn't expect Huixin to bring me such an opportunity. He said excitedly. "Manager Ha, why don't you recharge the account for me?" After being shocked, Holly Kier saw that Huixin looked serious, nodded firmly, and quickly recharged. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 90 million Jingshao Rillion Eman crystals within 10 hours, and received 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding, new mission. Complete the critical hit 3 times and consume 70 million Jingshao Rillion Demon crystals within 10 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments will be awarded. Boom boom boom. This time, the bell rang 9 times, shocked the entire continent. And everyone in the 10th class Paradise of Magic Wind City Paradise Island subconsciously set their eyes on Huixin's identity card. It was seen that Huixin's consumption dominance level had risen from over 4,000 to the top 1. 0, ranking 987th. Everyone who saw it clearly was numb and stunned. And all over the continent, in cities with Paradise Island, more and more people are standing in front of the screen where the Paradise Island ranking list is announced. I was also stunned when I saw the guy named Huixin directly break through the 10,000 stars and make it into the top 1,000. Various media radio stations were the first to report the news. The whole mainland knows about Huixin, the rising star of consumer dominance in Paradise Island. It caused a sensation in the mainland for a while. Huixin said to Press Lie, "I have already topped up more than 100,000, but I am only ranked 987th. There are many talented people in the mainland. After hearing this, everyone gradually came to their senses and looked at him in silence. I thought there are many wealthy people in the mainland. But you are the first one who recharged so much money all at once. I guess the whole continent is shocked by you now. At this time, the island owner's communicator rang. He looked at Hu Xin and said, "Sir, this is a call from above. It seems that you have successfully attracted their attention. Please connect and see what they want." After the call was connected, it was still the old woman, Seawolf Hongju. "Since a 10,000-star consumer master has appeared on your Paradise Island, the higher-ups have decided to promote you to the headquarters. Set off immediately. A new island owner is expected to arrive at Magic Wine City in 10 minutes. Seawolf Hongju was stunned. If you think about it carefully, you will understand that these people know that Hu Xin will continue to recharge. After all, he made a bold statement that he would make the legendary beauty come to see him on her own initiative. So the people above want to steal his credit? Sir, you are going too far. I was the one who dug out Sir Hu Xin. You are stealing my credit. Faced with such a great credit, Seawolf Hongju couldn't help but retort. Seawolf Hongju, what nonsense are you talking about? You trained the master of 10,000 stars. So isn't it my duty to promote you? How come you're saying that I'm stealing your credit? Is it wrong to promote you to work at the headquarters? The old woman shouted angrily. Hu Xin also saw through the other party's intention at a glance. Because of the previous incident, he didn't like the other party very much, so he said, "Island Master, if you want to work at the headquarters, then go to the headquarters. I will go with you. You will still be responsible for the recharge later." Really? Seawolf Hongju looked incredulous. The old woman's face turned as dark as ink. He said angrily, "No." Before he could finish, Hu Xin interrupted him and said, "I can recharge my demon crystal wherever I want. What right do you have to say no? Hasn't the new person here? There's no need to give him a welcome ceremony. Master Hai Island, let's set off for the headquarters." "Yes, sir, please." Chapter 747, Delivery. Seawolf Hongju also mustered up his courage, ignored the old woman, and led the way. The old woman was furious. "Seawolf Hongju, you dare to act so pretentiously? You won't be able to survive even if you come to the headquarters." Beep. He hung up the phone in great anger. The Seawolf Hongzietsu was still very scared. Hu Xin said, "Don't worry, I'll support you when I get to the top of the list." Seawolf Hongju's body trembled, and everyone around him was shocked. The feeling was indescribable. No one doubts his ability. Soon they arrived at the Paradise Island's dedicated teleportation array. At this moment, the huge ultra-long-distance teleportation array was lighting up with increasingly dazzling light. It proves that the teleportation array is being used. And the brighter the light, the closer the other party is. After about 10 minutes, the light of the teleportation array had become brighter. After a while, a graceful and extraordinary young man appeared in the formation. The young man, with an excited smile on his face, saw a large group of people surrounding the formation and thought they were there to welcome him. He was even more delighted. "You don't have to be so polite to welcome me." After saying that, he focused his gaze on the Seawolf Hongju and said happily, "Master of Hai Island, congratulations on your promotion to the headquarters." Seawolf Hongju smiled coldly and said, "Should I congratulate you or feel sorry for you? You have been demoted to be the island master in a remote and backward city like Magic Wine City at such a young age." Hai Island master's words are serious. "It's just a training." Just as he finished speaking, his communicator rang. Seeing that it was the old woman calling, he quickly answered the call. "Ancestor, I have arrived at the Paradise Island in Magic Wine City. Don't worry." The old woman interrupted. "Youngster, let me tell you a sad story. A consumer master Hu Xin is going to follow the Seawolf Red Island master to the headquarters." "So? What?" The young man was extremely shocked. He interrupted with a look of disbelief and asked, "Ancestor, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Didn't you see that they were all preparing to leave on the teleportation array? Aren't they here to welcome me? Hey, you should have some good experience over there. I'll transfer you back after a while." "No, old ancestor. I don't want to stay in this godforsaken place. I want to go back." After saying that, he rushed towards the teleportation array. The old woman said, "It's useless. I have already shut down your teleportation privileges. Just stay there and train well." After saying that, he glared at Seawolf Hongju and Hu Xin fiercely and hung up the phone. Seawolf Hongju smiled and said, "Congratulations on your further studies here. We are leaving now." When they entered the teleportation array, they discovered a serious problem. There were more than 10 people including Hu Xin. The Lord of the Wave Island said bitterly, "Sir, although this teleportation array is very large, it can only transport 1,000 people at a time, and only the high-ranking officials of Paradise Island and those who consume within 1,000 stars are qualified to ride it. Even if we carry 1,000 people this time, it won't be enough. Honey, what should we do? GFEI asked. System. Are there any treasures stored by living things? Ding, the host has reached the highest realm of God, and can open up a space in the novel world to accommodate living things. And open up a small world space for me. Ding, opening up a God-level small world space requires consumption of Jingxiao reinforcement points. The host has unlimited reinforcement points. No consumption. Huaxian suddenly felt a small world appear in his Diantian. That's right, the small world space is inside his Diantian. It was like a completely independent planet, except that it was only 10,000 miles in size. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully opening up the small world space and obtaining the small world combat power bonus. The host will experience more benefits of the small world by himself. It only gave a hint of the small world's combat power bonus, but didn't say how much it increased. Huaxian was quite curious. Hubby, talk to me. Dragonfly Crescent urged. Huaxian responded and said with a smile. Okay, just enter my little world. Small world? Everyone became confused. The owner of HAI Languland beside him was shocked and said, Sir, you have actually opened up a small world. Huaxian nodded and asked. Why, is it difficult to open the small world? Difficulty? The Lord of HAI Languland said bitterly. Sir, although the Divine King realm can open up a small world, it is too difficult. It requires a huge amount of resources and time to open up. In addition, people do not know the wonderful uses of the small world, so few people open up a small world. Of course, according to legend, those who can open up small worlds are all gifted monsters, and they are all terrifying beings who can stand on their own. Huaxian nodded and opened the entrance to the two small worlds amid everyone's shocked gaze. Everyone was extremely amazed as they looked at the vortex of the world entrance that appeared before their eyes. After all, it was the first time they had seen it. Wives, what are you standing there for? Hurry up and take your people in. Only then did GFE and the others react. Sisters, go into your husband's little world. He took the lead and rushed in. I am also extremely curious about the internal structure of the small world. After a while, more than 30,000 people entered the small world. Seeing the opportunity to leave here, the young man excitedly rushed to the entrance to the small world that Huaxian had not closed yet. As Huaxian waved his hand, the entrance closed instantly. The young man looked at Huaxian and said excitedly, Brother, let me in and take me away from this damn place, and I will give you 100 trillion demon crystals. The Lord of HAI Languland said coldly. My lord is a consumer master of 10,000 stars. Do you think he would be short of your 100 trillion demon crystals? Brother, give me a chance and take me away from here, I beg you. Huaxian shook his head, ignored him, and walked into the teleportation array. It just felt like I had passed through a special defensive barrier. The owner of HAI Languland, he walked into the teleportation array. Everyone else entered Huaxian's little world. Seeing this, the young man angrily wanted to rush into the teleportation array. Bang! But the dull thud, he was bounced away by the protective shield. He spat out a mouthful of blood, and was seriously injured by this blow. The owner of HAI Languland used his privileged identity to activate the teleportation array, and excitedly teleported away with Huaxian. Entering the void teleportation space channel, Huaxian looked around curiously. The stars in all directions are densely packed, seemingly endless. Looking back, there is a huge planet behind me, which is the real continent. I didn't expect that this space teleportation array still uses the ancient method of projection and transmission. Delivery transmission? The owner of HAI Languland nearby was extremely surprised. Then he asked, Sir, are you also proficient in formations? Huaxian nodded and said, I have done some research on this. The purpose of this teleportation is to first send people to a high altitude, and then send them down to the destination. It's like going in a big circle, so the transmission time is very slow. If it's teleported in a straight line, it will reach the destination in a few seconds. Chapter 748, Breaking the Pot. Seawolf Huangju smiled bitterly and said, Sir, there is currently no formation master on the continent who can teleport in a straight line. Even this kind of parabolic long-distance transmission is only mastered by us in Paradise Island. Huaxian nodded, looked around and said nothing. After about a quarter of an hour, the scene in front of me suddenly became bright. When I looked around carefully, I found that there were many people waiting here. Everyone ignored the Seawolf Huangju and their eyes fell on Huaxian. He looked at him, his eyes seemed to want to see through him. Huaxian also looked at them, and found that they were all quite powerful. All at the Divine Emperor level. Seawolf Huangzietsu greets all the adults. The Seawolf Huangju reacted and saluted quickly. The old woman was also in the crowd. She said in a hostile tone, Seawolf Huangju, your mission has been completed. Go to the appointment pavilion to receive your position. Seawolf Hongju's body trembled, knowing that he was being targeted, and subconsciously looked at Hu Xian. It's useless for you to look at him, he is just a customer of our Paradise Island, he has no right to interfere in the internal affairs of our Paradise Island, Hu Xian said coldly. What if I make it into the top 100, top 10, or even top 3? After that, he handed the ID card and demon card he got back from Harikir to Seawolf Hongju and said, Master of Hai Lang Island, help me recharge 170 million Jingxiao Brilliant Demon Crystal Essences. What? Everyone in the audience trembled and was shocked to the extreme. A look of fear gradually appeared in Hu Xian's already shocked eyes. This kind of large amount of recharge is also the first time in Paradise Island. Because there are very few people who have such a terrifying family background. Seawolf Hongju reacted and asked in shock, Sir, are you serious? Hu Xian nodded and said, Recharge my account quickly. Only then did Seawolf Hongju tremble as he recharged Hu Xian. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 200 million Jingxiao Brilliant Demon Crystals within 10 hours, and received 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding, new mission. Complete the critical hit 5 times 13 within 10 hours, and consume 50 million Jingxiao Brilliant Demon Crystals. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, the host will be rewarded with 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments. As the recharge was completed, Hu Xian's consumption dominance instantly reached more than 37.0 stars, and his ranking jumped from 1000 to the top 100, ranking 78th. Playing with the ID card, Hu Xian looked at the old woman coldly and asked, Do you think you are superior to others? But do you know that your service attitude is really bad and makes me very unhappy? The old woman reacted to the ridicule and decided to throw the jar into the ground. She said coldly, Even if you make it into the top 100 of the Paradise Island consumer domination rankings in the entire continent, what does it matter? You still have no right to deal with me. Hu Xian smiled coldly, You will know in a moment whether I have the right to deal with you. After saying that, he looked at the other senior executives and said, My purpose is very simple. I want to meet the legendary beauties. An old man stepped forward and said, But your status of being the 78th on the list and having dominated consumption of over 30,000 stars, you naturally have the right to meet the legendary beauty. We will arrange it for you right away. Is it so troublesome? It seems that my identity is not enough. Looking at the Seawolf Hongju, who had not yet returned his ID card and demon card to him, he said, Recharge me another 350 million Jingxiao Brilliant Demon Crystal Essence. This? The whole audience was shocked beyond words. Seawolf Hongju was also numb, but he did not hesitate and quickly recharged Hu Xian. The recharge will be completed soon. The consumption dominance star rating directly reached 72,074 stars, and the ranking level directly entered the top 50, ranking 46th. Looking at his own ranking, Hu Xian was also shocked. There were still many big guys in the Zen continent. He had more than 74 trillion demon crystals, but he was only ranked 46th on the list. The strong men of Paradise Island were all stunned with shock, and only then realized that this inferior slave with human appearance and no status was so terrifying that they would recharge at the first sight. The old woman was terrified in her heart, but she showed her dissatisfaction on the surface. She said loudly, Your status is still not noble enough. If you have the ability, break through the 10,000 Jingxiao Brilliant. Hu Xian smiled coldly and said, No problem, I will fulfill your wish. Recharge me another 5 billion Jingxiao. Seawolf Red Destruction Num Recharge. As the recharge is completed, boom boom boom, the ancient bells at the Paradise Island headquarters rang. The terrifying sound spread far away, and finally could be heard in every corner of the continent. It truly alarmed countless lives. Those ancient beings were all awakened, and their eyes looked towards the Paradise Island headquarters through various physical barriers. Although the status in heaven is ranked according to the demon crystal essence, however, everyone understands one thing. It is impossible for a person who is not strong to possess the vast and endless demon crystal essence. In other words, anyone who possesses the vast and endless demon crystal essence is definitely not a simple person. Looking at Hu Xian's ranking again, he has jumped 46 places and entered the top 10, ranking 8th. Hu Xian looked at the old woman with a cold gaze. Now, am I qualified to punish you? According to the rules of Paradise Island, the top 10 supreme VIPs are comparable to major shareholders of Paradise Island and have the power of life and death over people of lower status than themselves. The old woman's body trembled violently and she reacted with horror. Ding dong. I was so scared that I knelt on the ground. He begged, Sir, please spare my life. I know I was wrong and I will never do it again. The power she belongs to is able to be so high and mighty because of her support. If she falls, then the family will be finished, just like the tree falling and the monkey scatter. Over the years, he had offended many people. Without his support, It would be the end of the world for the family. At this moment, looking back on many things I have done in the past, I find that they will all become disasters. Suddenly I felt regretful that I didn't leave myself a way out. Now I just hope that this terrifying adult in front of me can forgive me. At this time, an old man stood up and said, "You must be from that place. Only the human race in the Holy Valley has such terrifying financial resources. You are from the Holy Valley. You are the enemy of the demons, and you still want to touch me. You are dead." Hearing this, the old woman suddenly stood up and yelled madly, and turned on the communicator to report it. Buzz. His face trembled, and the terrifying demonic blood pressure burst out from Hu Xian's body. Ding dong. There were also demons in the crowd, and they instantly collapsed to the ground due to the pressure of this bloodline. Then he muttered in horror, Royal demon bloodline." What? The whole audience was shocked. The old woman's face turned pale in an instant, and she was extremely desperate. Chapter 749. Touch and Fall. What shocked everyone present was that the demons with royal blood were not so wealthy. In other words, this human-looking demon royal bloodline is also a noble existence in the royal family. Hu Xian looked at the old woman coldly and sneered. "I declare that you are now expelled from Paradise Island and blacklisted and will never be hired again." Rumble. The old woman's world collapsed in an instant. Despair filled his mind, causing him to lose his reason. His eyes gradually turned blood red and his hatred grew deeper and deeper. He looked at Hu Xian suddenly. "Damn it. I don't care what kind of demon you are. If you ruin my future and go back to my family, I will die with you." The power of the 58th level of the Divine Emperor exploded. It's terrifying to everyone around. The old woman did not move, hoping to scare Hu Xian and make him take back his words. Hu Xian said disapprovingly, "Trash is trash. If you have the guts to say such harsh words, why don't you take action? I'm telling you. Just because of what you just said, if you don't take action today, you will have to kill yourself right here. If you do, I will make all your forces disappear from the continent. Now, I'll give you a minute to think about what to do." The king's aura burst out, shocking the whole audience, making people increasingly aware that the identity of this demon with human appearance was not simple. What's more, I can't understand why such a noble demon would appear in a remote place like Demon Wind City. The old woman regretted it to the extreme. If I had endured the hatred and left just now, I could still be alive, but now, I have really pushed myself into a dead end. "Boss, save me, please save me." A helpless old woman begged desperately to the boss, who was wrapped tightly in a white robe in the middle of the crowd. The latter shook his head and said, "You are one of the top 10 consumers and are already the major shareholder of Paradise Island. You are also the largest shareholder. The major shareholder has already given you a chance. You didn't seize the opportunity. You can't blame anyone else." Ding dong. The old woman collapsed completely to the ground, in extreme despair. "In my entire life, I have never felt so desperate and regretful as I do now." "There are 30 seconds left in a minute," Hu Xian reminded. The voice became increasingly cold, making it clear that this adult was not someone to be trifled with. If you think about it carefully, which of the high-ranking members of the demon clan is easy to mess with? After all, this is a world dominated by demons. Suddenly, the old woman started laughing like crazy, but he smiled and tears came out. The next moment, a horrifying aura erupted from his body, followed by bleeding from all his orifices in an instant. Blood overflowed from all his pores, and in a short while he turned into a bloody man. Looking at her again, her eyes were dull and her soul seemed to be shattered. Everyone around looked at each other in surprise. They didn't expect that a great god emperor, who had worked with them for hundreds of thousands of years, was gone just like that. His eyes fell on Hu Xian, his heart filled with fear, and he kept reminding himself that this person must not be offended. Hu Xian looked at the boss and said, "Please arrange for the legendary beauty to come and see me." All the beauties above level for in Paradise Island of Magic Wind City have been captured, but the task of picking up girls has not been completed in Hu Xian's opinion. It should be related to the legendary beauty. Judging from the rewards for this mission, the legendary beauty is probably the only thing that makes the mission difficult. The man in white robe nodded. "Okay. Grand Elder, take the distinguished guest to the VIP room and wait. I will personally arrange for a legendary beauty to be there." "Yes. Your Excellency, this way please." Hu Xian followed with big strides. Siwu Hongju followed Hu Xian happily. The turmoil in my heart took a long time to subside. Soon we arrived at the Supreme VIP Lounge. Standing at the door were two girls who were no less beautiful than those on the heavenly ranking. This scene shocked Hu Xian. I actually asked the beauties on the heavenly ranking to be amazed. The status of being in the top 10 of the consumption dominance list is really overbearing. "Meet the distinguished and most distinguished guest. Please come in." The beauties at the top of the list bent over 90 degrees to welcome them. She was already proud and attractive, and when she bent down, all the things that shouldn't be seen came into view. Gurgle. Hu Xian couldn't help swallowing. Looking at the mystery, I can't take my eyes away. Seeing this, the great elder on the side said with a smile, Supreme VIP. If you want to spend money, they are yours. Okay, redeem them and they will be mine from now on. Huaxian said loudly. I thought to myself, I can't sleep now, I should take her into the harem first. I haven't written to you, my lord. Thank you, Tyrannosaurus Kion Codfish ran. Sir. Huaxian was in a good mood. He walked over, put his arm around one person, and walked into the VIP room happily, hugging people on both sides. When I walked in, I was shocked with my mouth open. There was actually another beautiful woman in the VIP room. There is no doubt that this is a great beauty of the god list level. The beautiful woman was smiling and wearing pink transparent gauze. Everything that shouldn't be seen was vaguely visible, making people's blood boil instantly. Huaxian just felt his nose getting hot, and when he touched it, blood came out of his nose. The great elder at the side shook his head upon seeing this, thinking that no matter how noble his status was, he was a lustful guy with no self-control, and his future was destined to be limited. After all, if the enemy uses the beauty trap, he can be easily captured. But he said, Supreme VIP, this divine list level beauty is specially prepared for you. The waiting time is boring, you can enjoy it first. After saying that, he looked at the Seawolf Hongju beside him and said, Why are you still staying here? Are you disturbing the adults? The Seawolf Hongju's body trembled and he reacted. He quickly handed over Huaxian's ID card and devil card with both hands and said, Sir, please enjoy. I'll wait for you outside. Huaxian took the item and nodded. It was such a good thing to enjoy a feast of beautiful women, so naturally he didn't want to be disturbed by a man. After they all left, Huaxian couldn't wait to walk towards the beautiful woman. The yellow dye dancer greets the supreme guest of honor. He squatted down slightly to greet Huaxian. Huaxian's gaze subconsciously fell on the mysterious place that was looming. Gurgle. Keep swallowing your saliva. The three of Huangdi Wuxian all smiled as they watched. I thought to myself, this adult's ability to restrain himself is really poor. My lord, the dancing fairy will serve you. Huangdi Wuxian came over and untied Huaxian's clothes. Her jade hands, which were more perfect than the finest jade, touched his skin, which made Huaxian tremble and exclaimed that it was refreshed. I couldn't help but grab Huangdi Wuxian's jade hand. It felt slightly cold, as if it had magical power. Driving me crazy. Beauty, why does touching your hand give me a crazy impulse? Huaxian asked. Suppressing his extreme hunger. Sir, because Wu Jian has practiced a kind of martial arts, it can make men very interested in me when they see me. And they will go crazy if they touch me? Your Excellency is holding Wu Jian's hand, and you are still not lost. It's amazing. I really admire them in my heart. Beauties like them on the divine list all practice this kind of skills. My sisters in the past have said that men who come into contact with them will immediately lose their minds. The person in front of him looked lustful and had no endurance. But in fact he was able to resist the charm brought by the mysterious technique. This person is not simple. Chapter 750, Bronze Legend. Huaxian roared in his heart. I am not that powerful. If it weren't for the mission restrictions, I would have beaten you to pieces long ago. But he said. The beauty liked it immediately, but I also feel itchy when facing you. After that, kiss. Huangdi Wuxian arched cleverly and said, Sir, do you want to play a game? It would be boring if you just start right away. While speaking, he helped Huaxian take off his clothes. When he was about to take off his pants, Huaxian said with a grin. It's so boring to just pull off my clothes. You should take them off together. After saying that, he reached out his hand, placed it on her transparent gauze, and gently tore it. A large white terrier suddenly appeared. And the temptation reached its peak in an instant. Huaxian could no longer control himself and hugged her in his arms. The Huangdi Wuxian struggled hard. This situation made Huaxian's blood boil and he almost lost himself. Huangdi Wuxian even begged for mercy loudly. Sir, please don't, Wuxian is afraid. That beeping sound is simply driving people crazy. Huaxian didn't expect so much and kissed her fiercely. Huangdi Wuxian was obviously struggling hard, but when Huaxian kissed her, her tongue seemed to have been trained countless times and she cooperated very crazily. The madness was totally out of control. Just when Huaxian was about to fall further, a more beautiful voice that cannot be described in earthly words came. Even a slight can make people feel refreshed. Huaxian suddenly came to his senses, and seeing that he almost fell and caused the mission to fail, he was frightened and quickly pushed away the yellow disc dancing fairy. He looked gratefully towards the direction where the sound came from. I saw a woman wearing a white long dress, lace gloves on her hands, black stockings on her feet, and a veil on her face, standing at the door. Huangdi Wuxian was a little dissatisfied as her good thing was interrupted. After seeing clearly, her body trembled violently and she asked, the legendary beauty. Huaxian's eyes also fell on her ID card, which was different from the ID cards of other beauties. It was bronze in color and had the word legend on it. Transparent eyes. Oxian couldn't wait to see the other person's face clearly. So he activated this skill that he hadn't used for a long time. Suddenly, the peerless face of the legendary beauty came into his eyes, and he was instantly distracted and stood there in a daze. Seeing this, the legendary beauty smiled slightly, walked into the VIP room and said, "I didn't expect that the Supreme VIP has the ability to see through things." Oxian finally reacted and said in shock, "She is indeed a legendary beauty, is simply indescribable. Your Excellency is too kind. I am White Fox Jenna, but a Bronze Legend Beauty." Bronze Legend Beauty? Do you mean there will be higher level ones tonight? Of course, there are also beauties of the levels of Silver Legend, Gold Legend, Platinum Crystal Legend, Brick and Stone Legend, Platinum Legend, King Legend, and Peerless Legend. Oxian was stunned. He didn't expect that the legend said beauties were divided into 7 levels. However, this girl in front of me is just a Bronze Legendary Beauty. And I have already fallen for her so much that I cannot help myself. What's the point of going for anything better? What's the matter, my lord? Do you look down on me, a Bronze Legend? Asked the White Fox Jenna. No, I'm just shocked you said you're just a Bronze Legend, and it's so fascinating how terrifying are the ones above that. I thought to myself, even if I completed the mission and gained 100 million resistance points from the opposite sex, would I be able to resist the temptation? Sir, since you have already met me, I have something else to do, so I will leave first and not disturb you. After saying that, he turned and left. Etc. Oxian immediately rushed over and stood in front of her. Miss Jenna, what conditions do I need to pursue you? White Fox Jenna's eyes flashed with disgust and she said, "Sir, you are one of the top 10 consumers of Tianzi-Yuan in the entire Paradise Island continent. You have the right to consume me, a Bronze Legend, directly. But we are big. What's the price?" Oxian asked subconsciously. This made the White Fox Jenna even more disgusted, and her tone became a little colder. 10 Rillion demon crystals in Jingshao. How about redeeming you? A White Fox Jenna was stunned. You want to redeem me with a legendary beauty? Of course, I love you. But not just to consume you. I want you to be my wife. You are really generous. If you knew that I have been consumed by the top 10 spenders 3 times, would you still redeem me? After asking this question, the White Fox Jenna stared into Oxian's eyes. Consumption 3 times? Oxian asked in shock. Yes, that's right, spend 3 times. Our legend has it that beauties are so stunningly beautiful and incomparable that they won't be replaced just because of spending once. Besides, there aren't that many legendary beauties to replace them. Oxian thought it made sense and felt a little regretful. Oxian took a deep breath and said, "No, I don't dislike you. Tell me how much I can give you to redeem you." The White Fox Jenna was stunned. After a while, he didn't dare to ask confidently, "Are you serious?" Of course, I, Oxian, swear that I sincerely want to redeem White Fox Jenna and want her to be my wife. The White Fox Jenna smiled bitterly. You are the first man willing to redeem the legendary beauty. Why am I the first one? Don't the others want to monopolize you all alone? Oxian was very curious. Because even if you want to redeem a Bronze Legendary Beauty like me, it will cost 10 times the amount for many of you men. This price can be used to buy 10 different legendary beauties. For some crazy people, they can use this amount to buy beautiful Silver Legend beauties. So that's how it is. Oxian suddenly realized. A White Fox Jenna said coldly, "Don't you want to redeem me now?" "Wrong. I still want to redeem you, because I love you, and I got you. How could I let someone else get you? 100 is equivalent to Jingshao trillion, right? Then recharge it for me." As he said that, he stuffed the ID card and the devil card into the hands of the White Fox Jenna. "First, top up 5 billion Jingshao for me." White Fox Jenna said coldly. "You are out of demon crystal essence, right? Even if you overdraw like this, it is not enough to redeem me. If you really want my body, you should spend 10 Rillion Jingshao to consume me." Oxian shook his head and said, "No. My goal is to redeem you. Please recharge me first." White Fox Jenna shook her head and still recharged Oxian. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the consumption of 135 million Jingshao Rillion demon crystals within 10 hours, and obtaining 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding! New mission. Complete the critical hit for times 50 for times the consumption of Jingshao Rillion demon crystals within 10 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, you will be rewarded with 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments. Chapter 751, Legendary Beauty, failed to capture. Why? Even if you recharge 5 trillion Jingshao, it's still far from enough to redeem me, White Fox Jenna said coldly. In his opinion, this Oxian might no longer have any demon crystal essence. Oxian smiled and said, "Don't worry, let's talk first. Let's chat that. S also charged 1 Jingshao Rillion per hour. Do you still want to chat? Chat. Then let's talk." A White Fox Jenna walked inside and sat down on the sofa. Wu Xian hurried over, sat next to her, and mustered up the courage to grab the hand of White Fox Jenna. Before he could speak, the White Fox Jenna said, "Holding hands once for 3 seconds is 10,000 Jingxiao, and 1 hour is 10,000 Jingxiao. What about this?" Wu Xian directly hugged her in his arms. The White Fox Jenna took a deep breath, suppressed her inner disgust and said, "1 hug costs 10 Jingxiao brilliant, 1 hour is enough. Then I'll be welcome." He directly hugged the White Fox Princess Jenna in his arms. Smelling the masculine scent on Wu Xian, White Fox Jenna was a little dazed. Because it was the first time that she was carried like a princess by a man in the past. Those men always took advantage of her in various ways. Even when they were spending money on her, they would just pounce on her like animals. This guy is a little special. Wu Xian also enjoyed the scent of her body. He lay on the chair, feeling her softness and closing his eyes comfortably. I fell asleep in a daze. This scene left Baihu Zhen and Huangdai Wuxian speechless. "Do you want to wake him up?" Huangdai Wuxian asked the White Fox Jenna. "Why wake him up? I can make money this way. I'm not stupid." This sleep lasted for 5 hours. Wu Xian woke up comfortably. The White Fox Jenna said quickly, "You slept really soundly, for a full 5 hours and 15 minutes, I'll give you 5 hours and the rest as well. I'll give you 5 billion Jingxiao." Wu Xian smiled and said, "The ID card and the devil card are both with you, you can just deduct them directly." It was a very comfortable sleep. "By the way, recharge me another 54,000 Jingxiao billion." The White Fox Jenna, who was deducting the fees, was stunned. He asked in disbelief, "Are you sure there is still demon crystal in this demon card of yours? I thought if you had it, you would have recharged it just now. Why did you wait until now?" "Sure. Okay, I'll top up your account then." Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the consumption of 50 for Jingxiao brilliant demon crystals within 10 hours and obtaining 100 primary lottery opportunity fragments as rewards. Ding! New mission. Complete the task within 10 hours and consume 5 times to 170 trillion demon crystals of Jingxiao. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. Wu Xian, who was originally leisurely, was shocked and perked up when he heard the words random reward. What will the random reward be? I became extremely curious. At this time, White Fox Jenna reacted. She didn't expect that this guy's demon card could actually be recharged. She was a little stunned. He quickly deducted the 5 billion Jingxiao fees, handed the demon card and identity card to Wu Xian and said, "If there is nothing else, I will leave." After saying that, she was about to struggle out of Wu Xian's arms. Wu Xian hugged her tightly and said, "Why are you leaving? From now on, you are mine." He said, domineering lie, "Recharge me 700 trillion demon crystals of Jingxiao. Can your card still be recharged?" White Fox Jenna asked in shock. "Because if you recharge 70 yuan, you can really redeem her. However, as a legendary beauty, she and Paradise Island only have a contractual relationship. Out of the 100 trillion, she can get 80, and the remaining 20 belongs to Paradise Island." Wu Xian said confidently, "Of course I can recharge it. Mine is a Black Devil card." The White Fox Jenna rolled her eyes and took out her own Devil card and asked, "Who doesn't have a Black Devil card?" Wu Xian smiled and said, "It's not important. What's important is that you quickly recharge my account. I'm going to redeem you and then hold you in my arms while I sleep. You are a lunatic." I felt a little depressed. Why did I take on this task? This time I'm going to get into trouble. I had to recharge Wu Xian. Boom boom boom. The recharge was completed. This time, the ancient bell rang 18 times, shocking the entire continent. Those who know about it know that a legendary consumer who surpasses the dominant level has been born on Paradise Island. Wu Xian also discovered that his god allocation had changed, and it turned into a bronze legendary identity card that was the same as the identity card of White Fox Jenna. They are different. White Fox Jenna's is the phoenix icon, while his is the dragon. However, the ranking is still dominated by consumption, which has only risen from 8th to 3rd place. My status has clearly been upgraded to the legendary level, so why is my ranking still dominated by consumption? Wu Xian asked curiously. White Fox Jenna put away her frustration and said in a resigned tone, "Because you are the legend with the least top-up, you are still at the bottom of this list." Bottom? In other words, the top 3 cards in the domination consumption ranking are all legendary identity cards? That's right. I understand. I'll go and redeem you first. He picked up the White Fox Jenna and left, unable to wait. "Don't bother. I have a contractual relationship with Paradise Island. Just transfer the money to me and I can do it myself." "But have you thought it over? Are you sure you want to redeem me? That's 100 billion. I thought about it the first time I saw you. Hurry up. I can't wait to call you my wife." The White Fox Jenna rolled her eyes wildly. "It's my bad luck to meet you." After saying that, he had no choice but to deduct the money and go through the redemption procedures. It should be said that it was a procedure of selling herself to Hu Xian. After the deduction, Hu Xian's status returned to the consumption master with more than 300,000 stars, and his ranking dropped to 23rd. Hu Xian doesn't care about his identity. A white fox Jenna was a little surprised to see that he didn't care at all when so many points were deducted and his status was dropped. And he handed the selling documents to Hu Xian and said, "I am yours from now on." So excited. "Honey, I love you." Hu Xian hugged her, excitedly tore off her veil, and kissed her desperately. I was so intoxicated that I almost passed out. I secretly exclaimed that this legendary beauty was too terrifying, and she was only a bronze legend. I wonder what the silver legend or even the peerless legend is like. A white fox Jenna pushed Hu Xian away fiercely and said with disgust, "Can you please not do this? I'm not ready yet." Hu Xian was stunned, and then he realized that he had already captured a legendary beauty, but there was no prompt to complete the task. What's going on? System, I have even captured one of the legendary beauties on Paradise Island. Why is the mission not completed yet? Ding, the legendary beautiful white fox Jenna does not really like the host. The host is determined to have failed to win her over. Please continue to work hard. Chapter 752, Legend List. Hu Xian suddenly realized that it was no wonder that she refused to kiss him. It turned out that she didn't like him at all. Redemption is just a process. Is this the legendary finding an ancestor for oneself? While Hu Xian was stunned, the white fox Jenna had already quickly left the room. By the time he reacted, he only saw back. Huangdai Wuxian hurriedly said, "My lord, let me help you relieve the fire." I don't know when, but she had completely taken off her transparent gauze clothes, and she looked like she was letting Hu Xian pick the vegetables for her. She was so tempting. "Baby, put on your clothes first and take me to redeem you. I'm not here to spend money, I'm here to buy goods." Purchase goods? The three of them all looked confused. Yes, it's not easy for me to find a beautiful wife by myself. I can just come here and redeem you without worrying about being rejected. Tyrannosaurus Kion immediately gave him a thumbs up and said, "Hubby, you're awesome. It was natural to call my husband. Let's go and redeem ourselves first." "Alright." Huangdai Wuxian had no choice but to take out her clothes and put them on. "Hubby, let's go." He took Hu Xian's arm and walked away. It is said that beautiful women all like such domineering men. But a beautiful woman like her would love to have one. Ding, congratulations to the host for picking up 3 girls successfully and gaining 300 resistance points of the opposite sex. Although it is not much, it is a huge amount when accumulated. I quickly arrived at the service center, submitted my information, and paid the redemption fee. A little money that the 3 people paid for their redemption was just a drop in the bucket for Hu Xian's current status. That's right. How are the wise in the small world? Hu Xian quickly probed in with his spiritual sense to check. Do you think your husband has reached his destination? Who knows, maybe he's having sex with the legendary beauty and has forgotten us long ago. We are so pitiful. We don't even have any genetic power in this godforsaken place. It's really weird. Wise, what are you pitying for? Hu Xian's soul transformed directly into a human form and appeared in the small world. This is his little world, where he is omnipotent. Honey, you're finally here. How was it? Did you see the legendary beauty? I saw you. You're so cool and not as enthusiastic as you are, but I still like you. Now you know we are fine. Yeah, my wives are the best. By the way, you should practice in this world. This way we can always be together and it will be safe. But husband, there is no genetic power here. Don't worry. I will get a few dragon veins in later now, I just need to provide you with the genetic power for cultivation. System proposed 200 trillion demon crystals from Jingxiao to provide the novel world with pure genetic power. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have spent 200 of the Jingxiao trillion demon crystals to successfully provide the small world with cultivation genes and unlimited strengthening points without consumption. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 270 trillion demon crystals in Jingxiao within 10 hours, you will receive a random reward of a bag of spiritual rice after completing the task. Ding, new mission. Complete the critical hit 3 times rounded up to 700 within 10 hours, and consume the trillion demon crystals of Jingxiao. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. Fuck. Hu Xian suddenly burst out. I'm so depressed. The random reward is just a bag of spiritual rice? Is the system starting to suppress itself? Check the spiritual rice quickly. Ding, spiritual rice. Worth 1 Jingxiao demon crystal, rich in genetic spiritual energy. After use it can improve the physique and enhance the realm. Long-term use will have better effect. From the perspective of value, this thing is not bad. It has been rewarded, so I thought I would give it a try when I have time. Honey, what's wrong with you? Huangdai Wuxian and the other two looked at Hu Xian in surprise as he suddenly made a fuss. Nothing. By the way, you know where your boss is, right? Take me to find him. Husband, what do you want to do with our boss? Just take me to him. I will hate you for being so disobedient. Hubby, we were wrong. Come with us. The three of them took Huaxian to find the boss of Paradise Island in a depressed mood. But I was very dissatisfied in my heart, thinking that among the three of us, at least one is a divine beauty, and to our heavenly beauties should NTU, husband. Take us to get a room? Okay, you three, stop being angry. When the time is right, I will let you all be mothers. Bad husband, what are you talking about? The three of them became shy again. Soon we arrived at the backyard of Paradise Island, a private area. As the headquarters of Paradise Island, it is very different from other Paradise Island. There is an additional private area. Stop, no outsiders are allowed to enter the private area. Are we outsiders? Huang Dai Wuxian asked dissatisfiedly. I'm sorry, you have been redeemed now and are no longer a member of our Paradise Island staff. What about my identity? Huaxian asked as he hung the ID card on his chest. The other party took a look and said, although you are ranked 23rd in the continent's consumer dominance ranking, you are not in the top 10, and you have no right to enter the private area. Huaxian nodded and said, very good. Coincidentally, a beautiful lady from the Earth list walked out of the private area. Seeing Huaxian's identity, he excitedly greeted him. Hello, distinguished and most distinguished guest, how can I help you? Huaxian handed her his ID card and devil card and said, may charge me 500 Jingsha Rillion. What? Everyone present was stunned with shock. Say, charge me with 500 billion demon crystals, do you understand? The beauty on the Earth list finally reacted and was so shocked that her breathing became rapid. I was just about to go to work after taking a break when I unexpectedly encountered such a good thing. Even a pie in the sky is not this big. Sir, are you serious? He asked, still with some doubt. Oh, I look like I'm kidding? A beautiful lady on the Earth ranking was so excited that she stammered, Sir. Tanspiderire will top up your account right now. Trembling, he completed the recharge for Huaxian as quickly as possible. As the recharge was completed, no more bells rang this time. But the ranking on Huaxian's ID card is no longer on the consumer domination list, but no, 1000 on the legend list. This status upgrade is already extremely terrifying. Am I qualified to enter now? Huaxian said coldly to the security guard. My lord. Please. The security guard was also stuttering and was extremely shocked. Huaxian and his men walked in quickly. Sir, your ID card and devil card, Tanspiderire shouted and caught up. He handed the item to Huaxian respectfully. Huaxian smiled and held her in his arms and said, from now on, you are mine, do you understand? Very domineering. Tanspiderire was extremely happy. She never dreamed that a beauty like her on the Earth list would be noticed by a big shot on the legend list. After a while, he said, thank you, sir. Chapter 753, just her, cooking? Still calling me sir, Huaxian Yang said angrily. What is that called? Tanspiderire was a little overwhelmed. Kaduran on the side said, silly, of course I call you husband. The beauties on the heavenly ranking and the earthly ranking obviously have had contact with each other and can be considered to know each other. Husband? That's right. After walking for about 10 minutes, they arrived at a magnificent palace built entirely of magic crystals. Seeing this scene, Huaxian was shocked. Even though it is now ranked 1000th on the legend list, one has to admire the courage of Paradise Island. Hubby, the boss lives in this palace except for the legendary beauties and the elders. No one else is qualified to enter the palace. Of course, husband, you are a legendary consumer. So you are qualified. Is that so? Then I will take you to see it for yourself. Let's go. He led the four people towards the palace. There was no security guarding the palace, and the surroundings were even very quiet. After entering the palace, a powerful magical power indeed surged in. It's so comfortable in such an environment, it's hard not to improve your cultivation. Tanspiderire said excitedly. My husband also has such an environment, Huaxian said with a smile. I thought that the magic power in the small world now is even stronger than that here. Huang Dai Wuxian and the others had no doubts, but they did not think about the small world after all. The small world was too far away for normal cultivators. I just thought that Huaxian was of noble status and extraordinary strength, so he must have a palace-like place like this. When will my husband take us home? I also want to continue practicing in a place like this. Tyrannosaurus Kion asked expectantly. If you want to go to a place like this, you can go anytime, Huaxian said proudly. What are you doing here? A voice that wasn't clear whether it was male or female suddenly came. Everyone looked towards the passage on the right. I saw the boss wrapped in a white robe slowly walking towards me. What surprised Huaxian was that the person holding his arm was the white fox Jenna. Huaxian immediately frowned and said with great dissatisfaction, White Fox Jenna, don't forget that I have redeemed you. You are my woman now. The White Fox Jenna said coldly, I didn't say, I'm not your woman. And why are you still flirting with other men? Huaxian almost roared out, with a burst of anger at the same time. Eora was a bit scary, and Huangdai Wuxian and the others were a bit scared. White Fox Jenna didn't expect Huaxian to react so strongly. She asked, who told you that the Whale Shark King is a man? Is she a woman? Huaxian pretended to be surprised. The Whale Shark King rolled his eyes at the White Fox Jenna and said, can't you see that he is deliberately trying to trick you? The White Fox Jenna smiled and said, of course I saw that. I told him on purpose. So what if he knows you're a woman? Even if he knows you're an extremely beautiful woman. So what? He can't get you. The Whale Shark King glared at her, then looked at Huaxian and said, I didn't expect you to be ranked 1000th on the legend list. What do you want from me? Huaxian glanced at the White Fox Jenna and said, it's like this, I want to continue consuming legendary beauties. You have redeemed the White Fox Jenna, but you are still not satisfied? Asked the Whale Shark King curiously. What's there to be content with? She won't let me touch her, and she doesn't take me seriously. This is your own business after all. The legendary beauty and our Paradise Island have a contractual relationship, not a contractual relationship, not a contractual relationship. I can't do anything about it. Also, within a month, unless you are a consumer in the top 100 of the legendary ranking, you can only consume one legendary beauty. So if you want to continue consuming, you have to wait until a month has passed. Is there such a restriction? White Fox Jenna said, you can also choose to continue to recharge, and you can break this rule by entering the top 100 of the legendary ranking. Huaxian nodded and said, thank you for your reminder. He turned to the frightened Sen Spider IR and said, baby, first recharge me with 200 billion demon crystals. The girl cried out in surprise. What's wrong? Hubby, didn't you just top up 500 Jing Shout Rillion not long ago? Just top up when I ask you to. Why are you asking so many questions? Oh, okay. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 700 trillion demon crystals in Jingshao within 10 hours. And received a random reward of a beauty pill. Ding, new mission, complete the critical hit for times rounded to 3000 within 10 hours. The consumption of Jingshao Rillion demon crystals. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. Complete the mission to get a random reward. Glanced at the beauty pill. It was a bit surprising. No matter how ugly a woman was, as long as she took the beauty pill, she would become beautiful immediately. The value of the pill was as high as 10 Rillion Jingshao. Recharge me another 2000 of the Jingshao Rillion demon crystals. This? The whole audience was stunned. Even the boss, the Whale Shark King, was stunned. This is the first time I have met such a crazy rich man. With these 2000, the Jingshao Trillion will be recharged. Huaxian quickly checked the changes in the rankings. You don't know until you see it, as shocking. Damn it, with a recharge of 200 billion Jingshao, the ranking only increased by 3 places, from 1000 to 987th. A White Fox Jenna laughed and said, stop pretending. You think the legendary ranking is simply a list related to Paradise Island? Let me tell you, the Legend Gang has direct connections with several other major forces that are not weaker than Paradise Island. It is not just consumption in Paradise Island, but also universal consumption in other forces. So that's how it is. So you're sure you'll get me? How do I think I can defeat you? Asked the White Fox Jenna. You are obviously my wife, but you don't let me touch you. You sure you have me? TSK, you have a beautiful wife by your side. Why are you thinking about me? Fuck. You're asking this question without thinking. You Ray a legendary beauty, and I haven't slept with a legendary beauty yet. How can I not miss you? DSK, I told you to spend 10 times more on me before, but you don't want to. Who do you blame? Tell me, what do you want me to do? You can still follow me sincerely and be my wife honestly, right? If you speak like that, I'll give you another chance. It just so happens that I need to go back to my clan. You can come with me, and use your ruthlessness to slap my clansman in the face. If you perform well, I will accept you. Fuck you, I'm really impressed. I spent 100 billion Jingshao and really bought myself an ancestor. What? If you don't want to, forget it. Did I say I didn't want to? Let's go, let's set off now. Why are you in such a hurry? My home is in the city, not far away. Let us eat first and then leave you Ray lucky. A Whale Shark King is cooking for you personally. She, cooking? I doubt she can cook well. Who said that the food was not tasty? The Whale Shark King said angrily. The White Fox Jenna gloated. You are done. You are dead. Sister Fish King has been studying cooking for nearly 500,000 years, and you actually said that her cooking is not delicious. Chapter 754. You win. Huaxian said fearlessly, compared to my cooking skills, her cooking is definitely not tasty. You, a man can cook? The Whale Shark King asked angrily. That's chaos level cooking if I don't make a move, it's fine. But if I do, girls like you will be easily taken down by me. And you still can't do anything about the white fox, Jenna? I'm talking about cooking skills, Huxin argued. You are the first one who dares to say that my cooking is bad. Do you dare to compete with me? Okay, let's compete. If I win, I want you to recharge the 2000 Jingxiao demon crystals you just deposited. No problem if you lose, I want you to remove your disguise and take off your clothes so I can see. Don't worry, I'm just taking a look, I don't have any other ideas. Rogue. White Fox Jenna cursed directly. Oh, am I a hooligan? I beat her with my strength besides. If I lose, what about the 2000 Jingxiao Rillion? This is better than the Devil's Crystal Marrow to see the Golden Legend beauty, right? The Whale Shark King said inferently. That's settled, but your bet is a bit excessive, so I want you to take off all your clothes too, so that I can see. That's no problem at all, let's get started. After saying that, he directly exchanged for the pots, pans, and utensils and took them out. As they stared in shock, he took out thousands of ingredients and said, "Don't go to your kitchen, I have everything here, tell me. What dish do you want to compare?" "I didn't realize you could actually cook," said the Whale Shark King in surprise. Which man who doesn't cook would carry these cooking tools with him? So he ignored Huxin's words in some detail, but in terms of cooking skills, although not as exaggerated as the White Fox Jenna's 500,000 years, it has still been more than 100,000 years. He didn't believe that Huxin could surpass himself. "You come first, or you'll see I'm bullying you." Huxin smiled and said, "In that case, I won't be polite. Let's not make it complicated, let's just stir-fry the vegetables." After saying that, he had already picked up a few fresh vegetables. She cleaned the leaves skillfully, but was very careful with every move, for fear of damaging the leaves in the slightest. That look gives people the feeling that he is protecting his lover. It's just an ordinary stir-fried vegetable, but no one understands why it has to be made so complicated. The Whale Shark King thought so too. She could certainly do something as simple as stir-frying vegetables. But she wasn't as careful as Huxin in washing them. After cleaning, the ingredients are prepared. There are very strict requirements for each ingredient, which makes everyone speechless. Finally, stir-fry the vegetables. From washing the vegetables to frying a plate of greens, the level of scum is comparable to making a scum dish. Everyone thinks Huxin is exaggerating. When Huxin came to them with the stir-fried vegetables, he handed over a few pairs of chopsticks and said, "Try it, dears. Honey, I can't even smell the fragrance of the food." "Is it really delicious?" said Huangdi Wuxian. "You'll know if it tastes good after trying it." The Whale Shark King didn't believe that Huxin's fancy tricks could be that outstanding. The first one picked up a piece of green leaf and put it in his mouth. When it enters the mouth, the moment the teeth press down, it seems as if the sealed fragrance is stimulated by the bite, instantly filling the entire nasal cavity, and the taste buds seem to be ignited and jump, and the spirit trembles. The Whale Shark King was stunned with shock. It's unbelievable that an ordinary stir-fried vegetable dish can be cooked to such a superb level. Delicious. This dish has been studied for 100,000 years. It is definitely the most delicious dish I have ever eaten. And it is just a stir-fried vegetable. If I compare them carefully, the dishes I used to cook are really like a piece of shit. It is true that there is no harm without comparison. White Fox Jenna and the others were also shocked when they saw the extremely exaggerated expression of the Whale Shark King. Looking at the ordinary stir-fried vegetables in Huxin's hand, she couldn't help but pick up a piece and put it in her mouth the moment she took a bite. Her expression was even more exaggerated than that of the Whale Shark King. "It's delicious, so delicious." At this time, the Whale Shark King finally reacted. "I couldn't put my chopsticks down at all. I picked up another piece and put it in my mouth. It was still the same feeling. Still so beautiful, and I could never get tired of eating it." "Wow, husband. I never thought that the dishes you cook are so delicious." Everyone reacted and started to eat voraciously. The whole plate of vegetables was cleared out in minutes. Looking at the empty plate, I didn't feel satisfied with my meal. "Honey, I want to eat more." Huangdi Wuxian held Huxin's arm and shouted, "Kokathaslai. Hubby, we want to eat too." "Okay, I'll make another dish for you." After saying that, he picked up a few big potatoes and made the simplest shredded potatoes for them. As usual, the potatoes were washed and shredded meticulously and carefully. This time, they all watched carefully. The Whale Shark King, in particular, turned on the communicator to record the video, observing every detail meticulously. If I hadn't been worried about disturbing Huxin, I would have been unable to resist asking. It wasn't until Huxin made the stir-fried shredded potatoes that everyone couldn't wait to pick up their chopsticks and try it. "Wow, this is the best shredded potato I have ever had in my life, so delicious. Hubby, can I eat the dishes you cook more often in the future?" He couldn't help asking while wolfing down the food. "Sure. That's great, husband. At this time Huaxian had picked up a fish and started cooking a meat dish. The Whale Shark King wanted to eat shredded potatoes, but also wanted to see how Huaxian cooked fish, but he was too busy in the end. His taste buds won and he ate the shredded potatoes. After eating the shredded potatoes, everyone still looked unsatisfied. Watching Huaxian cooking fish, I became extremely excited. When the fish comes out of the pot, everyone rushes to eat it. They all praised it highly. Huaxian was not cooking, he waited until they finished eating, then looked at the Whale Shark King and said, "It's your turn." The Whale Shark King smiled bitterly and said, "I don't have to do it, you win." The tone of voice has changed. It is no longer an androgynous tone, but a gentle feminine voice. This scene shocked Eugenie and the others. The Whale Shark King said again, "Come with me and fulfill the bet." Huaxian rubbed his hands excitedly and said, "From your voice I know you are an extremely beautiful woman. I am looking forward to seeing you in person." A Whale Shark King said coldly, "I'm afraid you will be disappointed." After saying that, he walked towards the aisle on the right. "Wives, I'm going first, you guys do whatever you want." After saying that, he followed. Avert, the white fox Jenna cursed. I was thinking to myself, how could I have imagined that this pervert is such a good cook? What should I do? I am about to fall for him. My husband's cooking skills are amazing. He will have a treat in the future, Huangdi Wuxian said while licking her lips. I feel like I can't eat anything else without my husband's cooking. I love my husband more and more. Chapter 755, Fulfilling the Bet. Huaxian followed the Whale Shark King to her room. A pure white room made Huaxian feel very strange, as if he had walked into a world of snow. Even the plants inside were white. Standing in this room, I felt out of place. At this time, the Whale Shark King had begun to unbutton his white robe and took it off bit by bit. She wore a white miniskirt underneath, matched only with black stockings, which stretched her long legs to the extreme, making her look extremely seductive. At this time, the Whale Shark King untied the veil hat. Huaxian watched excitedly. When the veil and hat were completely removed, an old, twisted and deformed face came into Huaxian's sight. He was stunned by what he saw. A Whale Shark King fulfilled the bet and untied his white gloves. His hands were as white as jade and even emitted a faint golden halo, which was very charming. At this time, the Whale Shark King had lifted up her skirt and gently took off her black stockings. Her unbearable face, this movement, and those long legs were simply charming. She took off her black stockings and then her short skirt, leaving only her lace-transparent underwear, which was vaguely visible and had the lethality of a nuclear weapon. When that transparent underwear fell off, Huaxian felt like he was going to bleed. Hurry and look at the face of the Whale Shark King. Only then did I realize that her figure was so perfect that I could ignore the ugliness of her face. It's unbelievable. What level of body shape must one have to have such a terrifying effect? I'm afraid that even the bronze legendary beauty White Fox Jenna doesn't have such an attractive figure. How is it? Did I fulfill my bet? Asked the Whale Shark King. Huaxian's gaze subconsciously fell on her forbidden area as if it were magical and made him unable to look away. He couldn't help but walk towards the Whale Shark King, drooling all over the floor. A Whale Shark King quickly put on his underwear, and Huaxian finally reacted. He was completely unaware of his distraction and stared at the face of the Whale Shark King in shock, feeling terrified in his heart. It was unbelievable that a woman's body could possess such terrifying charm. If this person was an enemy, I would have been finished. Thinking of this, cold sweat broke out on my forehead. What's wrong? Are you scared by my ugliness? Asked the Whale Shark King in a lukewarm voice. Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, Sister, I was wrong. Oh, what's wrong with you? I shouldn't be curious about your appearance. And I shouldn't covet your body. You are a teacher, you are lucky your cooking will impress me. As long as you teach me how to cook, I will forgive you. Okay, then sister. Follow me in the future and I will teach you countless kinds of dishes. Why did your sister follow you instead of you staying with your sister? Sister, I have a lot of things to deal with. By the way, sister, just think about how your face will become more beautiful. The Whale Shark King frowned, and a cold breath emanated from his body. Thinking of Huaxian's cooking skills, he suppressed his temper and said, I have consulted many doctors about my sister's appearance but couldn't find any information. You have to mention my appearance again, okay? Huaxian had already sensed the terrifying murderous intent of the Whale Shark King, but he was not afraid. He smiled and said, Sister, I'm not kidding, I have a way to heal your appearance. The Whale Shark King instantly appeared in front of Huaxian, grabbed Huaxian's neck and said, You'd better not be kidding about my appearance. Otherwise, no matter how good your cooking skills are, I will kill you. Huaxian was not afraid at all. She smiled and said, Sister, I'm not kidding, how about we make a deal? What deal? If I heal your beauty, you will be my wife. What if you're still not well? If I'm still not well, how about letting you deal with me, sister? The Whale Shark King didn't believe that Huaxian could heal her at all. After all, in order to heal her appearance, she had traveled to every corner of the world, even to other worlds, but to no avail. She has given up. So she said, "In that case, I will make a deal with you. Come on, heal my face." Huaxian nodded excitedly and quickly took out the beauty pill. For the first time, I felt that the system's reward this time was extremely valuable. The temptation of the Whale Shark King is too great for him. If he can't get it, he will lose his appetite. The Whale Shark King frowned as he looked at Huaxian holding an ordinary box. Huaxian handed the box to her and said, "This is a priceless treasure, a beauty pill. After taking it, your appearance will become beautiful. I've taken more than 10 beauty pills like the ones you mentioned, and they're useless." Huaxian said seriously, "Sister, the beauty pill you took may have a name but no effect. Mine is different. Besides, would I cheat you with my future?" Hearing this, the Whale Shark King felt that Huaxian was not a fool, so he took the brocade box. He opened the brocade box in complete disbelief. And a black, unattractive, ordinary pill came into view. It looks like it was just molded from black mud. Huaxian didn't expect that this beauty pill would be so unsaleable. A Whale Shark King's face was as dark as ink, and murderous aura burst out uncontrollably. Huaxian hurriedly said, "Sister, don't be fooled by the appearance of my pill. Good medicine tastes bitter. This pill is definitely effective." The Whale Shark King suppressed his rage and picked up the pill and smelled it. Vomit. He actually vomited directly. "Just because you can smell an extremely disgusting stench from a close distance. How dare you humiliate me with such disgusting things?" The Whale Shark King roared furiously. A terrifying aura burst out, and the murderous intent became heavier and heavier. Huaxian was naturally not afraid of his strength, and said bitterly, "Sister, this is a good medicine. You don't care if it stinks or not, just take it and see how it works. Who would make something you think is good so fancy that people would miss it? The better something is, the more ordinary it is, and the less people will miss it." Upon hearing this, the Whale Shark King, who was on the verge of going berserk, suppressed his anger once again and roared, "Huaxian, I will trust you once again. If you dare to lie to me, I will definitely kill you." After saying that, he suppressed his nausea, closed his eyes, and threw the pill into his mouth. The next moment, I felt a horrifying pharmacological explosion that instantly flowed throughout my body. Finally, the powerful medicinal power gathered towards his face. When the Whale Shark King felt the effects of the medicine, he was stunned. At this moment, he believed what Huaxian said, because he had taken so many pills, but none of them combined were as terrifying as the pharmacology of the beauty pills here. The next moment, he felt that the ugly genetic structure on his face, which could not be changed by countless elixirs or even physical surgery, was forcibly changed by the horrible power of the medicine. Chapter 756, Effects of the Beauty Pill. After being shocked, the Whale Shark King was extremely excited and quickly took out a huge floor-to-ceiling mirror. Looking at the ever-changing faces inside, I was extremely surprised. If you feel it carefully, not only the face but even the imperfections of the body will be transformed by this terrifying drug power. It was unbelievable that the beauty pill Huaxian gave her was so amazing. How can this be called a beauty pill? This is a miracle pill that defies the heavens. Huaxian heaved a sigh of relief when he saw the horrific effect of the beauty pill. I thought to myself, the system's products are indeed top-notch. I'm passed minute by minute, and under Huaxian's witness, the face of the Whale Shark King had gotten rid of its ugliness and became ordinary. The power of the medicine is still continuing the transformation as time goes by. The appearance of the Whale Shark King has changed from ugly to the level of a beauty on the Earth list. The Whale Shark King is already very satisfied with his current appearance, but the effect of the drug has not yet been exhausted. Soon it will be heavenly grade, divine grade, bronze legend, and silver legend. Finally, the appearance stopped at the silver legend level. Huaxian said regretfully, "What a pity. If it weren't for your ugliness, if a normal person took it, I'm afraid it would be able to reach a higher legendary level." "Why, do you dislike me?" asked the Whale Shark King in a good mood. "How could that be? Even if you still look the same as before, I will not dislike you, my dear wife." That's more like it. You, Ray, really lucky. I'm such a beautiful woman who has lived for hundreds of thousands of years. But in the end, I was actually married to a young man like you. That's fate. If I didn't have my extraordinary cooking skills and that beauty pill, how could I have gotten you?" The Whale Shark King paused, then said bitterly, "Perhaps this is really the arrangement of fate." After saying that, he put on his clothes, and Huaxian helped him put on his clothes. Seeing this, the Whale Shark King couldn't help but ask, "My little man, don't you want to get my body?" Huaxian smiled and said, "You are my wife now, everything about you belongs to me, there is no need to rush at this moment." I thought to myself, if it weren't for that damn mission, I would have pushed you down long ago. You have some conscience. Put on your clothes and dress the same as before. Wife, your stunning beauty has been restored. Why do you still have to cover it up so tightly? Is it okay for me to get used to it? Also, you are not allowed to advertise my beauty. Clear. After saying that, he hugged the Whale Shark King, walked out of the room, and returned to the hall. Everyone waiting in the hall looked over. When they saw Huaxian hugging the Whale Shark King, they were stunned. After a while, the White Fox Jenna asked in disbelief, "Sister, what are you doing?" The Whale Shark King said in a cold tone, "I lost to this guy and he saw my naked body, of course, he has to be responsible for me." "But, sister, did he volunteer?" A White Fox Jenna obviously knew about the Whale Shark King, so she asked this question. Huaxian said, "Of course I am willing from now on. Whale Shark King will be my most beloved wife, and no one is allowed to bully her. Honey, you are so awesome you even managed to take down our boss. Paradise Island will be yours from now on," Tyrannosaurus Kion said excitedly. Huaxian smiled and said, "Wife, from now on, I will be the big boss of Paradise Island." Just at this moment, the Great Elder ran in a panic. Everyone was stunned when they saw the mess of pots and pans at the scene. After a while, the Elder finally responded and asked, "What are you doing?" Just ignored the others. The Whale Shark King did not answer, but asked, "Why are you so flustered?" The Great Elder then remembered his purpose and quickly said, "Boss, the Demonic Terror trading company that has come to our Paradise Island headquarters several times has come again this time. And brought many experts with them. They are coming with great momentum and have bad intentions." Do the Demonic Horror Company think that my Paradise Island is not as powerful as before and as easy to bully? Let's go and meet them. If they really push me to the limit, they won't be able to return. Boss, calm down and don't be impulsive. There is one person among the people who came this time that I cannot figure out at all. I suspect that he is a God Emperor. What? Or did the Demonic Terror Trading Company find the powerful God Emperor? I don't know, but this time it's very unfavorable to us. So what do you think we should do? Boss, there's nothing I can do. Huaxian said at this time, "I have a solution." "What is the solution?" Huaxian smiled and said, "Aren't they planning to take Paradise Island, honey? Just tell them that I am also planning to take Paradise Island, and then let them bid against me for the purchase." "Wife? You actually call our boss your wife?" The Great Elder was extremely shocked. The Whale Shark King said, "Yes, he is my husband now." After explaining, she said to Huaxian, "Hubby, do you know that the Demonic Horror Company is not weaker than our Paradise Island? And its financial resources are terrifying. Can you do it alone?" The Great Elder said, "Boss, we can't do it alone. We can transfer all the property of Paradise Island to him. Anyway, you are both husband and wife. And you are in the hands of your own people." After hearing this, Huaxian remembered this Great Elder, who was considered to be a true follower of the Whale Shark King. "That's right, husband. I will transfer the assets to you right now." Huaxian shook his head and said, "First of all, if you transfer a huge amount of assets to me, the other party will definitely find out that we are playing tricks, and I am afraid they will turn against us afterwards. Secondly, what I lack the most is Demon Crystal Essence, so you don't have to worry about my financial resources at all." After saying this, he said to the Sand Spider IR, "Wife, recharge me with 1,000 of the Jingshout Brilliant Demon Crystals." Sand Spider IR had been holding Huaxian's ID card and Demon card, and quickly recharged them. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 3,000 Jingshout Trillion Demon Crystals within 10 hours, and received a random reward of a Leapfrog Elixir. Ding! New mission. Complete the critical hit 3 times 9,000 within 10 hours. Consume the Jingshout Trillion Demon Crystal Essence. If the mission fails, the host will be wiped out. Complete the mission and get a random reward. Let's go and meet them. A Whale Shark King took a deep breath and chose to believe Huaxian. The main reason was that Huaxian acted mysterious enough that she couldn't see through him at all, and he was always very confident. So she believed him. Soon we arrived at the reception hall. Before I even walked in, I heard Gao Waida's arrogant voice. "You guys on Paradise Island are increasingly looking down on our Demonic Terror Trading Company. No wonder it's being targeted and suppressed by all the major forces. Whatever happens to my Paradise Island is none of your business." Black Stark Yang. The Whale Shark King walked in angrily. When we arrived at the main hall, we saw that the main seat in the center was occupied by a mysterious old man. The one on the right is the Black Demon Star. "Hey boss Whale Shark King, you are finally here. Have you considered the conditions I proposed to you last time?" Chapter 757, Business War. The Whale Shark King said coldly, "I had considered it, but a distinguished guest suddenly came to my Paradise Island. That is, Mr. Hu, and he is also discussing the acquisition of Paradise Island with me." All eyes were focused on Huaxian. Moe Chi Xinqiang said inferently, "He, an inferior human, is still talking about acquiring Paradise Island. Whale Shark King, even if you want to find an actor, please find a better one." Because Huaxian was not wearing an ID card, He did not know Hu Xian's consumption level. Hu Xian said disapprovingly, "Old man. Are you saying that you are better than me? You dare to scold me?" Mo Hei Xinqiang was furious. "You dare to bite me? So how can I not scold you?" Hu Xian showed no mercy. "How dare you insult the second-generation ancestor of my demonic terror trading company like this? You are courting death." A middle-aged man from the demonic terror trading company came out. Without further ado, he drew his sword and killed Hu Xian with one blow. Faced with his attack, Hu Xian had no reaction. He didn't point his finger until the sword energy approached. It was also pure power that easily broke the sword energy. A finger made of the remaining power flew towards the middle-aged man. This scene shocked the whole audience. Even the old man who was sitting in the main seat and resting with his eyes closed opened his eyes and looked at Hu Xian. "Break it for me." The middle-aged man swung his sword with all his strength in response to Hu Xian's attack. Booming magnet. The sword energy collided with the energy finger, making a loud bang, and was broken again. The energy finger struck the blade heavily. When everyone thought that the energy finger would be broken, the middle-aged man suddenly felt a terrifying force transmitting from the sword blade to his body. He was so frightened that his expression changed drastically and he subconsciously let go of the sword. Without conduction, the sword blade could not withstand the huge force. Click, click, click. 3 loud noises were heard in succession, and the sword blade broke into 3 pieces. Even though he let go quickly, the middle-aged man was still injured in the shock. His face was pale and there was blood at the corners of his mouth. I was extremely terrified. If I had let go a little later, I would have exploded and died. So strong. A strong man from the demonic terror trading company reacted and exclaimed. Hu Xian said calmly, "I am a person who is not afraid of reasoning or using force, so do you want to reason with me or use force?" "Who are you?" Mo Hei Xinqiang asked angrily. Hu Xian smiled and said, "It doesn't matter who I am. What matters is that I have set my eyes on Paradise Island. I heard that you guys are also interested in Paradise Island. That's easy. As businessmen, we are all about price. You and I will make an offer. Whoever offers the highest price will get Paradise Island." "Boss Whale Shark King, what do you think?" The Whale Shark King acted. "You are all stronger than each other. Do I have a choice? In that case, then Boss Whale Shark King, please make a bottom price." The Whale Shark King continued his act and said, "Since both of you have offered the price, the one with the highest price will win. The reserve price is unnecessary." "Whatever. Then I'd like to trouble you, Whale Shark King, to come and bid for us," he said as he glanced at the Sand Spider IR. The latter hurried over and handed Hu Xian's ID card and devil card to the Whale Shark King. Hu Xian then looked at Mo Hei Xinqiang and said, "Here you go." Mo Hei Xinqiang said inferently, "You should become a monk first." "That's fine too. I'll offer you 1 demon crystal essence. If you don't bid, this Paradise Island will be mine." Upon hearing the price, everyone in the demonic terror trading company looked at Hu Xian with twitching faces. I thought to myself, this guy is even more evil than me. If I really don't make an offer. Looking at the look of the Whale Shark King, I'm afraid I can really buy Paradise Island with 1 demon crystal marrow. Mo Hei Xing said, "Sir, 1 demon crystal is a bit too much. We, the demonic horror company, have come here with sincerity, and are willing to purchase Paradise Island with 1,000 trillion demon crystals." After saying that, he took out his ID card and threw it to the Whale Shark King. It turned out to be a legendary level, but he deliberately concealed the actual level. It should be noted here that the level of the identity card can be controlled by the holder's thoughts as to whether or not to show it to others. The Whale Shark King took his ID card and unceremoniously swiped away 1,000 of the Jingxiao Rillion points. Hu Xian smiled slightly and said, 1,000 with him is worth Jingxiao Rillion. A Whale Shark King is brushed directly without leaving the water. Because Hu Xian did not cover up the actual level, Mo Hei Xinqiang sneered. "You don't have many points, right? I'm playing with 2,500 Jingxiao Trillion." Hu Xian smiled and said, "Right, it does exceed the points I deposited, but I can't top up. Recharge me 40. The Whale Shark King operates with great skill. All of a sudden, 3,500 billion Jingxiao was lost, and Mo Hei Xinqiang's face turned gloomy. He said inferently, "I want to see how much more you can top up. I'll give you 4,000 Jingxiao Rillion." Hu Xian sneered, "And I will top up 5,000 Jingxiao Rillion, and I will give you 4,000 Jingxiao Rillion." The Whale Shark King just recharges quickly and then follows. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 9,000 of the Jingxiao Rillion Eman crystals within 10 hours. And received 10 random rewards of life-saving and healing potions. Ding, new mission, complete the critical hit 5 times rounded to the nearest 5 within 10 hours. Consume 5 trillion demon crystals from Zijing Shao. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. The people at the Demonic Terror Trading Company discovered that every time Huaxian recharged his account, his consumption status did not decrease. Seeing that the other party did not follow, Huaxian mocked, "Rubbish, you only followed 7,500 Jingxiao Rillion, can't you bear it? Is your Demonic Terror Company a paper tiger? How dare you humiliate my Demonic Terror Trading Company like this? Today you will let you know what terror is. Give me a trillion of Zijing Shao." The whole audience was shocked. It should have exceeded 10,000 directly. Huaxian smiled and said, "How big was it? Only one caddy. Recharge 1Z for me, and then follow him. The aura is so strong that it gives people a feeling of unlimited financial resources." At the moment of recharging 1Z, Huaxian found that his status soared to legendary 984, rising by 3 levels. It's hard to believe that there are so many people with piles of demon crystals. For example, this demon black star in front of him, he has cost more than 17,500 yuan, and he is still at the legendary level. Obviously, his legendary level is not simple. After following, the identity returned to its original position. Mohia Xinqiang's face had become extremely ugly. He had clearly come here to rob. But he didn't expect that because of this guy he would get stuck in the quagmire of business war, and not only lost another 17,500 Jingxiao Rillion, he was so angry. He turned around to look at the strong man he had invited, waiting for his nod. The latter shook his head slightly, causing his mood to plummet. Chapter 758. Haunting. Huaxian said sarcastically with a smile, "Hey, don't just stand there like an idiot. We just started the competition. You're not going to be able to do it, are you?" Crackling. Mohia Xinqiang was so angry that he clenched his fists. He took a deep breath to suppress his anger and said, "Come on, Wu Zi." Then he glared at Huaxian and said, "I don't believe you dare to follow me." Huaxian saw that the consumption task time had not yet arrived, so he stole for time and said, "If I stop now, will you be mad to death if you invest nearly 7 Rillion demon crystals? Are you kidding? Why would I stop? Give me for Z." "Well, Shark King, recharge quickly." I don't doubt that Huaxian recharged too little. Mohia Xinqiang sneered, "Why? It's only for days. Are you not able to do it anymore? Where is your madness just now?" Ding! Congratulations to the host for consuming 5 trillion demon crystals in Zijing Shao within 10 hours. And receiving a random reward of a bottle of Farmer's Fairy Spring. Ding! New task. Complete the consumption of 6 times 30 Zijing Shao Rillion demon crystals within 10 hours. If the task fails, the host will be killed. If the task is completed, a random reward will be obtained. What? Farmer's Spring? Huaxian was dumbfounded. What kind of reward was this? Hurry up and check out the introduction. Nanjia Fusion Quan, carrying a majestic life gene, will have an excellent healing effect after taking it. Seeing Huaxian in a daze, Mohia Xinqiang thought that he had no more demon crystal lessons and breathed a sigh of relief. He said proudly, "Trash is trash. You were so arrogant just now, but I didn't expect Wu Zi to suppress you." Huaxian finally reacted and said with a smile, "Sorry for losing focus." He said to the Golden Shark King, "Please help me top up 10 coins. Whale Shark King, recharge quickly." Seeing that the recharge was successful, the faces of Mohia Xinqiang and everyone else turned extremely ugly. Huaxian said with a smile, "I am 14 years old. 9 years older than you if you have some ability. I don't ask you to surpass me, but just keep up with me." A very crazy tone. Mohia Xinqiang didn't expect that the other party had deliberately recharged for Z just now. He thought that the other party must have deliberately humiliated him in this way, and he hated it very much. He clenched his fists tightly and would have attacked immediately if he was not so sure. Now we are really in a difficult situation. After waiting for a while, he still didn't speak. Huaxian urged, "Why? Are you stumped after just a dozen or so words? It seems that you, a so-called young master, are nothing more than this. Waste. You're looking for death. What? You want to resort to violence without the devil's essence? Are you worthy?" It was a provocation without any bottom line, and everyone around was terrified. "Okay, very good. Paradise Island is destined to be mine no matter how much I invest now. It is still mine today. Will let you know what financial resources are. Give me 50 tiles. This." Hearing this, everyone was extremely shocked. It was 41 more than Huaxian, so terrifying. Everyone's eyes couldn't help but fall on Huaxian, wanting to see what his expression would be when facing such pressure. Huaxian had a smile on his face and was not panicked, but he was not in a hurry to show off either. The main reason was that the time was too short and he wanted to delay. "That beautiful lady. Please bring me a cup of hot tea," Huaxian asked the beauties. "I'll go." A beautiful woman said this and left quickly. Mohia Xinqiang sneered. "Drinking hot tea to calm your nerves. It seems that you are not that well. Others, you can choose any of the beauties here. A group of Death Legion soldiers are ready to take action." However, Huaxian's strength was there, so they did not dare to act rashly. What are you afraid of? He lost. And now Paradise Island is mine. At this time, the beautiful woman came up with hot tea. Mr. Hu, have some tea. Huaxian took the tea and took a sip with a smile. I wrote it. Then he looked at Mo Hei Xinqiang and said, what are you in such a hurry for? Are you in a hurry to lose? Stop talking nonsense and come on if you have the guts. I want to see how much demon crystal essence your master will support you with. Huaxian nodded and said, okay, let's wait and see. The island owner recharged me 30Z. Hearing this, Mo Hei Xinqiang's heart skipped a beat, and he had a strong bad feeling. The others were also terrified because Huaxian had just recharged in the same way. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the consumption of 30 Zijing Shao Rillion Demon Crystals within 10 hours, and obtaining the random reward of Vara Indestructible Body. Ding. New mission, complete the consumption of 3 times 90 Zijing Shao Rillion Demon Crystals within 10 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. Indestructible Body of Vara. Huaxian was shocked. The names sounded awesome. Check out the properties now. Vara Indestructible Body, possessing a physique that is 10.0 times stronger than the current physique. It does not need to be used and will be automatically activated when encountering danger. 10,000 times stronger physique. Huaxian was extremely shocked. And then extremely excited. Although it is not a truly indestructible body, it is also extremely ferocious. You know, almost all of what I have now are attack power enhancements, and this is the first time I have obtained a physical fitness enhancement. And it was obtained randomly through consumption asks, which is really cause for celebration. Everyone else's eyes were always on Huaxian, waiting for his performance. Recharge me 11 Rillion Demon Crystals from Zijing Shao. He just caught up with Mo Hei Xinqiang, which made his face look extremely ugly. What was even more disgusting was that he had no idea where Huaxian's bottom line was. Looking at his confident look, it seems that he still has a lot of demon crystal essence. Golden Shark King quickly completed the recharge for Huaxian. This amount of demon crystal marrow is naturally nothing to the huge Paradise Island headquarters. It's just that Demon Black Stark Yang just wants to take over Paradise Island at the lowest price. But now, having met Huaxian, all his plans were disrupted, so the atmosphere was extremely tense. He took a deep breath and said, you lowly inferior slave, every time you finish recharging, you are just waiting for time, waiting for the demon crystal essence to arrive, right? But I don't have that much time to waste with you this time. I'm offering you 100 coins. You must top up as quickly as possible. Within 1 minute. If you exceed this time, you lose. Huaxian frowned and said, you are going too far. I didn't mention such a rule before. I didn't say it before. But now I say it and it counts. I don't think you will lose this time. After saying this, he said to the Golden Shark King, hurry up and give me 100 trillion Demon Crystal Marrow points from Zijing Shao. It is not easy to let the Golden Shark King go directly, so we can only give him points. Seeing that the Golden Shark King had gained points, Mo Hei Xinqiang waved his hand and a countdown stopwatch appeared, leaving no chance for Huaxian to delay. Huaxian smiled and said, recharge me 79 Rillion Demon Crystals from Zijing Shao. The Whale Shark King nodded and went straight ahead. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have consumed 90 trillion Demon Crystals in Zijing Shao within 3 minutes. And received a random reward of a fake death pill. Ding, new mission. Complete the consumption of 5 times the critical hit of 450 Zijing Shao Rillion Demon Crystals within 9 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. Chapter 759, just so crazy. 20 seconds had passed, and Mo Hei Xinqiang taunted, you still have 40 seconds. I just don't believe that Huaxian could get the money in such a short time. Huaxian smiled and said, why are you in such a hurry? Isn't there still dozens of seconds left? And he smiled and said to the Whale Shark King, recharge me 21Z. Adding them together, it is exactly 100Z. Golden Shark King, recharge quickly. Mo Hei Xinqiang's face suddenly became extremely ugly. Huaxian smiled and said, now it's your turn again. The latter clenched his fists and glared at Huaxian. At this moment, his legendary consumption status star level has dropped. Although he hid his identity and others couldn't see it, he knew it very well, so he felt very painful. To be honest, it's only a few dozen or a few hundred tiles. I really don't take it seriously. Do you think this young master cares about it? I don't believe that I don't have infinite demon crystal essence. Give me 300Z. The Whale Shark King came up in seconds. This guy refreshed the countdown again. Huaxian smiled and said, this is great. I hope our business war can set a new record. Recharge me 300Z. This time, a recharge was done in seconds. which made Mo Xiaoxiang feel depressed. He had no idea where this guy's bottom line was. Is it true that his demonic following is infinite? Could it be that he is not really an inferior slave, but comes from that place? If that's the case, then this battle is not because of Paradise Island. His heart sank as he said, "Boy, you are from the Holy Valley, right?" "How do you know?" Hu Xian asked in surprise. "You are indeed from the Holy Valley. Do you still want to buy Paradise Island and make a comeback? You have no chance. Give me 1,000 Zijing shout Rillian demon crystal points." Shouted loudly. After the Whale Shark King got on, he looked at Hu Xian with some concern. Hu Xian smiled slightly and said, "This is interesting. First, top up 129 Z for me." The Whale Shark King nodded and recharged immediately. "Ding, congratulations to the host. You have consumed 450 trillion demon crystals of Zijing Shao within 5 minutes, and received a random reward of Super Gene Energy Pistol. Ding, new mission. Complete the consumption of 4 times the critical hit of 1800 Zijing Shao Rillian demon crystals within 8 hours, and the host will be killed if the mission fails. Complete the mission to get a random reward. Super Gene Energy Pistol." Hu Xian was stunned and quickly checked the properties. After all, genetic technology weapons are everywhere in this world. I am just curious about this Super Genetic Energy Pistol. Super Gene Energy Pistol can inject genetic energy infinitely. The stronger the injected genetic energy, the more terrifying the attack power. After watching the commentary, Hu Xian was overjoyed. The Super Gene Energy Pistol can be said to be terrifying. "Recharge me another 871 Zijing Shao Rillian." Immediately he caught up with the Blackstar Demon again. Hu Xian looked at the other person provocatively. The latter was already numb, and took out the Devil card and handed it to the Whale Shark King. "Recharge me 5,000 Zijing Shao Rillian." Everyone at the scene trembled. Holden Shark King recharge completed. All of them are battle points. After the Whale Shark King came on, everyone looked at Hu Xian. 5,000 Z is a sky price for ordinary wealthy people. Everyone also understood that Demon Black Star Yang was serious this time. Clap, clap, clap. Hu Xian applauded and said, "Awesome, really awesome." Then he said to the Whale Shark King, "First, recharge me 929 Zijing Shao Rillian." Ding! Congratulations to the host. You have consumed 1800 trillion demon crystals in Zijing Shao within 10 minutes, and obtained a random reward of demon killing skills. Ding! New mission. Complete the consumption of 5 times the critical hit of 9,000 Zijing Shao Rillian demon crystals within 7 hours, and the host will be killed if the mission fails. Complete the mission. Jails complete the mission to get a random reward. Under the murderous gaze of Demon Black Star Yang, he continued, "Recharge me 4,071 Zijing Shao Rillian." "Did you fucking do that on purpose?" The Black Star magical clang burst out directly. Hu Xian smiled and said, "No. I'm just afraid that if I do too much at once, it will scare you. To tell you the truth, I have a hobby, which is business warfare. Go on, don't let me down. Even if you are from the Holy Valley, I still want to remind you that the true continent is controlled by demons. My demonic horror company is connected to the royal demons. If you offend me, you are cutting off your own retreat. It's like I'm telling you that if I don't offend you, you have a way out. Hurry up. If you have demon crystal, then go ahead. If you don't have it, then get lost. I don't have time to waste with you." "You? What are you talking about? You have no strength, no courage, and you are called a loser, but you are unwilling to admit it. How about this? I won't set a time limit for you. If you don't have any demon crystal essence, quickly ask your relatives and friends to borrow some. I will challenge your entire demon terror trading company by myself. I am so arrogant. Can you stand up to me?" When these words were spoken, the whole audience was shocked. Arrogant. To arrogant. Very good, just wait for me. Mo Xiaoxiang walked away immediately, and everyone knew what he was going to do. A Whale Shark King said worriedly, "Hu Xian, the financial resources of the demonic terror trading company are far greater than that of our Paradise Island. If you provoke them like this, I'm afraid you will suffer a loss." "Don't worry, honey, the last thing I'm afraid of is a comparison of financial strength." Seeing Hu Xian's confidence, the beauties around him all had stars in their eyes. The Golden Shark King had nothing to say. 10 minutes passed and Mo Xiaoxiang still hadn't returned. Hu Xian said, "Baby, recharge me 4,929 Zijing Shao Trillion." The Golden Shark King nodded and recharged. "Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 9,000 Zijing Shao Rillian demon crystals within 7 hours, and received a random reward of critical hit spicy strips. Ding. New mission, complete the consumption of 3 times the critical hit and 27,000 Zijing Shao Trillion demon crystals within 7 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. Critical spicy strips?" Hu Xian quickly checked the properties. Critical spicy strips. After use, the genetic power carries the critical attribute. And each hit carries a critical damage effect. Awesome. 20 minutes passed quickly, and Moichi Xinqiang still hadn't returned. If I didn't know that he didn't leave, I would have suspected that he had run away. Baby, recharge me another 27. 0 Zijing shout really in demon crystals. This. Everyone around was shocked. Good. Well, Shark King recharged directly after all. Given his relationship with Huaxian, he didn't feel bad about recharging since he was at home. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 27,000 Zijing shout really in demon crystals within 7 hours. And received a random reward of sweet tomatoes. Ding, new mission. Complete the consumption of 5 times the critical hit of 135. 0 Zijing shout really in demon crystals within 7 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. Explosively sweet tomatoes? What the hell? The name doesn't sound that impressive. Check out the properties now. Chapter 760. Are you in a hurry to lose? Super sweet tomatoes. Eating them can make people fall into sweet fantasies and forget all worries. This effect is definitely a self-healing effect. The product produced by the system is indeed a fine product. A few minutes later, Moichi Xinqiang arrived with a smile on his face. Everyone's eyes were on him, thinking that Huaxian had already recharged more than 30,000 trillion Zijing Shao demon crystals. They were a little pessimistic about him. Boy, next, I'm going to let you know what it means to lose miserably. He turned around and looked at the Golden Shark King and said, recharge me 100,000 Zijing Shao Rillion. Golden Shark King. Recharge quickly. First, give me 10,000 Zijing Shao Trillion. After the Golden Shark King came on, Moichi Xing looked at Huaxian proudly. Boy, it's your turn. Huaxian smiled slightly. Follow him for 100. After the Golden Shark King came on, Moichi Xinqiang felt no pressure this time. Still smiling, 50,000 Zijing Shao Trillion. Everyone's eyes fell on Huaxian. Recharge me 100. 0 Zijing Shao Trillion. And followed him with 50,000 Zijing Shao Trillion. Moichi Xinqiang's eyebrows jumped and the smile on his face gradually disappeared. I realized that I had underestimated this guy. The Golden Shark King recharged Huaxian with 50,000 Zijing Shao Trillion, and everyone's attention returned to the Black Star Yang. I've become numb to it, so I won't make a fuss about how much the two of them recharge. Seeing that Moichi Xinqiang was stunned, Huaxian said, I still have more than 70,000 Zijing Shao Trillions in my hand, and you only have 40,000. So you need to continue to recharge. Moichi Xinqiang was in a bad mood. He contacted his superiors, and was told that with a maximum of 100,000 Zijing Shao Trillion, he could defeat the opponent. As a result, I was slapped in the face right from the start. The key point is that he no longer has any extra demon crystal essence on him. Why, it's not possible just at the beginning? Huaxian continued to mock. Shut up. After scolding, he made a direct call. After a while, the communication was connected and the images of the scene were included in the communication. What's wrong with Demon Black Star? I've transferred 100,000 Zijing Shaoyi to you. Isn't that enough? An old man asked angrily. 9 Felder. The other party also directly recharged 100,000 Zijing Shao Trillion. Counting the remaining amount before, it far exceeds my 100,000 Zijing Shao Trillion. Moichi Xinqiang said in a complaining tone. The old man's gaze fell on Huaxian, whom Moichi Xinqiang had pointed at. Human, you are so rich. But you don't have an ID card. Where are you from? This is a world ruled by demons. I advise you to keep a low profile. Huaxian smiled and said, Old man, this is none of your business now, I ask you. And you still follow? If not, then let your descendants get out. You are so arrogant. Young man, today will let you know that you cannot challenge my demonic terror trading company, even if you are from that place. After that, he said to Moichi Xinqiang, I transferred 50 Zijing Shao Trillion to you, and gave me all the business war points. Yes. Moichi Xinqiang was extremely excited, and said to the Golden Shark King, what are you standing there for? Hurry up and recharge your business battle points. The Golden Shark King trembled and quickly recharged his business war points, worrying about Huaxian. After all, what he is facing now is no longer Moichi Xinqiang, but the entire Mokong Trading Company. Boy, aren't you crazy? It's your turn. The old man on the other end of the line said inferently. Huaxian nodded. Don't be impatient, old man. I admire your personality. He said to the Golden Shark King. Recharge me 35,000 Zijing Shao Trillion now. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 135,000 Zijing Shao Trillion demon crystals within 7 hours. and received a random reward of Demon Advanced Bloodline. Ding! New mission: complete a critical hit of 6 times the integer of 800,000 Zhengshao Brilliant Demon Crystals within 7 hours if the mission fails. A host will be killed if the mission is completed. A random reward will be obtained. Huaxian's body trembled. After obtaining the Advanced Devil's Bloodline, he clearly felt that his body was different, as if he was more like a real devil. If the demons before were all ordinary and in disguise, then now, he is the real demon and no means can detect any flaws. This ability obviously has huge advantages in the world of demons. He smiled and said, "But charge me another 50 trillion demon crystals from Zhengshao." The Golden Shark King heaved a sigh of relief and quickly recharged his account. Without Huaxian asking him to do so, he directly added the business war points. Everyone's eyes subconsciously fell on the old man who was communicating. Interesting, this is fun. But charge me 1 million Zhengshao trillion. The old man said without any pressure. Everyone around held their breath, as if any noise they made would affect something. The Golden Shark King quickly completed the recharge of business war points, and then looked at Huaxian expectantly. I breathed a sigh of relief when I saw that he looked calm. "Old man, you have something. I just wonder if you will feel bad if you lose later. As an elder of the Demonic Terror Trading Company, would I feel bad about this little bit of demon crystal? But you, if you admit defeat, you can suffer a smaller loss." Mo Hei Xinqiang said loudly. "Ninth Elder, don't waste time talking to him. This guy is just stalling for time on purpose, waiting for someone to transfer money to him." The Ninth Elder disagreed. "What if we wait for him for a while? Or do you think that I am no match for him? Boy, just call and ask someone to transfer the money to you. I'm waiting." Huaxian smiled and said, "Thank you then. You are much better than him. This guy is poor and he doesn't even allow me to ask for help." "You?" Mo Hei Xinqiang was furious. "But I couldn't beat him, so I could only endure it." 10 minutes passed quickly. "Baby, recharge me 300,000 Zhengshao trillion." The cry of "baby" made Mo Hei Xinqiang and the others react. "So you are the man of the Golden Shark King, no wonder you have so many demon crystals." However, although Paradise Island is not weak, it is nothing but come in front of our Demon Terror Trading Company. Just wait for your defeat. I felt relieved after thinking I knew the source of Huaxian's demon crystal marrow. Golden Shark King completed the recharge for Huaxian. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 800 Zhengshao Brilliant Demon Crystals within 7 hours and received a random reward of Star Sandstone. Ding! New mission. Complete Super Critical Strike 50 times for 1000 Zhengshao Brilliant Demon Crystal consumption within 7 hours. The mission fails and the host is killed. Complete the mission to get a random reward. Mo Hei Xinqiang urged, "Boy, I've been waiting for you for a long time. How come you don't have any demon crystal marrow?" "Well, Shark King, you can just use your demons to recharge him." Huaxian smiled and said, "What are you in a hurry for? Are you in a hurry to lose?" And he said to the Golden Shark King, "Recharge me 10 million Zhengshao Brilliant Demon Crystal Essences, and all of them will be used as business war points." Chapter 761, Can't Help It. What? The numb audience was shocked again. Huaxian had always followed the other party, but he didn't expect that this time he would directly defeat the other party by 900 trillion Zhengshao. The Golden Shark King was also shocked and overjoyed, stunned by Huaxian's arrogance, and quickly completed the recharge of business war points. "It's your turn," Huaxian said, looking at the old man on the other end of the line. The smile on the old man's face stiffened a little, and he felt like he had been slapped in the face. After a while, he laughed and said, "Boy, if you have some ability, give him 10 million Zhengshao Brilliant Demon Crystals." Golden Shark King quickly recharges business war points. Everyone's eyes fell on Huaxian again, wanting to know how much bigger he would be this time. Huaxian kept smiling. "Give me 20 million Zhengshao Brilliant Demon Crystals." Yes. Mo Hei Xinqiang couldn't help but take a deep breath. I suddenly realized that this guy was pretending just now and was just playing a trick on me. I became extremely angry when I thought about it. I swore to make him live a life worse than death. "Old man, it's your turn again. Don't lose your interest," Huaxian said calmly. "It seems like he doesn't take the demon crystal marrow seriously at all." "Very good, old man. I underestimated you. It's only 20 million Zhengshao Brilliant. I can still afford it. Give me and him 20 million Zhengshao Brilliant." Golden Shark King quickly recharged business war points. "Old man, you are amazing. If I go up to Zhengshao Brilliant, will you be heartbroken?" The old man raised his eyebrows and his face darkened. Mo Hei Xinqiang said quickly, "Ninth Elder, he is stalling for time and deliberately waiting for the demon crystal marrow to arrive." Huaxian said, "Your Ninth Elder is not like you. You can't afford to play with him. So what if I wait a while? I just waited for you for nearly half an hour." Just wait, I don't believe he can get a trillion. 10 minutes later, Hu Xian said. Baby, recharge me 10 million Jingxiao WNEI first. The Golden Shark King nodded and recharged. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 4,000 words of Jingxiao trillion demon crystals within 7 hours, and received a random reward of 10 first level upgrade pills for all systems. Ding! New mission. Complete the critical hit 10 times C-Rang Jingxiao trillion demon crystal consumption within 7 hours. The mission fails and the host is killed. Complete the mission to get a random reward. Recharge me another 1 trillion Jingxiao demon crystal essence. A whole audience was shocked and stunned. Unexpectedly, Hu Xian really did what he said and went straight to the stage. It took the Whale Shark King a while to adapt and he directly recharged the business war points. Everyone's eyes involuntarily fell on the ninth elder who was on the communications side. The ninth elder was also stunned. The current consumption of demon crystal essence has exceeded his usage rights. He took a deep breath, took out his communicator and notified the higher-ups of the Chamber of Commerce. After a while, several powerful figures came to his side. The devil is dark and vast, something has alarmed us. The ninth elder smiled bitterly and said, it's like this, that human race. He quickly recounted what had happened and said, now that guy is in trouble. I can't make the decision so I notified you to come. Those guys all looked at Hu Xian. How can a lowly slave of the human race with no status be so arrogant? He must be from that place. Paradise Island doesn't have the financial resources to do that. I think that's where he comes from too. The group discussed for a while, and one of them said to Hu Xian, young man, I advise you to go back to where you came from. Otherwise you will lose your life. Hu Xian smiled and said, you don't have to worry about that, just tell me whether you dare to follow me. Young man, you don't know how to behave today, I'll let you know what arrogance means. Just give me some Rang Jingxiao trillion. After saying that, he transferred the money to Mo Hiai Xinqiang's devil card. Golden Shark King. Recharge quickly. Seeing these people looking at him, Hu Xian said, I am only to Shang older than me. So I am to Shang older than you. Well, Shark King recharges to business war points. Warang Jingxiao has tens of billions. The old man snorted angrily and went straight forward. Boy, if you have the guts, just keep following me. He did this on purpose, but secretly hoped that Hu Xian would give up when he saw the difficulty. Baby, recharge me 1 Jingxiao trillion first. The Golden Shark King nodded and quickly recharged. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the consumption of 4 trillion demon crystals in Jingxiao within 7 hours, and obtaining 10 random rewards of cultivation concealment pills. Ding! New mission. Complete a 5-fold critical hit within 7 hours and consume 20 trillion demon crystals if the mission fails. The host will be killed if the mission is completed. A random reward will be obtained. Recharge me another 10 trillion demon crystals from Jingxiao, and put them all into business war points. The Golden Shark King recharged the business war points, and the whole audience was numb. Old man, it's your turn. The top executives of the Demonic Terror Trading Company also looked unhappy. Although Shirang was nothing to them, he was still provoked because of this. Mainly because Hu Xian was smiling and confident, as if he had infinite devil crystal essence. After a while, the old man said, give him 10,000 Jingxiao billion. The Golden Shark King was shocked and recharged his business war points. Interesting, old man. You still have the strength. Hu Xian praised, recharge me another 100 trillion business war points of Jingxiao. Golden Shark King recharged immediately. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 20 trillion demon crystals in 10 minutes, and received a random reward of a trace of immortal soul. Ding! New mission, complete a 5-fold critical hit within 6 hours and consume 100 billion demon crystals if the mission fails. The host will be killed if the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. Suddenly, the opponent's 500,000 Jingxiao was increased by 10 trillion. Hu Xian understood that trace of immortal soul. You don't know if you don't dare to look, but once you see it, you will be ecstatic. It is a whole immortal soul, but there is only a trace of it. It can guarantee your immortality and give you the opportunity to reincarnate and start over. I just don't know if the mission failure system can wipe me out. Ding! The system transcends everything, even a complete immortal soul can be killed. The host should not have a fluke mentality. When Hu Xian had this thought, the system issued a warning. Hu Xian shuddered and felt a little scared. Young man, I underestimated you. Let me see where your bottom line is. I will go straight up to 55,000 Jingxiao. 50,000 Jingxiao, which is 50,000 Jingxiao. Golden Shark King, recharge quickly. Once the demon crystal essence is in her account, it will be his. After all, the two sides are in a business war. This is also a public rule. Snap, snap, snap. Hu Xian clapped his hands. Everyone was confused. Kid, what do you mean by this? Asked another senior executive of the Demonic Terror Trading Company. Huaxian smiled and said, "It's nothing special. I just think that this kind of large-scale business war is interesting, so I can't help it." Chapter 762. Escape. Interesting, huh? Then just follow me. These 50 people, the old man said angrily. The other old men also looked at Huaxian with very unfriendly eyes. Huaxian didn't take it seriously. He looked around and found that the beautiful woman was looking at him with infatuated eyes. When they met his eyes, they all started to act coquettously. She was already a great beauty. And this scene made Huaxian feel even more itchy. I thought that after I was done, I must pamper them well. Finally, his eyes fell on the Golden Shark King. "Baby, help me recharge 500 trillion Eamon crystals and directly earn business war points." "Okay." The Golden Shark King's attitude towards Huaxian became softer and softer, and he was deeply attracted to him. After 50,000 Jingxiao trillions of people had passed, everyone's eyes couldn't help but turn to Mo Hia Xinqiang's communicator. The expressions of all the bigwigs of the demonic terror trading company were as gloomy as ink, and they no longer had the confidence and calmness they had before. Huaxian looks calm and confident, which makes people even more fascinated. "It's your turn. Boy, are you sure you want to be an enemy of my demonic trading company?" a burly old man asked in a sharp tone. And the threatening tone was self-evident. Huaxian said disaffably, "Does the demonic horror company have the qualifications to be my enemy?" The whole audience was stunned. Even the people on Paradise Island looked at Huaxian with disbelief. The more this happens, the more curious people become about his true identity. Who is this guy? He is so arrogant and doesn't look like a human from anywhere, the old man in the lead asked in a voice transmission. It's true, the humans in that place are definitely not this high profile. This guy gives me the feeling that he is more like a demon. But he is obviously a human. When will the strong men we send arrive? Paradise Island has closed the transmission channel. Our people can only be transmitted to a nearby city, which will take another hour and a half to arrive. Seeing the group of people looking at each other in bewilderment, Huaxian asked, "Why, haven't you discussed it yet?" "Young man, it's only 500 billion on TB, so cocky. But charge me 100 Jingxiao trillion, which is 50 more than his." Golden Shark King, recharge quickly. This time, Huaxian said without hesitation. "Baby, recharge me 500,000 billion business war points." The Golden Shark King nodded and recharged. "Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 100 trillion demon crystals in 6 hours, and received a random reward of a universal resurrection opportunity. Ding, new mission. Complete a critical hit of 8 times 800 Jingxiao trillion demon crystals within 6 hours. If the mission fails, a host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. 1 chance for universal resurrection." Huaxian quickly checked the information and found that it was a universal resurrection opportunity that could revive any creature. Right, this is a good reward. Everyone at the scene looked at the person on the other end of the Mo Hia Xinqiang communicator. After Huaxian caught up with the opponent with 50 rang Jingxiao trillion, the one before him had 1 more rang, which made him bigger than the opponent. "Very good, kid. Recharge me 500 rang Jingxiao trillion business war points." This time, the other party did not hesitate and took action directly. Huaxian did not hesitate. "Baby, fight him for 500 Jingxiao trillion business war points." After this battle, both sides felt very refreshed. The mood of the top executives of Demonic Terror Trading Company has become extremely heavy. "This is a rang level unit, neither a BE or a BE, it's horrible." Taking a deep breath, the great elder of the Demonic Horror Trading Company said, "Boy, what's the point of doing this? As far as I know, the total shares of Paradise Island are only 100 trillion Jingxiao, and the actual working capital is even more limited now. The total amount of our business war is far exceeded 100 trillion Jingxiao." Huaxian said inferently, "I just like the output ability of the girls in Paradise Island. I am willing to do anything for the girls. What is it to you? If you want to follow, follow. If not, get out." "Good, that's a good personality. I hope you don't regret it. Recharge me 1,000 Jingxiao trillion points." The Golden Shark King's breathing became heavy. Just as the other party said, the amount of the business war between the two parties has now exceeded the total shares of Paradise Island. At the same time, she became excited. The amount of this auction would determine the new height of Paradise Island. After all, this was a competition between the two sides based on the demon crystal marrow. Huaxian said to her, "Baby, first recharge me 300 Drang Jingxiao trillion business war points." The Golden Shark King nodded excitedly and quickly recharged. He was now looking forward to their competition reaching new heights. "Ding, congratulations to the host. You have consumed 800 trillion demon crystals in 10 minutes and received a random reward of an Ana tribute Gene Lightsaber. Ding, new mission. Complete a critical hit of 5 times for 1000 Jingxiao trillion demon crystals within 5 hours. If the mission fails, A host will be killed if the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. Recharge me another 700 Rangjing shout really in business war points. Golden Shark King recharges quickly. Everyone in the demonic terror trading company stared at Hu Xin with flaming eyes. After a while, the great elder said, "Boy, you are so cruel, so what if you win this time? Just wait. I will make you regret it." After saying that, he hung up the phone, obviously giving up. Mo Xinqiang's face suddenly turned ugly. "Let's go." He roared at his subordinates and galloped away. Hu Xian didn't make things difficult for him. After all, they were not on the same level, so he just let it go. Mo Xinqiang left with his men in a dusty state. The Golden Shark King came over and threw himself into Hu Xian's arms, hugged him tightly and was very moved. The White Fox Jenna also looked at Hu Xian with affection. And it was obvious that she approved of him. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the task of picking up girls on Paradise Island and receiving a reward of 100 million resistance points from the opposite sex. The mission was finally completed and Hu Xian breathed a sigh of relief. And with 100 million opposite sex resistance points, Hu Xian subconsciously looked at the White Fox Jenna, the bronze legendary beauty, and found that she was not so beautiful and charming. And he did not want to pounce on her when he saw her. Looking at the beauties around me who are not as good as the legends, they can only be described as ordinary. This is the horror of 100 million opposite sex resistance points. Husband, Paradise Island is yours from now on, the Golden Shark King said, taking out a token and putting it in Hu Xian's hand. This is a token of paradise. Whoever holds this token is the master of Paradise Island. Then I'll take it. And he looked around and said, from now on, you are all mine. Husband. Countless beauties shouted excitedly in unison. I dream of becoming such a great and wealthy woman. The White Fox Gina came over and asked, "Hubby, you promised to go home with me. You won't go back on your word, right?" Hu Xian smiled and hugged her in his arms, saying, "How could that be? Baby's business is my business." Then he said to the Golden Shark King, "Wife, I'll go home with Jenin and come to see you when I'm done. How about that?" "Okay. Wait for my husband to come find me. Love you." Chapter 763, Grandmother. In the eastern urban area of Tianmo City, the home of the White Fox clan, the White Fox Jenna brought Hu Xian here. Stop, no outsiders are allowed to approach this important area of the White Fox clan. Seeing the two people approaching, the 4 guards at the door became unfriendly, and the captain of the guards even started to scold them. "You are blind. Don't you know who I am?" the White Fox Jenna scolded angrily. "Of course I know you. But your status in the White Fox tribe is not as high as ours, and you are not qualified to bring outsiders into the White Fox tribe." Hearing this, Hu Xian couldn't help but ask, "You are a bronze legendary beauty after all. Why is your status in the White Fox clan so bad?" White Fox Jenna said bitterly, "We White Foxes value talent and strength. Beauty is just a vase to our tribe members. The main thing is that the people of our White Fox clan, both men and women, are very good looking. There are many bronze legend level beauties like me. The difference is that they all have extraordinary talents in other areas, so they are reused." "Is that so? Then you are very capable." White Fox Jenna smiled bitterly and said, "What abilities do I have? You found such a great husband like me. Don't you have the ability? Does that count?" The White Fox Jenna asked in shock. "Doesn't it count? I don't think so. If you see the beauties in our tribe later, you will definitely fall in love with them. Since they can also get you, it naturally doesn't count. Are you so self-deprecating? You're different from before." "I don't have any inferiority complex. He's my boyfriend. I want to take him home to meet my parents," he yelled at the guard. "Do you think we are fools? How can an inferior human slave be qualified to be the husband of a White Fox woman?" Hu Xian took out the medal of Paradise Island and hung it on his chest and said, "What now? Legendary medal, or the 681st place on the legendary ranking?" the captain exclaimed in shock. "That's right, with Hu Xian's crazy recharge, he is now ranked 681st on the legendary ranking list." The White Fox Jenna took Hu Xian's arm and walked into the Bai mansion. The guards didn't react at this time, they were too shocked. The legend list is a ranking list of the richest people in the entire continent. Anyone who can make it to the list is extraordinary. And the 681st one at that, is terrifying. "Hey, little ant. You're back?" A cute and charming girl saw the White Fox Jenna and rushed over screaming and jumping. "Dai Hu Tingzu, is it really you? You're this big now? What, ant, how many years have you not been home?" "I calculated. About 6,000 years, I miss you so much." "You remember it clearly. You are now a beautiful young lady. Do you have a partner?" "No, but today a great man came to our house and wanted to choose a partner in our house. It's just right that you're back. Little ant, go over there quickly. It's over there in the backyard square. Maybe you'll be chosen." The little guy said this in a naughty and cute way, making the white fox Jenna laugh and cry. If it's a big shot choosing a date, why are you running around? Little ant, I have secretly seen that guy, he is just an old man, I don't like him. If I don't run away and he takes a fancy to me, I will have to marry an old man. Little ant, go by yourself. I'll leave first. The whole city ignored Huxian and was about to leave after saying that, etc. Ant, do you have anything else to do? I remember correctly, the rule of the clan is that when a big shot chooses a partner, no one can escape. Aren't you afraid of being punished? Little ant, there are now 1356 beauties in our clan. Big and small, as long as you don't say anything, no one will know if I'm missing. Little ant, please go there quickly, your situation is special. If you are selected, you will be able to turn things around in the clan. Don't talk nonsense, this is your great uncle. Isn't he your inferior slave? My great uncle? How did he become my great uncle? Nonsense, your uncle's grandfather was not a slave. Come with me to the square and you will know. Oh, I'm not going. After saying that, he trotted away. White Fox Gina shook her head and said to Huxian, White Fox Tingzu, isn't she beautiful? You want to take her in? Huxian smiled and said, beautiful, and has some ideas. DSK, are you eager to sleep with her right now? Why you pretending? Huxian said, speechless lie. Do I look lecherous? It's not that he looks lustful, it's that he is lustful. If you put it that way. And I can only take down all the beauties of your White Fox clan. After saying that, he walked towards the backyard square of the White Fox clan. The White Fox Jenna was stunned. It took me a while to react. I saw Huxian had walked away, so I quickly chased after him. Do you know how to get to our backyard square? I don't know, but I have spiritual awareness. You are amazing. By the way, husband, what realm are you in? You guess. TSK, it must not be that great, otherwise you would have told me. Huxian smiled and said, your method of provoking me is not good at all. Ant, wait for me. The White Fox Tingzu trotted after her. Hey, Tingzu, didn't you run away? Why are you back? The guard at the door not only refused to let me out, but also told my father told me to rush over within a minute. Ant, if father asks you later, just say I went to pick you up, okay? The White Fox Jenna smiled bitterly and said, okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's go to the backyard square quickly, the big guy is coming soon. White Fox Tingzu pulled White Fox Gina and ran away. Huxian followed slowly behind, seemingly taking small steps, but he was able to keep up with the pace of Biehu Jenny and the others. Hey, great uncle. That guy is not simple, he can even shrink the distance into an inch. Biehu Tingzu looked at Huxian for a while and said, your uncle's grandfather is certainly not a simple person. Ant, grandfather? Little ant, let me tell you, even if he has some ability, the tribe members will not agree with you. You don't have to worry about this, little girl. I'm not a little girl. I'm not little at all, besides, I'm over 30,000 years old. While speaking, his eyes were still looking at the White Fox Jenna's chest, and then looking at his own chest for comparison. When the White Fox Jenna saw this scene, she rolled her eyes fiercely. The latter even whispered in her ear, Ant, why is yours bigger than mine? Can you teach me how to make it bigger? When you have a partner, it will become bigger. Let's go to the backyard square. Speed up and escape. This girl is too open. Huxian had a smile on his face. Biehu Tingzu saw it, stared at him and asked, Uncle Grandfather, what are you laughing at? Do you know how to get bigger? Chapter 764, I want it all. Huxian paused, then smiled and said, I do know how to get bigger. Really? Then tell me in secret, okay? He walked up to Huxian and put his ear close to Huxian's face. Huxian immediately smelled a pleasant scent, a pure natural fragrance that was intoxicating. Faced with the temptation so close, Huxian couldn't help but kiss her. At that moment, the White Fox Tingzu's body trembled violently, and then he reacted. My uncle, you are shameless, you molested me. I will tell my uncle. He said angrily, trying to escape. Huxian grabbed her hand, pulled her into his arms, and hugged her tightly. When she was about to scream, he bit her cherry lips. When the White Fox heard the snow, he was stunned. Huxian went even further and started massaging with his hands dishonestly. After a while, he opened his mouth and said, it will get bigger this way. My uncle. You are bullying me. I am going to sue you. He struggled free and ran towards the backyard square shyly. Huxian reminisced about it and chased after him with a smile. Soon we arrived at the backyard square. This place is already crowded. Divided into inner circle and outer circle. The inner circle is composed entirely of young and beautiful female members of the White Fox clan, while the outer circle is mainly composed of male members, as well as older female members. There is a high platform in the center standing there. You can see every corner of the venue. At this moment, the White Fox Tingzu trotted towards the inner circle. The white fox Jenna also stood at the edge of the inner circle. Little ant, you have to make the decision for me. Getting closer, the white fox Dingzu called softly. Dingzu, what's wrong with you? Asked the white fox Jenna curiously. My uncle bullied me, kissed my face, hugged me, and massaged me here. Ah? She looked around for Hu Xin. Baihu Tingzu suddenly said, my great aunt said that this can make your breasts bigger. Is it true? This. You asked your great uncle this question? Yeah. And then he molested me, saying that it would make me bigger. Quiet. On the high platform, a middle-aged woman shouted majestically. The clan leader is old, stop talking. The white fox Jenna pulled her and reminded her. The eyes of the whole audience were focused on the woman, including Hu Xin. Hu Xin was shocked when he saw this woman. Even though she had 100 million resistance points against the opposite sex, she had no resistance at all against this woman. These are at least platinum legendary beauties. The woman looked around the room majestically, and then said, please welcome Lord Demon King Shan, the third-generation ancestor of the 20 demon tribe from the 20-city demon Sword City. There was extremely warm applause at the scene. Then, an old man slowly descended from the clouds in the sky. The whole person carries a terrifying pressure that is no less than that of a god emperor. Shocked the entire White Fox clan. The old man slowly landed right above, but was suspended at a height of 1 meter and did not touch the ground. It was as if landing would affect him in some way. Very strong although he's a little old. I'd be absolutely happy if I could marry him. Yes, if I were younger, I would want to marry him. As long as he doesn't dislike me, I want to marry him now. The crowd outside went wild. The young beauties in the inner circle looked at the old man. Some with shining eyes, some dancing coquettously, some with indifferent expressions, and some hiding behind people not wanting to be seen by him. White Fox Dingzu is the most obvious example. Hu Xin finally shifted his gaze away from the woman and looked at the old man. The woman said respectfully, Sir, more than 1,300 young and beautiful members of my White Fox clan are here, please choose. The old man looked around and said, only children make choices, I want them all. The whole audience was shocked. No, you wish for it. I, White Fox Dingzu, don't want to marry you. A White Fox Dingzu didn't have any scheming thought, she felt unhappy and just roared out. Shocked the whole audience. The old man's extremely sharp gaze fell on her. In the crowd outside, several people were extremely panicked. Baihu Tingzu. What nonsense are you talking about? Why don't you kneel down and beg the master not to be angry? A middle-aged man shouted angrily. Dingzu, listen to your father and apologize to the adults immediately. No, I don't want to. I don't want to marry an old man. I would never marry him, even if I were to marry my uncle's grandfather. A white fox listened to Zhu's stubborn roar. What nonsense are you talking about? Why don't you kneel down and apologize? A father exploded with anger. That's because the old man's aura was becoming more and more violent. Very good, you don't want to marry me. It doesn't matter. I just like people like you who have a rebellious nature. Now I order you to come here. You wish. I won't come. Baihu Tingzu said in a desperate tone. It's none of your business. They are your family, right? If you don't come, I'll kill them. Of a casual stretch of his hand, the terrifying force slapped onto Baihu Tingzu's parents and relatives, causing their bodies to float uncontrollably. This scene is scary to look at. Mom and Dad, Grandpa and Grandma. Baihu Tingzu screamed in fear. I lose 3 numbers. And if you don't come over, I'll kill them. 1. You. 2. My father could no longer bear the tremendous pressure and was spurting blood. His body began to twist and he was about to explode and die. Dad. Stop it, can't I come over? When the white fox heard Zhu's cry, he rushed over, worried that something might have happened to his family. He arrived under the old man at the fastest speed. The old man said proudly, isn't that right? It's so good to be obedient. Now I order you to take off your clothes. Take it off. His mother was also seriously injured and bleeding. Don't hurt my family. I'll take it off. The white fox listened to Zhu's helpless crying and began to take off his coat. The delicate skin, as white as jade, gradually came into everyone's sight. The old man also stared with his eyes wide open. I thought to myself, they are indeed women of the White Fox clan. Any one of them is legendary. If I take them all in today, I will have a treat in the future. Stop. A white fox Jenna couldn't bear it anymore and walked out roaring. All eyes were on her. After recognizing him, they all looked disdainful. It turns out that the most useless waste in our tribe has returned. I think she just wants to take a chance and be noticed by the adults so that she can soar to the sky. That must be the case. Look, he's here to attract attention. Aunt, please help me. Baihu Tingzu cried and begged. The old man looked at the white fox Jenna and said with a smile, you are not bad either since you dare to stand up and roll over here. Take off your clothes with him and then serve me. The White Fox Jenna said coldly. Even if I take off my clothes you wouldn't dare touch me. Chapter 765, doesn't mean I don't dare. The old man was stunned. Then he landed on the ground and appeared in front of the White Fox Jenna in one step. He sneered and said, I dare to touch you even if you don't take off your clothes. As he said this, he was about to hold her in his arms. I thought to myself, I'll kill you right here and there. Touch her and try. A calm voice came, but it made everyone look over. Human race? Or an inferior slave? Everyone was shocked. The old man also looked over and said, Boy, you deserve to die. With the point of his finger, a powerful energy appeared in front of Huaxian in an instant. Huaxian didn't move with a thought. A transparent barrier appeared in front of him. Booming magnet easily blocked the opponent's attack. This scene made the entire White Fox clan take a deep breath. Just because they all knew that the old man was a powerful being above the God Emperor level. It was so shocking that the attack from such a powerful man was blocked by a human being who was just an inferior slave. The old man who had been playing it lightly was shocked, but said calmly, Interesting. He gave up targeting the White Fox Jenna and walked towards Huaxian in Mitra. White Fox Jenna breathed a sigh of relief. All eyes followed the old man. With every step the old man took, the pressure on him grew, concentrated on Huaxian. I thought that this guy would definitely reveal his flaws when facing my oppression. As a result, the other party was calmer than himself, which made him uncalm. Seeing that he was about to reach Huaxian, the terrifying pressure caused the space between them to distort and deform, which was extremely scary. Even so, Huaxian remained calm. This scene shocked the whole audience. My dear uncle, you didn't lie to me. My dear uncle is really amazing. A white fox cried out when hearing the snow. When I saw that she was talking to Biehu Jenna, I realized that the uncle-in-law she was talking about was actually Biehu Jenna's man. They all looked at Huaxian with great curiosity. And no one dared to underestimate him. After all, he was the one who withstood the pressure from the God Emperor. The old man didn't dare to get closer to Huaxian. Mainly because he couldn't see through his background. Who are you? He asked loudly. Huaxian didn't say anything, but suddenly shook his hand. A pop, a sudden slap knocked the old man away. Boom boom boom. It crashed into the buildings of the White Fox clan, and wherever it hit the building, no matter how strong or weak the formation was, a skeleton was left. In the end, it crashed directly through the White Fox clan and damaged many buildings across the street. All living creatures along the way were terrified. I can't see clearly what kind of monster it is. It's so powerful. You know, all the buildings are supported by powerful formations. On the White Fox clan side, everyone's eyes were on Huaxian. Huaxian took a step forward, and when he appeared again, he was already next to the White Fox Jenna. He pushed aside her bangs and kissed her. Instead of dodging, the White Fox Jenna's heart beat faster and she became extremely excited. At this moment, she felt that she was successful. Wow, you are awesome, uncle. But just when they were about to kiss, the White Fox Stingzu squeezed out from the gap between them. Huaxian's kiss just happened to land on her forehead. Oh, and grandfather, you have relatives. Mothers say that random kissing will lead to pregnancy. You have to be responsible for me. Hearing this, the people of the White Fox clan looked at each other in bewilderment. The old man turned into a gust of wind and flew back. He was filled with an astonishing murderous aura. Who are you? How dare you touch me? Do you know that I, Demon King Shang, am the third-generation ancestor of the 20 demon tribes of Demon Sword City? Huaxian frowned and said, Who do I care who you are? I declare now that all the women of the White Fox tribe are mine. Go back to where you came from. You are so brave. You dare to snatch my woman? Your women? Which one is yours? Huaxian asked coldly. They are all mine. I will only allow you to take 2 of them. Are you discussing this with me? Huaxian was extremely cold. Don't force me. The Devil King Shang roared angrily. Force you? Are you worthy? Wave again. The space trembled and twisted in an instant, and the next moment it spread in front of the old man. This time the old man was prepared. He took out a sharp sword and slashed with it. Booming magnet. There was a loud bang, breaking Huaxian's opponent's slap. The whole audience was stunned. Although he was not knocked away by the slap, he staggered back with a pale face. It can be seen how huge a shock this slap brought to him. The people of the White Fox clan only then realized that this human man without identity brought back by the White Fox Jenna was so terrifying. You made me do it. A Demon King Shang roared, his blood boiling. Blood power. The White Fox clan leader, the woman named White Fox Changxian, screamed in surprise. Huaxian was attracted by her voice and looked over. Coincidentally, the White Fox Changxian also looked at him, wanting to know if he was afraid. Eyes met. Huaxian smiled and said, You are worthy of being a platinum legendary beauty. Even I can't resist your temptation. From now on, you are mine. What? The whole audience was shocked. Even the demon King Shang, who was exerting the power of blood, trembled with fear. Although no one knows, the current chief of the White Fox clan, the Ahu Changxian, is the young chief of the Ten Demon clan, the Demon Emperor's favorite woman. It's a pity that the Demon Emperor has been in seclusion for 100,000 years in order to reach the realm of God. Even so, the White Fox Changxian waited for 100,000 years, and no one dared to take advantage of her. The White Fox Changxian smiled and said, "You are very powerful, but you dare not touch me. And you cannot touch me." "Why?" A White Fox Genis said bitterly, "Because the clan leader is the woman chosen by the young clan leader of the 10 demon clans. The Demon Emperor. Personally appointed? Yes, appointed. So what? I said she is my woman, and she is, no one has the right to stop her. You are probably too arrogant. You don't know how terrifying the Demon Emperor is. 100,000 years ago, he was already a half-step god. Now that 100,000 years have passed, no one knows how terrifying he has become. Not to mention you. Even the people from the 9 clans and 8 clans of demons don't dare to take advantage of the White Fox Changxian. Knowing this, do you still dare to fight?" Wu Xian smiled and said, "Just because you don't dare, and they don't dare either, doesn't mean I don't dare." As he said that, he walked towards the White Fox Changxian. Everyone's eyes followed him. Seeing him getting closer and closer to the White Fox, they became nervous. The White Fox Changxian was calm. When Yu Xian came to him, less than 2 meters away, he said, "I know you are not simple, but I advise you not to touch me. The Demon Emperor is really not someone you can mess with." The smile on Yu Xian's face became even brighter. He came in front of her and stopped less than a step away. An extremely tempting fragrance hit Yu Xian's face, and he couldn't help but take a greedy deep breath and indulge in it. It took him a long time to react. He stared at Baihu Changxian and said in a commanding tone, "I am announcing that you, Baihu Changxian, are my Yu Xian's woman." Chapter 766, Taboo Broken. After saying this, he hugged the White Fox Changxian in his arms. The latter did not struggle. Even the Emperor-level demon was no match for Yu Xian. She knew that struggling was meaningless. He said again inferently, "You will regret it." Yu Xian smiled and said, "If I don't take you down, I will really regret it. You are the most beautiful woman I have ever met, incomparable." After that, he picked her up like a princess and said gently in her ear, "Tell me about your room." A White Fox Changxian guessed his purpose, and his body trembled violently. He said in a deep voice, "I have a taboo set by the Demon Emperor. If you really touch me, it will definitely disturb the Demon Emperor, who has been in seclusion for 100 years." The sound was quite loud and everyone around heard it and was terrified. "I think this human race is too crazy." The Devil King Shang didn't say anything, and was extremely envious of Yu Xian for being able to hug the White Fox Changxian. A platinum legendary beauty, let alone a hug, even holding her hand is a happiness. Yu Xian smiled and said, "Just tell me your room, don't worry about the rest. If you don't tell me, I can only find a room at random." There was no way. The White Fox Changxian could only point to a palace with tears in his eyes. Yu Xian held her and sped away. Rushed into the palace and went straight to the room. A room was decorated simply. Everything was built with demon crystal marrow and demon refining formations. When one entered the room, a pure and rich demonic power instantly enveloped the whole body. Even if you don't practice in such an environment, your cultivation level will improve rapidly. Yu Xian didn't care about these things. He hugged the White Fox and kissed it madly. The White Fox Changxian burst into tears and gave up struggling. The dress fell off, revealing a perfect body in front of Yu Xian. Boom! The robe on Yu Xian's body exploded directly. Can't wait to enter the battlefield. When a layer of barriers was broken, a strange light suddenly appeared on the White Fox's body, and gathered in the sky to form a wonderful space rune. Disappeared from the spot in an instant. Yu Xian didn't care about these at all and was venting madly. The White Fox said in an extremely cold voice, "Just wait, the Demon Emperor is coming, and it will soon be your doom. Baby, we are on the same page. If he comes and sees that I have slept with you, do you think he will let you go?" A White Fox's slender body trembled violently, and then it realized what was happening. By then, I'm afraid the entire White Fox clan will be implicated. "You bastard, you want to kill me and our White Fox clan." A White Fox was extremely angry and bit Yu Xian's shoulder hard. Yu Xian didn't care and continued his beastly behavior. A few minutes later, the space above the demon city began to violently turbulent, and a world-destroying pressure erupted. Then thunder surged, lightning exploded, and the entire demon city fell into doomsday. Spotless people wanted to escape. At this time, tens of thousands of dark light pillars fell from the sky and landed outside the demon city. Mysterious forces gathered from these light pillars in the center. Before people could react, a mysterious and powerful imprisonment formation was formed, which actually imprisoned the entire huge Tianmo city. Boom! The lightning in the sky was flashing more and more violently. An incomparably huge space vortex gradually took shape, and the world-destroying pressure became more and more terrifying. Countless people were so scared that they knelt on the ground and prayed, hoping that they could escape the catastrophe. It's the Demon Emperor. It's definitely the Demon Emperor who is coming. That lunatic really dared to sleep with the white fox Changxian, and really dared to touch the woman of the Demon Emperor. It's over, the entire Tianmo city will be buried with that guy. I can't accept this. Boom! Exploding in the sky. A figure in white clothes appeared in the sky. It looks plain and there's nothing special about it. People tried hard to see the man's face with but it was blurry. White fox Changxian. Get out here. The man in white didn't make any move, but the words he spoke were like thunder, exploding throughout the entire Tianmo city. A white fox that was bullied by Huaxian gave a fierce blow with its slender body and surrendered immediately. He glared at Huaxian. Here he comes, the Demon Emperor is here. I won't accept this. Huaxian was not in the mood to go on. He waved his hand, dressed her, put on his own robe, picked her up in his arms like a princess, and slowly walked out of the palace. Come outside. Immediately, the man in white in the sky looked down. Seeing Huaxian holding the white fox, he was extremely angry. Human race? Or the inferior slave race? Buzz. An extremely strong aura burst out and suppressed it directly. Faced with this scene, the white fox Changxian closed his eyes in despair. She knew Huaxian was powerful, but she didn't think she was a match for the Demon Emperor. This is enough to determine their life or death. Facing this scene, Huaxian did not make any move with a thought. The terrifying pressure from the Demon Emperor was offset. The white fox Changxian, who was waiting for death to come, opened his eyes in confusion. I found that this guy was still holding me and didn't move. Subconsciously, he looked up at the Demon Emperor in the sky. His aura was as powerful as a dragon, causing the surrounding space to be distorted to the extreme. Huaxian asked coldly, "Are you the Demon Emperor?" The shocked Demon Emperor reacted and said angrily, "Great, no wonder you are so arrogant, you are actually from that place. Since you dare to come and touch the woman I have chosen, then go to hell." As he waved his hand, a bolt of lightning struck Huaxian. This scene shocked the whole city. Everyone knows that what demons fear most is thunder and lightning. This Demon Emperor was not only not afraid, he even subdued thunder and lightning. It was so terrifying. Faced with such an attack, this time, the white fox Changxian did not close his eyes, but looked at Huaxian. I was surprised to find that he looked calm. Although the power of this thunder and lightning is not at the level of a godlord, it is at least an attack from the peak of a god emperor. How could he not be afraid? The next moment, a horrifying scene appeared. Huaxian loosened the hand that was holding him and stretched it out towards the fierce lightning. Then, a devastating lightning fell into his hands. He behaved obediently as if facing his own relative and let Huaxian play with it. When the Demon Emperor saw this scene, his eyes widened and he couldn't understand what was going on. Is this guy even more powerful than me? Impossible, absolutely impossible. It's my turn to die. Boom! This time it was an explosion of pure demonic power. The pressure is extremely terrifying. It covers an area of 1,000,000 miles without distinction. If this falls, all living things within the range will die. At this time, Huaxian threw lightning at the Demon Emperor. At the moment when his terrifying god-level pressure erupted, a strange lightning space was formed, blocking all the pressure. Chapter 767. Depressing. All living beings who felt the crisis of world destruction suddenly felt the pressure disappear and ceased to exist. Subconsciously looked at the Demon Emperor. Only then did he realize that the space with a diameter of 1,000 miles with him, as the point was constantly breaking and reorganizing. All because of a terrifying and strange lightning forbidden circle. Only the white fox Changxian Qingyan witnessed that this forbidden circle of lightning was casually formed by the man who was holding her. Looking at Huaxian's face, I finally understood how terrifying this man was. No wonder he doesn't take the Demon Emperor seriously. Damn human, I don't care who you are, if you dare to touch my woman, I will make you pay the price. Boom! The demon bloodline was activated, and the terrifying cultivation level continued to rise. Even though they were isolated by the forbidden circle of lightning, countless creatures still felt the devastating force. A white fox's long and slender gaze fell on Huaxian again, wanting to know if he had any way to resolve the crisis. Huaxian sneered, pointed a finger at the Devil Emperor, and whispered, "Devil's judgment." The white fox Changxian, who was the first to hear these 4 words, was stunned with shock. Because he knew that demon judgment was an inherited skill of the higher bloodline of the demon clan to judge the traitors of the demon clan. But Huaxian used it. I only felt an indescribable demonic force erupting, instantly cutting through space and rushing towards the Demon Emperor. The Demon Emperor. who was in a state of blood awakening, suddenly felt the familiar yet dangerous aura of the demon clan. He was extremely shocked and roared, "Demon judgment! How can you be the most sinful demon judge of my demon clan? Don't want." But it was too late. The devil's judgment fell on him, and the restraining power unique to the demon race took effect quickly. In everyone's perception, the demon emperor's realm was visibly sealed. He was forced to land on the ground. In less than a minute, the demon emperor, a powerful god, turned into an ordinary demon. "No, who are you?" The demon emperor roared angrily to the sky. There were many people around looking at him. Even though he is just an ordinary demon now, no one dares to approach him, let alone hurt him after all. His identity as the young patriarch of the 10 demon clans is too terrifying. This side of Ba Mansion, the white fox Chang Xian was also shocked to the extreme. It was unbelievable that the human-looking man holding her was actually a demon. She knew that only higher-level demon bloodlines could judge lower-level demon bloodlines. As the young patriarch of the 10 demon clans, the demon emperor must be of the demon royal bloodline. Even with such bloodline, it was judged by the devil. And the man holding me is, at the very least, a descendant of the demon royal family with mutated blood. He may even be a descendant of the demon emperor family, one of the 3 major royal families of the demon clan. No wonder he is fearless in the face of the demon emperor. No, he also possesses the more terrifying power to control thunder and lightning. Huaxian held her and flew up easily. He flew out of the Ba Mansion and soon arrived above the demon emperor's head under the watchful eyes of everyone. The creatures, not knowing what was going on, looked at it with great curiosity. Huaxian held the white fox line and landed in front of the demon emperor. The demon emperor stared at Huaxian with murderous eyes. "Who are you?" "Stupid, who am I? Do you even need to ask?" Huaxian said disaffectedly. "Are you really a demon from the imperial clan? What do you think? They are both the imperial family and the royal family, and are the 3 top demon clans in the entire true continent. Since you are from my demon clan, why did you snatch my Fiang Qi and judge me? Rob your Fiang Qi? Have you slept with her, or have you signed a marriage contract? You made her wait for you for tens of thousands of years, so why can't I touch her? As for the judgment, you are just a small fellow who barely reached the royal demon bloodline. How dare you be so indiscriminate and commit crimes against your superiors? I am being merciful by not killing you directly. You still don't know how to reflect on yourself now, and you still treat me as your enemy. What's the point of me keeping you here?" Buzz. The power of the mutated demon bloodline burst out. After many evolutions, the mutated demon bloodline that Huaxian possessed was absolutely comparable to the imperial bloodline and was extremely terrifying. Any creature present that had even a hint of demonic blood in its veins was oppressed and fell to its knees on the ground. The look in his eyes when he looked at Huaxian was full of fear. The royal bloodline of the demon emperor is also just a decoration. Ding dong. Sweating profusely, he knelt down heavily. This is either a suppression of strength or a pure suppression of bloodline. You are shameless. If it were our realm, it would be easy for me to kill you 10,000 times in seconds, the demon emperor roared unwillingly. Can you kill me 10,000 times in 1 second? Huaxian asked with a sneer. That's right. In terms of realm and strength, it's a piece of cake. A demon emperor was full of confidence. Really? Why not play a game then? What game? It's just a little power suppression game. If you lose, you will be willing to be my subordinate from now on. If I lose, you can do whatever you want with me. Okay, the demon emperor, who thought that the other party was not as good as himself, agreed without thinking. Huaxian smiled slightly. Okay? And quickly release me from the devil's judgment. No problem. Huaxian agreed and pointed his finger, and the devil's judgment was lifted. The demon emperor immediately recovered his cultivation. Go to hell, he suddenly attacked Huaxian. Rumble. As Huaxian stretched out his hand, an extremely powerful force of lightning appeared. The terrifying pressure of thunder and lightning, even though it was not directed at any living being, made the surrounding divine creatures feel the breath of destruction. His expression changed drastically. I didn't expect that the demons nowadays are so terrifying that they can master the power of thunder and lightning. Has the horrible curse against the demons disappeared? Sightless creatures thought so. It turns out that there was a human king who had cursed the demons, causing the demons to have 0 or even negative resistance to lightning. This also means that lightning has an absolute suppressing effect on the demons. Now, seeing that the 2 demons can actually control thunder and lightning, who would not be shocked? The demon emperor was closest to Huaxian. So even if he was not hit directly, the terrifying pressure of thunder and lightning would still cause his explosive attack to be aborted. He stood there, trembling, his face full of fear. Because he couldn't believe it, he subconsciously asked, "Are you a demon or a lightning tribe?" Huaxian shook his head and smiled. "Why do you care what race I am? Do you admit that you lost now?" The demon emperor's body trembled violently. and willing to accept this. As the young patriarch of the 10 demon clans, he has mastered the lightning gene, not to mention those below the 10 demon clans. Even among the several major clans above him, he is a rare and evil talent. But even such a person was now easily crushed by a guy. The demon bloodline crushes. The power of thunder and lightning crushes. The most important thing is that this guy downplayed it and didn't use his full strength. It's so discouraging. Chapter 768. Little Fairy, so charming. Ding dong. A demon emperor had no choice but to surrender and kneel before Huaxian. There was no way. He had a strong intuition that if he didn't admit defeat this time, the other party would probably kill him. The white fox Chang Xian, who was held by Huaxian, was still in a state of shock. She originally thought that the demon emperor, with whom she had made an agreement, was the most powerful benefactor in her life. It is for this reason that we are willing to wait even for tens of thousands of years. I didn't expect that Huaxian, who showed up out of nowhere, would be such a terrifying person. Master, I wonder what realm you are in. The demon emperor asked respectfully. This was what he was extremely curious to know. Huaxian said casually, God Lord. What? The demon emperor was simply stunned. A white fox Chang Xian was also stunned. You decide, I've just been interrupted by you, I still have to get on with my work. After saying that, he picked up the white fox Chang Xian and flew back to the palace. He casually set up a formation and started biting the white fox fiercely while holding its long fiber. What's different is that this time, a white fox Chang Xian actively cooperated, bringing out the charm of the white fox clan to the extreme. This completely ignited Huaxian's hormones, and he became extremely obsessed with the white fox's long fibers. Husband, want me? As soon as the white fox Chang Xian opened his mouth, Huaxian completely fell. The hundreds of millions of resistance points of the opposite sex became completely useless at this moment. Clothes exploded and fighting broke out. Time passed hour by hour. After 5 hours, the consumption ask begins counting down. Wife, give me your account number and I will transfer some money to you as a gift. Husband, you are my best gift. Be obedient and give me the account number. Alright. After getting the account number, Huaxian quickly transferred the money. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the consumption of 4,000 Jingxiao Relian Demon Crystals within 5 hours, and obtaining a random reward to extend the consumption ask time by 5 hours. Ding, new mission. Complete the critical hit 3 times and consume 12,000 Rang Jingxiao Relian Demon Crystals within 10 hours if the mission fails. The host will be killed if the mission is completed. A random reward will be obtained. A white fox Chang Xian was frightened when he received this huge sum of money. After a while, she asked in disbelief, Husband, why did you transfer so much money to me? Do you think I'm the kind of woman who will abandon me after giving me money? What are you thinking? You are so beautiful, how can I bear to abandon you? I can't wait to love you deeply. Those are all betrothal gifts. After saying that, he turned over and continued fighting. Soon another 3 hours passed. There were crowds of people outside the palace. But the perfect cooperation of the white fox's long fibers, Huaxian felt like he was about to be drained dry. Even so, I still can't let go. Work harder. Fortunately, Huaxian's physique is far superior to that of ordinary people. Buzz. At the muffled sound, the white fox Chang Xian actually absorbed yang to replenish yin, and his cultivation level broke through. The look she gave Huaxian was full of affection and admiration. Another 3 hours passed, and the white fox Chang Xian was finally defeated and collapsed in Huaxian's arms. During this period, Huaxian also lost hundreds of millions of elite troops. However, this was the most satisfying fight for him, and no other heroine could satisfy him. I didn't expect that your white fox clan's fighting power is so fierce. White fox Chang Xian said happily. I didn't expect that your fighting power is so strong that even I, the chief of the white fox tribe, was defeated. Little fairy, so charming. Without waiting for Huaxian to finish, the white fox turned over and said, let's continue. How could Huaxian be afraid of someone who took the initiative to start a fight? The war is about to break out. This time the battle was not that long lasting and ended in less than 3 hours. Both were satisfied. It's been a day and a night, we should go out now. When I walked out of the palace, I found that countless people gathered here. The entire White Fox clan was staring at the gate. Sir, the ancestors of our clan invite you to visit the 10 demon cities, the demon emperor said respectfully. Looking at the long slim white fox in Huaxian's arms, he felt very uncomfortable. Suddenly he remembered someone and said quickly, Master, there is another person in my 10 demon cities, her name is Feng Wuzuyu, she is a platinum legendary beauty. Really? Huaxian was immediately attracted. How dare I deceive you, my lord? Okay, let's set off for the 10th city now. Huaxian was too curious about the platinum legendary beauty. The mission is to resist the excellence of the platinum legendary beauty. Completing the mission will earn you 1 billion resistance points for the opposite sex, and an additional reward of speed to upgrade the specified attribute to a higher realm. The sudden task made Hu Xi tremble. The reward is tempting. But is it so easy to resist a platinum legendary beauty? No matter what, this is something that must be faced. Wife. Gather everyone and let them enter my little world to practice, and then I will rush to the 10 demon cities. Hubby, all the people from my White Fox clan are here. Okay, then I will open my small world. By the way, notify the people at the Paradise Island headquarters that anyone who is willing to follow me should come over and enter my small world to practice. We are all here. The people from Paradise Island also came out. Okay, then come into my little world. Hu Xin opened the small world, and these people, out of curiosity, rushed into the small world one after another. After a few minutes, only White Fox Chang Xian and the Demon Emperor were left at the scene. Wife, are you going to enter the small world? Or come with me? I'm with my husband. I thought that sleeping with you, my husband, would be the biggest boost to my cultivation. Okay then. System, the small world consumes 12.0 million Jingshao trillion demon crystals to improve the cultivation of the heroines. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have consumed 12,000 Jingshao trillion demon crystals within 10 hours and received the random reward of God's right hand. Ding, new mission. Complete the critical strike 5 times and consume 70,000 trillion demon crystals within 10 hours. If the mission fails, the host will be killed. If the mission is completed, a random reward will be obtained. In that case, let's go to Paradise Island and use the teleportation array on Paradise Island to go to the 10 demon cities. Okay, husband? Hu Xin pulled the White